A chilling silence descended upon the land, broken only by the uneasy stirrings of unseen life. Whispers of ancient magic drifted through misty forests, beneath celestial bodies that watched over desolate peaks and forgotten halls. Amidst the wreckage of their hopes, the survivors debated the grim choice between starvation and a rumored haunted town, where many empty houses now stood. The stench of decay clung to a bare, desperate hand, where buzzing flies were the only companions to a meager, broken bowl. An old man, his spirit worn but kind, urged Jiang Wang to release the burdens that had chained him to the ground for days. But Jiang Wang's tormented spirit raged. How could he ever let go when revenge remained an impossible dream, and his bitterness a burning fire he could not quench? He remembered a time of sworn brotherhood, where 5 friends once stood united, their smiles warm and genuine. Yet, in hindsight, those very smiles had concealed hidden blades, poised to strike. Jiang Wang lay incapacitated, slowly realizing the devastating truth that he had walked blindly into their elaborate trap as shadowy figures abandoned him in the moonlight. A small, broken bowl approached his lips, a desperate or sinister act in the stark silence. The old man crouched over the unconscious Jiang Wang, offering what little he had amidst the bleak, snowy ruins. The old man then looked up, startled by an unexpected change in the luminous, snowy sky. He questioned the sudden, unnatural snow, wondering why the world had shifted so abruptly from sunshine to a freezing tempest. Restlessness grew across Maplewood City, and the old man mused on the strange occurrences that now plagued the land. His concern deepened as he noticed some of the snowflakes falling around him began to glow. A single, intricately glowing snowflake landed delicately on a fingertip. Upon contact, the finger instantly froze, encased in an icy grip. Nearby, a small bird watched in shock as its companion was entirely encased in a chilling sheath of ice. The deadly phenomenon spread relentlessly, freezing a majestic deer solid before beginning to consume the old man, who recoiled in terror. His body shattered into pieces of ice and debris, marking a swift and violent end to his life. Jiang Wang, now conscious, felt a grave realization: these were snowflakes imbued with the Tao's lethal essence, capable of killing with a single touch. Resigned to his fate, Jiang Wang closed his eyes, prepared to embrace death as a deadly snowflake descended towards him. Suddenly, a fiery, spherical projectile with swirling energy descended rapidly from the sky, its descent promising an impending impact. The fiery projectile slammed into the earth near a distant building, erupting in a massive explosion. Golden light engulfed the air, causing the glowing blue snowflakes to rapidly dissolve. The aftermath revealed a broken wooden structure, its tattered fabric a testament to the powerful destruction. Debris from shattered structures was violently flung into the air, showcasing the immense force unleashed. A fiery orb continued its powerful impact, generating potent energy surges amidst the chaos. Jiang Wang registered the immense Tao resonance, acknowledging its potent power. He gazed toward the fiery impact crater, filled with wonder and confusion, questioning the identity of such a powerful individual. Amidst fiery sparks and a stormy sky, a figure clad in a prominent red cloak stood, exuding a powerful aura. A man in a red cloak arrived with a fiery impact, confronting Zuo Guanglie and accusing him of crossing a line. Zuo Guanglie, floating arrogantly with his followers, scoffed at the accusation of indiscriminate slaughter, displaying utter contempt for the lives he dismissed as mere ants. Dark-robed figures launched myriad streams of sword rain, a barrage of ice-formed projectiles that the man in the red cloak fiercely countered with a burst of fiery energy. The man in the red cloak unleashed his formidable blazing sun technique, manifesting a massive fiery orb that utterly engulfed the incoming ice projectiles. 2 dark-robed figures watched in extreme shock, unable to believe their combined A-grade Daoist art was instantly vaporized. Zuo Guanglie let out a powerful scream, his rage and exertion visibly distorting his face. With intense focus, Zuo Guanglie forcefully exhaled a powerful stream of cold, misty breath. He unleashed his one breath, exhale frost technique, manifesting a massive stream of ice that hurtled towards the fiery orb. Gong Yangbai, the man in the red cloak roared, his fiery energy clashing violently with the surging ice attack. This scene is a special message, inviting viewers to engage with the series community and read the chapters on its official platform. Caught sneaking, a young woman reminded readers to find the story on manhua.com and join their Discord for the latest updates. An ethereal barrage of blade-like projectiles tore through the air, signaling the relentless assault. The man with red cloak charged forward, his fierce resolve unwavering as projectiles shattered around him. With a mighty surge of power, the man with red cloak struck the ground, his flaming fist carving deep into the shattered earth. From above, a man with a bird-like mask mused on the terrifying resilience of the man with red cloak, who endured the soul-flaying power of the Nine profound malice formation, explaining why the Qin nation sought aid from his Mo family. Enraged, the man with red cloak plummeted from the sky, his furious cry of Mo Jingyu echoing across the battlefield. The dark-robed figure ruthlessly commanded his disciples to give no chances and immediately set up the formation. As the man with red cloak plummeted, the dark-robed figure and his disciples ascended, their ritualistic casting weaving a spell in the turbulent sky. With focused intensity, two men in grey robes performed intricate hand seals, their mystical chants activating an arcane spell. A man in grey robes strained with intense effort, blue energy pulsing eerily from his throat and mouth. Floating arrogantly, Zuo Guanglie scoffed, asking if his opponent still found this boring, before commanding the formation to activate. With an ominous gurgle, multiple monstrous water serpents erupted from the desolate ground. A monstrous water serpent's head coalesced from the depths, gurgling as it took terrifying form. A terrifying water serpent, fully formed with glowing blue eyes and icy spikes, let out a guttural roar, ready to unleash its fury. Engulfed by the attacking water serpents, the man with red cloak fiercely retaliated with his flaming sword, cutting through the encroaching ice. Gritting his teeth, the man with red cloak realized the profound danger. These water serpents, empowered by the 9 profound malice formation, multiplied with each cut and threatened to sever his Dao essence circulation with their profound bites. The dark-robed figure exhaled a cloud of frosty breath, manifesting potent ice particles as he continued his spell. Ensnared by the water serpents, the man with red cloak was engulfed in the powerful freezing attack, the second breath, blood freeze. The man with red cloak struggled with all his might as the first breath exhale frost encased him, the ice gurgling ominously around him. The man with red cloak cried out in agony as the second breath, blood freeze intensified, the gurgling ice relentlessly encasing him. The man on the mechanical bird observed, noting the activation of the third breath, rigid death, a Gongyang clan's secret art so potent even Zuo Guanglie was now powerless against it. Trapped, the man with red cloak was completely immobilized, encased within a monstrous block of ice. The man with red cloak remained frozen within the colossal ice structure, the disciples' collective effort complete, and an eerie quiet settled over the battlefield. The seemingly impenetrable ice began to crackle ominously, a faint glow emanating from within its depths. The dark-robed figure reeled back, a look of profound shock replacing his earlier confidence. The man with red cloak exploded from his icy prison, unleashing his boiling blood, burning soul technique in a furious burst of fiery power. The man on the mechanical bird, startled, flew amidst a torrent of falling blades that shattered around him. With astonishing speed, the man with red cloak powerfully deflected a fiery attack with his bare hand, the impact resounding like a bang. The man with red cloak unleashed a colossal, bird-shaped fireball, its fiery form sending the man on the mechanical bird into a shocked retreat. The man with red cloak commanded the fiery explosion with a fierce explode, as the dark-robed figure lamented his 9 profound malice formation, now manifesting as city-scorching blazing blossoms. The young man with long dark hair looked on, utterly surprised, questioning, this is? The man with top knot confidently dismissed the blazing blossom as a mere third-grade Daoist art, declaring he would snuff it out with one hand, while the man with red cloak struggled and burned amidst the cracking flames. The dark-robed figure roared in anger, identifying the technique as Zuo Guanglie's city-scorching blazing blossom, and urgently commanded his disciples to activate a water element Dao art to carve out a safe zone, the water gurgling as it surged forth. The man on the mechanical bird narrated the technique's immense power and vast radius, confirming the ancient rumors that Zuo Guanglie had once destroyed an entire city with this single technique at just 19 years old. The colossal mechanical bird violently exploded, shattering into debris and sending a flurry of smaller birds scattering into the tumultuous sky. A cacophony of explosions erupted around the fleeing figure, the blossoms detonating with widespread destruction and echoing cries of "Ah!" The entire battlefield rumbled with the immense clash of exploding fiery blossoms and rising water barriers, all warring above an ancient gate. Rain and splashes of water pelted an ancient tiled rooftop, a silent testament to the lingering chaos of the water element art. A woman in light robes, clutching her chest in shock, questioned who exactly could wield such power, as the Scanlation group invited readers to join their Discord and find more chapters on manhua.com. As a colossal, fiery entity began to coalesce in the darkened sky, Zuo Guanglie's voice boomed with a powerful incantation, power of extreme flames, scorching heavens, boiling seas. His face glowed with intense flames as Zuo Guanglie channeled ancient power, calling out, "Ancestor Zhurong, manifest through me." Suspended in a maelstrom of fire, Zuo Guanglie unleashed a final, furious command, burn, as the colossal fire dragon fully manifested its destructive power around him. Fiery, skull-like entities materialized in the chaotic sky, then a devastating explosion of fire slammed into the ground, tearing it apart. The searing energy blasts relentlessly carved trails of grim destruction across the desolate landscape. Amidst the relentless fiery blasts, the masked man, Gong Yangbai, visibly shocked, cursed, "Damn it, where did this seed of Zhurong come from? How can he use Zhurong's true form?" Gong Yangbai's protective gear dripped a golden substance, clearly damaged, as he muttered in defeat, "Damn it. Fuck." He recoiled with a gasp of shock, struck by an unseen, overwhelming force. Behind his mask, Gong Yangbai's eyes glowed with intense frustration as he cried out in pain, "Fuck." Pools of molten, glowing fire simmered on the cracked earth, leaving trails of smoke and utter destruction in their wake. Empowered by the infernal glow, Zuo Guanglie's eyes blazed as he issued a defiant challenge, "Come, Gong Yngbai. Come, Mo Jingyu." As Zuo Guanglie's fiery dragons entwined into Zhurong's true form, an unseen old man with white hair roared in indignant fury, "What noble lineage! What genius! You dare to boast of such titles before me!" Zuo Guanglie's colossal fiery form towered majestically, an awe-inspiring and terrifying sight, as the dark-haired man and Gong Yangbai cowered on the shattered ground beneath him. The old man, exhaling a chilling, frosty breath, declared his desperate resolve, "No need to be scared, although Zuo Guanglie has Zhurong true form, my third breath, power of profound freeze, can resist him." With strained coughs revealing the battle's toll, the old man hesitantly asked Gong Yangbai, "Hui, Gong Yngbai, should we retreat?" Despite the inevitability of defeat at River Valley, a national shame and personal hatred no water could cleanse, Zuo Guanglie, engulfed in powerful flames, declared with burning conviction, "But I, Zuo Guanglie." A single tear traced a path down Zuo Guanglie's flame-kissed cheek, revealing a moment of raw, intense emotion. The tear vanished, replaced by a fierce, focused determination that blazed in Zuo Guanglie's eye, fueled by the raging flames surrounding him. His laughter turned manic as Zuo Guanglie, consumed by roaring flames, declared with unhinged confidence, "Only I can kill my body. Only Zhurong can burn my soul." Fiery energy blasts emanating from him, Zuo Guanglie issued a defiant, taunting challenge, "My great head is here, who is capable enough to cut it?" Sharp, fiery impacts continuously struck the scorched earth, keeping both the old man and the red-cloaked man on edge. A powerful purple energy beam tore through the air, striking the fiery Zuo Guanglie with electric intensity. The old man grunted as a powerful, glowing sword-like object, the source of the tearing purple beam, struck and sent Zuo Guanglie falling, prompting him to exclaim in surprise, "Liyi." From the Jing nation, Li Yi floated calmly, declaring, "Too noisy," as the old man, acknowledging his authority, began, "Liyi, by order of His Highness Ing Wu." With a sudden impact, Li Yi silenced the old man with a powerful, unseen force, causing him to violently recoil. Gong Yangbai and the dark-robed figure rapidly retreated from the overwhelming force, disappearing into the urgent sky. As Zuo Guanglie struggled to recover, Li Yi calmly advanced, his measured steps carving trenches into the earth, a silent demonstration of his unyielding power. Holding a mysterious, glowing ornate plaque, Li Yi issued a confrontational declaration, "We're even now." With a swift, sharp movement, Li Yi unleashed an attack. Zuo Guanglie's eyes blazed with renewed, intense anger as his body erupted in a powerful resurgence of flames. Li Yi intently observed his opponent, his gaze analytical and focused through his fingers, as if calculating his next move. In his palm, Li Yi held a tiny, intricate flame, a testament to his mysterious and precise control over fire. With a powerful boom, an unseen impact forcefully launched Zuo Guanglie into the air, leaving him shocked and disoriented as he fell. As Zuo Guanglie plummeted, a torrent of fiery projectiles rained down, overwhelming him with destructive force. The fiery projectiles continuously struck the cracked earth with precise, repetitive impacts. The narration urged readers, "Want more of this comic? Then support us on dsc.gg/ignisco. You better be reading the chapters only at manhuaga.com. A solitary ray of light pierced the heavy, overcast sky, highlighting an ancient building nestled on a distant, desolate mountain peak, a stark beacon of hope in a somber landscape. Nearby, a golden incense burner, overflowing with the ash of countless prayers, bore silent witness to unseen reverence. Jiang Wang groaned in visceral pain, his bandaged hand gripping the fractured stone as his body convulsed, then collapsed in a defeated heap. Though his form lay broken and desperate on the cracked earth, Jiang Wang's mind screamed its defiance, refusing to surrender to death's embrace, an unseen, frightened figure watching from the shadows. With a grim resolve, Jiang Wang pushed himself forward, convinced that even the slimmest chance was worth the monumental effort to cross the ruined threshold. Under the towering, inscribed archway, Jiang Wang staggered, clutching his chest as persistent pain gnawed at his bandaged body beneath the gray, unforgiving sky. His foot suddenly slipped, and Jiang Wang tumbled down the rough, rocky incline, sending clouds of dust billowing into the barren air. As he fell, an eerie white mist, manifesting as serpent-like wisps from the parched earth, swirled around Jiang Wang, threatening to entangle him in its mystical grasp. Crawling forward with desperate hope, Jiang Wang clung to the thought that a powerful figure might have left behind a treasure, a forgotten relic to cling to life. His search through the debris yielded only disappointment, a scattering of bone fragments, shattered metal, and other broken remnants of what was once glorious. Jiang Wang sighed with a weary resignation, acknowledging that everything had turned to ashes, just as he had morbidly expected. His eyes widened in sudden surprise as he spotted an unexpected object, a small, metallic pill bottle hidden amidst the wreckage. Jiang Wang carefully held the intricate red pill, a potent question forming in his mind about its profound significance. There was no mistake, this was the long-lost treasure he had yearned for, and with grim determination and a taste of regret, he consumed the enigmatic pill. Beneath Jiang Wang's skin, golden, worm-like energy began to visibly writhe and pulse, signaling the onset of a profound transformation. A powerful surge of golden energy coursed through Jiang Wang's internal body, mapping his meridians in a brilliant glow that culminated in a spiritual symbol above his spine and head. Jiang Wang's eyes blazed with golden light as his form glowed with an ethereal energy, his spirit manifesting in a transcendent vision of power. Standing invigorated upon the desolate landscape, Jiang Wang's eyes glowed with the raw power of his rebirth as bright energy crackled around him. When the Tao meridians manifest, vitality returns, Jiang Wang declared, reflecting on the profound and unpredictable nature of fate. As the serene night settled over the distant building, a sudden and violent impact erupted on the ground below, tearing through the quiet. "Thank you, my beggar brothers, for tending to me at death's door, and my gratitude to the elder whose Meridian Opening pill saved my life," Jiang Wang announced, revealing his origins as he honored the fallen. A tattered red cloth, tied to a wooden post, marked the grave, a somber memorial for the limp, bandaged arm that bore witness to the tragedy. With a resolute gaze and hair whipping in the wind, Jiang Wang spoke his name, grounding his presence in the desolate land. Jiang Wang bowed respectfully towards the grave, offering a solemn farewell and wishing eternal peace in the heavens for the deceased. Across the dark, rocky terrain, numerous small golden lights began to glow mysteriously, illuminating the ground with an enchanted aura. Jiang Wang looked on with sudden curiosity, noticing the scattered golden specks and a more prominent, glowing golden ring among them. A golden ring manifested on his bandaged finger, radiating light from his clenched fist as Jiang Wang's eyes widened in intense, bewildered surprise. Jiang Wang suddenly found himself adrift in a disorienting void, demanding to know where he had been flung. Then, his eyes widened with surprise as he spotted an ethereal blue figure shimmering in the mysterious expanse. Floating closer, Jiang Wang attempted to hail the enigmatic being, seeking answers to his strange predicament. As Jiang Wang stood amidst shimmering data, a torrent of cryptic information about the Dao simulation platform and sword discussion platform, along with various seals, flooded his mind. He deciphered fragments of the ethereal scroll, mumbling the names of platforms and grades, beginning to piece together his magical new reality. A sudden, irresistible force seized him, and Jiang Wang cried out in alarm as he was rapidly pulled into the luminous form. A voice respectfully hailed him as the master of the Dong Zhensu blessed land, leaving Jiang Wang utterly bewildered by the surge of energy and cryptic titles. Swirling light and energy enveloped Jiang Wang, rushing around him in a powerful, transformative maelstrom. Amidst the swirling lines, detailed explanations defined the Taishu illusory realm as a simulated space for refining martial techniques and Daoist arts, where merit was earned through combat in blessed lands. He learned his new home, the Dong's Hengsu blessed land, ranked 23rd, yielded 1,850 merit points monthly, but an ominous challenge loomed in merely 30 days. The possibility of demotion sent a jolt of alarm through Jiang Wang, his wide eyes reflecting the sudden seriousness of his new reality. A hazy, indistinct transition marked his departure from the conceptual space. Back in the world, Jiang Wang contemplated the vast, unfathomable depths of the Taishu illusory realm, knowing that true understanding would demand extensive exploration. Yet, a more immediate, burning purpose guided him. He needed to return to the Dao Academy before the inner court selection, a crescent symbol glowing faintly on his hand. With a clenched fist and eyes burning with unwavering resolve, Jiang Wang swore to avenge the profound humiliation he had endured. His journey led him to the vibrant, bustling streets of Maple Forest City in the Zac Kingdom. An unseen voice exclaimed with a mix of surprise and expectation that he had returned to the Maple Forest City Dao Academy. A collective gasp spread through the disciples as Jiang Wang, the long-lost protagonist, strode through the grand gates of the academy. His foot landed with a decisive impact, marking his undeniable return. With confident strides, Jiang Wang walked into the central courtyard, every eye fixed on his unwavering path. He then casually kicked a large, rectangular object he had been carrying, sending it sliding across the ground with a soft thud. While Du Yu, a burly, red-bearded man, questioned the return of the one with the Jiang surname, another figure urgently pushed through the gathered crowd. Du Yu, his sworn second brother, erupted in boisterous laughter and embraced Jiang Wang, declaring their relief that he wasn't dead and had worried them for nothing. Ling He, his sworn eldest brother, radiated serene happiness and simply declared his joy at the reunion. Ling He offered a warm, calm welcome, assuring Jiang Wang that his return was all that truly mattered. Du Yu continued to tease, playfully asserting that Jiang Wang had merely wandered off to make his fortune and forgotten his brothers. Jiang Wang, with a playful grin, retorted by pointing out his tattered clothes and jokingly suggested he'd only returned after failing to make a living elsewhere. Zhao Rucheng, his sworn fifth brother, elegantly addressed Jiang Wang with a gentle smile. Du Yu boisterously insisted that Jiang Wang drink to his heart's content with his brothers that night, while Zhao Rucheng teasingly accused him of simply seeking an excuse to drink himself. As his sworn brothers' playful banter continued, Ling He cut through it, noting Jiang Wang's serious demeanor since his return and asking what had truly happened. Du Yu then echoed the sentiment, questioning what Jiang Wang was so intently staring at. A wave of apprehension washed over his sworn brothers as Zhao Rucheng hesitantly addressed Jiang Wang, sensing the depth of his unspoken burden. Fourth sworn brother Fang Pengju angrily demanded to know why Jiang Wang had left without a word, causing them all immense worry during his long absence. Jiang Wang retorted with bitter skepticism, questioning if Fang Pengju had truly wished for his return during the 57 days he had been gone, while Fang Pengju quickly insisted there must be a misunderstanding and that he had been anxious, sending people everywhere to search for his third brother. Du Yu, the second brother, interjected to remind Jiang Wang of his presence, while Fang Pengju quickly defended himself, before Du Yu suggested they step aside to de-escalate the increasingly strained confrontation. Among the gathered disciples, whispers began about the hidden meaning in Jiang Wang's words, though some quickly defended senior brother Fang's reputation for righteousness. Ling He, the eldest brother, offered a calming hand, assuring Jiang Wang that they would stand with him if he had been wronged, even appealing to the Dao Institutes, but urged him to clarify the truth and not act rashly against potential discord. Fang Pengju acknowledged Ling He's worries, claiming to treasure their sworn brotherhood, yet lamenting the shame of those who would betray brothers for selfish gain, his words heavy with veiled accusation. Fang Pengju's eyes narrowed, warning Jiang Wang not to make baseless accusations without presenting undeniable proof. Jiang Wang cried out, declaring his proof as a wooden barrel loudly shattered under his furious assault. Du Yu gasped in shock, along with the others, as they stared wide-eyed at the sudden revelation. From the shattered barrel, a gagged man whimpered, lying distressed on the ground as Jiang Wang observed his pitiful state. Fang Detsai, the Fang family's servant, continued to whimper as Jiang Wang revealed how this very man had delivered the invitation to Moon Viewing Tower, where he was promised a celebration for earning the Dao Institute's Meridian Opening pill. Jiang Wang recounted the deceit, how Fang Detsai had urged him to drink poisoned wine, claiming it was a special vintage sent by Fang Pengju, before he had even arrived. Enraged, Du Yu accused Fang Detsai of beastly betrayal, colluding with bandits to harm his third brother, and then swiftly struck him down with a whistling blade. Fang Detsai lay lifeless, a blade impaled in his head, his wide eyes still reflecting the grim horror of his final moments. Fang Pengju, now holding the sword, agitatedly claimed the wretched slave had merely spewed desperate lies to sow discord, urging Jiang Wang not to believe a word. As Fang Pengju desperately pleaded for Jiang Wang to understand that the confession was fake, Jiang Wang calmly revealed his foresight, stating he already possessed a full, signed confession detailing Fang Pengju's orders, having anticipated his murderous move. Jiang Wang, his face grim, declared that this deep hatred could only be settled by death, leaving a distraught Fang Pengju to lament the tragic end of their brotherhood. A hand ominously clutched a sword, its blade already stained with the stark crimson of destiny. Kneeling in despair, Fang Pengju tearfully accepted responsibility for the scandal brought by Fang Detsai, offering his own life by sword if that was the only way to appease his third brother's insurmountable rage. As Fang Pengju knelt, voices of support rose from the crowd, disciples pleaded for him not to speak lightly of death, and Du Yu affirmed his unwavering belief in senior brother Fang's character. Jiang Wang, stern and resolute, coldly rejected the offer of self-sacrifice, his own blood-stained sword glinting with grim resolve. A growing panic spread as Du Yu tried to interject, attempting to mediate the escalating confrontation between the third and fourth sworn brothers. Jiang Wang declared Fang Pengju's sword too dirty to be used, and with a decisive slice, he attacked with his own blade. As a sharp slicing sound filled the air, the onlookers reacted in unison, their eyes wide with horrified realization. Blades cleaved the air with deadly precision, each strike a blur of swift, kinetic force against an unseen adversary. Du Yu reeled in disbelief, questioning the grim seriousness in Jiang Wang's actions, while another disciple observed that only profound hatred could drive their third brother to such extremes. Fang Pengju, his voice edged with desperation, pleaded with Jiang Wang, questioning if their shared brotherhood truly meant nothing to him now. Jiang Wang, his resolve ironclad, sharply silenced the plea, declaring such words only sullied the sacred bonds of true brotherhood. Jiang Wang reminded Fang Pengju of a broken promise, asserting that the debt for his grandmother's potential demise, and for his own continued survival, would now be exacted in full. Jiang Wang bitingly asked if Fang Pengju suffered from victim delusions, reminding him he had already squandered every opportunity for a graceful retreat. Fang Pengju, still defiant, scoffed at Jiang Wang's stubbornness, disingenuously asking how he could repay a debt he vehemently denied even owing. With a final, cold pronouncement that further words were futile, Jiang Wang shifted, the very air around him seeming to whirl with anticipation of the coming conflict. A loyal disciple, standing dramatically on a high ledge, fervently appealed to the ancestral master, declaring his hatred for Fang Pengju would only be resolved through a sacred death duel of Dao judgment. A sharp crack echoed through the vast courtyard, signaling the irreversible weight of the challenge. Jiang Wang, his gaze unwavering, asserted that under the stringent laws of Maplewood Institute, the challenge of the death duel was beyond refusal. Fang Pengju, cornered and furious, condemned Jiang Wang as a lunatic just as a sudden whoosh of unseen forces began to swirl the scattered leaves. Du Yu, grasping his staff, vocalized the collective confusion as a sudden, unsettling disturbance swept through the courtyard, baffling all who witnessed it. The inexplicable whoosh of surging energies enveloped both Jiang Wang and Fang Pengju, whipping leaves into a frenzied vortex around them. With an imposing grandeur, a figure in a bird-like mask and feathered attire manifested high above, radiating an ethereal power that commanded instant awe. As the onlookers bowed in reverence, acknowledging the arrival of their revered grandmaster, his voice, ancient and resonant, declared the solemn establishment of the death duel of Dao judgment. Donghe, the venerable head of Maplewood City's Dao Institute, definitively pronounced the duel established, sealing their fates with his authority. The man in the bird-like mask began to channel his profound inner chi, manifesting the intricate technique known as the jade cage with swirling, ethereal green energy. With a single, commanding shout of "Rise," the man in the bird-like mask caused monstrous vines to crackle forth from the earth, startling Jiang Wang. Jiang Wang watched in growing alarm as the massive, unnatural vines continued to crackle and erupt around him, their verdant tendrils swiftly engulfing the space. The gigantic vines completed their spherical formation with a series of heavy thumps, sealing the arena in a living cage as onlookers watched in hushed awe. Jiang Wang now found himself utterly encased within the impenetrable vine cage, isolated and observed by the powerful figure in the bird-like mask. The stage for their battle was set on a colossal, gnarled vine structure, vast and imposing. Jiang Wang wrestled with the grim implications. Even if he defeated Fang Pengju, the dean's approval of a death match meant Daoist Academy would surely intervene, leaving him no escape from investigation. A gnarled segment of the colossal vine surged forward, shifting with aggressive speed. Fang Pengju recoiled sharply as a green-glowing vine lunged toward him. With solemn authority, the white-haired elder declared that rules were rules, commanding the combatants to take out their swords. A blade sliced through the air with a swift whoosh. Jiang Wang drew his sword with a powerful clang, his eyes burning red with fierce determination. The white-haired elder's voice, stark and decisive, commanded the duel to start. The crowd buzzed with tense expectation, witnessing the fated death duel between Jiang Wang, first on the outer court's merit list, and Fang Pengju, who ranked second, knowing this was no mere exchange, but a fight to the death. A man with a red beard stammered his concern, but the young man beside him calmly noted the dean's personal presence meant further words were futile. Fang Pengju initiated his attack, leaping into the open sky with sword raised, while Jiang Wang stood poised on the gnarled vine. Fang Pengju questioned why Jiang Wang pushed things so far, but Jiang Wang's glowing eyes fiercely declared his sole ambition, to become stronger. Their blades clashed mid-air, meeting with explosive bursts of energy as the duel intensified. Fang Pengju's face hardened as he fiercely declared that his opponent would die by his sword today. Leaping, Fang Pengju taunted his foe, confessing his hatred for that always confident face. Jiang Wang let out a guttural growl, his red eyes glowing as raw power radiated from him. The observers realized with shock that Fang Pengju had stimulated his Dao meridians, sparking angry outrage that he had shamelessly taken their third brother's Meridian Opening pill. Fang Pengju's face twisted into a smug grin, taunting Jiang Wang that despite superior swordsmanship, with the Meridian Opening pill activating his Dao meridians, he was unstoppable. As energy swirled around him, Jiang Wang fiercely recalled the grueling, bloody battles against countless demons, the 13 wounds, 7 poisons, and near-death experience he endured alone to acquire that very Meridian Opening pill. With a golden wisp of energy emanating from his hand, Jiang Wang's enraged thoughts challenged Fang Pengju, questioning the efficacy of the Meridian Opening pill forged from his own blood, sweat, and tears. Fang Pengju stared wide-eyed, utterly disbelieving as he whispered, "You also opened the Dao meridians," his mind racing, unable to comprehend how it was possible when he had already stolen the pill. The combatants plunged into a rapid, intense sword fight, blades meeting with a flurry of energy sparks. Jiang Wang leaped, delivering a powerful sword strike that Fang Pengju met with a resonant clang. Fang Pengju lashed out with a frustrated stab, his thoughts consumed by how his opponent could have possibly opened his meridians. Blood splattered across his face, Jiang Wang raised his sword, his expression fiercely aggressive. The intense sword fight raged on, a continuous exchange of powerful strikes, dodges, and relentless movement. The dean observed the arena, his stern gaze a silent judgment on the unfolding destiny. Fellow disciples watched with mounting concern, one urging Jiang Wang not to falter, while another noted a strange, unsettling energy about his Dao meridians. Blades clashed with a fury that echoed across the field, Jiang Wang and Fang Pengju locked in a deadly dance. Fang Pengju, smirking, internally believed Jiang Wang's stimulated Dao meridians were a fleeting advantage, certain to expose fatal flaws. Jiang Wang lunged, his blade a blur aimed directly at his treacherous brother. Fang Pengju mocked Jiang Wang, his feigned patience quickly giving way to a venomous declaration, he would kill him now. In a flash, Jiang Wang's hand was deeply cut, crimson splattering across his sword hilt. Fang Pengju screamed in agonizing pain as his hand was grievously wounded, his grip on his weapon instantly failing. Jiang Wang struck with devastating force, sending Fang Pengju crashing downwards. Another powerful strike landed, shattering Fang Pengju's defenses and his internal stability. Fang Pengju tumbled through the air, his scream of agony echoing as he plummeted towards the colossal roots below. He slammed into the gnarled giant roots, his body collapsing in a heap. Jiang Wang revealed the true depth of his vengeance, confessing how this exact moment had fueled his will to survive through 57 days of agonizing near-death. Jiang Wang stood victorious, his dual blades held high over Fang Pengju's defeated form. Fang Pengju gasped in pain, a sudden, furious realization dawning on him, Jiang Wang had deliberately feigned weakness to draw him into a trap. Charging forward, Jiang Wang declared his revenge was finally at hand, his every step echoing his long-held fury. Fang Pengju, now terrified and injured, desperately pleaded with Jiang Wang, begging for a chance to explain and for a single act of forgiveness. His pleas faded into the somber silence as Fang Pengju lay defeated, his fate sealed by his past betrayals. Above the vast, gnarled roots, Jiang Wang stood impassive over Fang Pengju's motionless form, the battle decisively concluded. In a final, desperate plea, Fang Pengju cried out to the dean, invoking the prestige of his Fang family lineage as if it could save him. The dean's stern voice cut through the air, a chilling reminder that in a fight to the death, only the victor held the power of life and demise. With a silent glide, Jiang Wang advanced, his sword gleaming, prepared to deliver the final, inevitable blow. Fang Pengju's desperate pleas continued, his voice choked with fear and a frantic hope for a chance to justify his betrayal. With a calm that belied his inner turmoil, Jiang Wang simply commanded his opponent to speak. Fang Pengju poured out his desperate rationale, blaming his family's lost glory and his late father's dying wish, claiming Jiang Wang's swift rise and the Meridian Opening pill left him no other path. Tears streaming, Fang Pengju expressed remorse for his sleepless nights, yet he dared to ask for forgiveness, believing Jiang Wang's survival and their brotherhood should outweigh his heinous crime, even as Jiang Wang readied his sword. Jiang Wang plunged his sword deep into Fang Pengju's chest, silencing his desperate pleas with a guttural gasp. Blood began to seep, a grim testament to the fatal wound. Fang Pengju's eyes remained wide and vacant, blood staining his face in the undeniable stillness of death. Jiang Wang declared that to forgive such a betrayal would be to dishonor his own agonizing endurance, the 57 days he had fought through pain and despair. With a cold, resolute finality, Jiang Wang granted his former brother a piece he had stolen from him. Jiang Wang felt a sudden surge as his Dao meridians became incredibly agile. As a glowing, worm-like essence crawled in and out, Jiang Wang wondered if this was the true spirit of his Dao meridian. With a sudden clarity, Jiang Wang understood this creature was his Dao meridian, stimulated by the fundamental Dao during his recent brutal battle. The name, Jiang Wang, echoed with a profound and shocking realization. The revered old man commanded Jiang Wang to follow him to the Jingsa, dismissing the others as Jiang Wang respectfully assented. The old man pressed Jiang Wang on the lack of public evidence before the duel, but Jiang Wang revealed his tactical foresight, Fang Pengju himself would expose the truth before his demise. The old man sternly chastised Jiang Wang for his impatience, questioning the recklessness of preempting the Dao court's judgment. Jiang Wang, though understanding, explained the urgency. Fang Pengju, with his manifested Dao meridians, would soon become the dean's disciple, making him untouchable and forcing Jiang Wang's hand. The old man shifted his inquiry, demanding a detailed account of how Jiang Wang came to possess a Meridian Opening pill himself, prompting Jiang Wang to begin his tale of Huanjin Temple. Jiang Wang recounted the fateful discovery of the Meridian Opening pill within the corpse of the legendary senior, Zuo Guanglie. Jiang Wang concluded his detailed testimony, asserting that the grave sites at Huanjin Temple and the inevitable investigations would corroborate his story, save for the single secret of the Taishu illusory realm. The old man thundered with fury, his voice booming as he condemned the shameless battle fought on sacred Zhuang territory, its reverberations shaking the very hall. A nervous swallow betrayed Jiang Wang's rising apprehension. The old man declared the origin of the Meridian Opening pill sufficiently clear, officially recognizing Jiang Wang as a disciple of the institution before dismissing him. Jiang Wang bowed deeply, offering a heartfelt, "Thank you, teacher." As Jiang Wang walked away, a voice called out, "Third brother. Third brother." Jiang Wang, surprised to see Ruqing, questioned his presence and the whereabouts of their elder brothers. Ruqing reported that their eldest brother was returning Fang Pengju's body, but their second brother had vanished, leading Jiang Wang to muse that he was likely drinking away his mixed feelings. Ruqing reassured Jiang Wang that their brothers would soon understand his actions, then enthusiastically invited him to the Three Fragrances Pavilion for flower wine and relaxation, though Jiang Wang playfully protested the fuss. Jiang Wang admitted his profound exhaustion, longing only for the dormitory and a deep rest, and Ru Qing quietly accepted his weariness. With a flourish of his fan, Ru Qing declared he would visit Miss Miaoyu alone, and Jiang Wang, appreciating the gesture, simply urged him to go. Jiang Wang reflected on the profound truth. In the blink of an eye, everything had irrevocably changed. With a new resolve, Jiang Wang stepped through the threshold, embarking on an uncertain new path. In the chaotic dormitory, a man with a red beard mercilessly taunted Ru Qing, threatening to defile his prized silk handkerchief, as another joined in the boisterous laughter while the old man watched with a knowing smirk. As Du Yehua warned bold Hu to be gentle, Ru Qing recoiled from his stinky sweat, prompting old Hu to jokingly confess his 3-day hygiene lapse and demand Ru Qing act more like a man. Surrounded by a scorching, internal fire, Jiang Wang wept, his tears a testament to the profound and irreversible truth that there was no going back. A young boy marveled at a spectral immortal who, noting his pure essence, offered him the path of cultivation. With a child's unwavering belief, the boy eagerly accepted, ready to be swept away on a grand, unknown journey. Innocence shining, the boy proposed they cultivate side by side, embracing a shared journey with his newfound uncle immortal. But the ethereal being's stern voice cut through the lightness, declaring a harsh truth: only one disciple would be accepted. Suddenly, the immortal's power turned sinister, casting the terrified boy into a terrifying, downward spiral. He plunged deeper into the cold, dark abyss, a torrent of bubbles marking his disorienting descent. The spectral immortal's words resonated with a grave warning: cultivation was not peace, but a brutal, endless fight against a cruelty that surpassed even inner nature. A guttural scream tore from Jiang Wang's throat as he violently jolted awake, the dream's terror still clinging to him. Jiang Wang slumped back, a sigh of profound weariness escaping him as he realized it was the same haunting vision once more. Jiang Wang stretched, his own exhaustion overshadowed by a growing concern that his elder brothers still hadn't returned. A man in a red cloak approached Jiang Wang, respectfully inquiring about the whereabouts of senior brother Ling He. The man in the red cloak replied with a simple shrug, admitting he had not seen Ling He. Suddenly, as the round-faced man repeated his denial, a sickening crack echoed, betraying a horrific rupture. Jiang Wang watched in frozen horror as the man's body crumpled, headless, while his severed head flew upwards. The head bounced horrifyingly across the ground as the headless body stumbled blindly before collapsing. Scrambling backwards, Jiang Wang cried out a frantic warning: monsters were invading, and no one was safe. A grotesque, decaying head shrieked, its red eyes glowing with unholy hunger. Jiang Wang pressed against an unseen force, realizing with chilling certainty that an air barrier now sealed his escape, trapping him within. The headless form lunged forward as the disembodied head wailed an eerie, guttural cry. Enraged by the demonic deception, Jiang Wang fiercely commanded his inner power, activating the formidable origin Dao. With a surge of cutting energy, Jiang Wang unleashed a devastating strike, tearing through the monstrous form. A man in a red cloak cried out, his voice sharp with the agony of a bloody injury to his foot. Despite his wound, the man crouched low, every muscle tensed for the inevitable confrontation looming in the dark. The grotesque, zombie-like head cackled, clutching a severed top knot as it mockingly questioned how an outer courtyard disciple could possess such strong, cultivated legs. Its wide, unholy eyes gleamed with perverse delight as it savored the thought, declaring the flesh of a cultivator with opened meridians to be truly delicious. The man with the red cloak desperately realized this monster commanded the undead and possessed extraordinary strength, far beyond his own capabilities. He had to run, to warn the inner courtyard martial brothers quickly, or more lives in the outer courtyard would be tragically lost. His frantic struggle was met with an invisible wall, his hands pressed against an unseen, shimmering energy that held him in desperate confinement. The entire dormitory area was sealed by powerful Daoist magic, and with only a single surge of Dao essence remaining, he was trapped with no means to fight. The magical barrier cracked and shattered around him, sending the man flailing through the air. As the man collapsed, clutching his stomach in pain, another observed, "Oh, not bad, junior brother Jiang," a comment laced with an unsettling detachment. The man with the top knot acknowledged the impressive feat of using Dao essence to break the seal, then sternly ordered the injured man to seek medical treatment and leave the current danger to him. With unshakable authority, the man in the gold crown declared that he would personally handle this dire matter. The man with the red cloak painfully reported to the dean that a corpse-controlling demon had invaded, claiming the life of an outer courtyard disciple. A hand, surrounded by glowing green magical particles, indicated with calm assurance that this teacher knows the full extent of the horror. A green, glowing, poison-sting swallow remained embedded in the injured foot, an insidious threat festering beneath the skin. With a tearing, cracking sound, the corpse poison was painfully extracted from his feet, leaving the man with a profound sense of relief. Under the glow of the full moon, the dean's voice resonated with cold indignation, confronting the unseen enemy for using unorthodox methods, killing his people, and daring to escape. Dong-Ah's fury manifested as immense power, summoning a devastating, jade cage, as large, gnarled vines erupted from the ground with heavy thuds. Realizing they had alarmed Dong-Ah himself and faced certain defeat, the two zombie-like heads quickly decided to split up and escape. Scrambling frantically across the rooftop, the zombie-like head urged escape, knowing they stood no chance if Dong-Ah made his move. A menacing, dark, thorny sphere pulsed with blood-red tendrils, a terrifying display of raw power. With a swift, chirping sound, the two zombie-like heads frantically fled across the rooftop. The self-satisfied zombie-like head revealed its mission was complete. Intelligence on the seemingly ordinary Taoist priest who had opened his meridians would now be reported to the saintess. With a powerful thud, the gnarled vine creature delivered a shocking punch, sending the zombie-like head recoiling. The massive gnarled vine creature tore violently through a traditional building, scattering debris in a chaotic display of immense power. The zombie-like head spat black liquid in shocked realization. Dong-Ah's terrifying control extended even to this distant location. With a startling crack, a zombie-like head grotesquely burst forth from the maw of a large, red, flower-like creature. Floating amidst wrathful vines, Dong-Ah's voice cracked with fury, confronting the insignificant underling who dared to run wild in his territory. Under the full moon, Dong-Ah relentlessly pursued the fleeing zombie-like head, both carried swiftly across the rooftops by great, winding vines. Sternly, Dong-Ah demanded to know who sent it, but the sly, bloodied zombie-like head merely mocked him, inviting him closer. With grotesque defiance and bloodshot eyes, the zombie-like head declared it would only reveal its secrets once they both reached the netherworld. With a silent, commanding gesture, the man compelled the large, red, flower-like creature to close its petals, sealing its fate. The man in red declared that his Zhuang nation's cultivation prodigy had nearly been harmed at the Daoist Academy, a powerful surge accompanying his words. With solemn authority, the man in red commanded Jianqiu that their academy would demand answers from the city lord's mansion, leaving the rest for him to finish, to which Jianqiu humbly obeyed. Jiang Wang, the young man, mused with a pensive gaze, wondering if he could ever reach the realm of a fifth-grade powerhouse. Jiang Wang's worried call startled Zhao Rucheng, who gasped, asking why he was back. Zhao Rucheng wailed dramatically about his unrequited love for Miss Miaoyu, convinced his handsome wealth should have won her over, until an exasperated Jiang Wang cut him off, asking if he'd seen their missing brothers. Zhao Rucheng surmised their brother's location, relaying news of a monster invasion, a fallen disciple, and the dean's personal intervention, prompting Jiang Wang to declare, "Let's go." Along the somber riverbank, Zhao Rucheng explained that with the Fang family refusing the body, their big brother would surely take it to Green Willow Riverbank rather than a mass grave. As anticipated, Zhao Rucheng confirmed their suspicions upon seeing the man with dark hair by a small fire, illuminated next to a tombstone. The man with dark hair called out their names, Rucheng, Jiang Wang, breaking the melancholic silence. The man with dark hair lamented the world's constant change, reflecting on how their sword-fighting practices had evolved into such somber circumstances. A weathered tombstone and a partially buried sword stood as a silent, somber memorial by the fire's gentle glow. The man with dark hair explained his loyalty to Pengju, asking Jiang Wang if he would blame his elder brother for not abandoning a friend, to which Zhao Rucheng quickly affirmed, "Of course not." Jiang Wang, with intense resolve, asserted his independence, declaring that their differing stances on severing ties would not sway either of them. The man with dark hair gravely acknowledged the fearful nature of worldly changes, but Zhao Rucheng's attention suddenly shifted, demanding to see something with a curious eagerness. Zhao Rucheng playfully teased Du Yuehu for crying like a baby, drawing an enraged, "You stinky brat," in response. Du Yuehu furiously threatened to kick him to death, sending a panicked Zhao Rucheng screaming for his big brother and third brother to save him. As a gentle breeze rustled through the reeds, the man with dark hair stepped into the water, reflecting that change could come as it pleased, like a breeze over the mountains. With a calm, reassuring smile, the man with dark hair asked Jiang Wang if remaining true to their hearts wouldn't allow them to face any future with tranquility. Jiang Wang contemplated the profound concept of an unwavering, pure heart, his gaze resolute. With a gentle swishing sound as footsteps moved through the water, Jiang Wang's eyes narrowed, reflecting a newfound determination. As Du Yuehu and Zhao Rucheng continued their boisterous squabble, their two companions quietly departed for the academy, a determined grunt marking their solemn exit. Within a decaying shack, a lone figure in dark robes sat in eerie isolation. The skull-masked figure in dark robes broke the eerie silence, questioning if such a desolate place was truly necessary for their discussion. Coughing with apparent disgust at the squalor, the skull-masked figure complained of the dirt, but the zombie-like head sarcastically retorted that after 10 searches by the Zhuang nation, no place nearby was cleaner. A woman in pink robes, with a knowing smile, sensed the lingering, majestic aura of the world-famous Zuo Guanglie, who had died there. A dark-robed figure sternly laid out their critical mission, stating they must acquire the Grand Dao seal from the Tongtian Palace to capture the Child of Dao, even if it meant sacrificing nomads, while the woman in pink robes dismissed concerns about their methods. The dark-robed figure cautioned the woman about the profound consequences of failing to keep a low profile before the child of Tao appeared, leading her to question their new plan for sacrifices. The dark-robed figure revealed their current location was merely a decoy, a revelation that shocked the woman as he explained the elders had already put the real plan into motion. The woman expressed concern over the recent deaths in an abandoned temple and a familiar scent she detected in another, but the dark-robed figure coldly dismissed the life or death of a mere beggar. As dark energy swirled, the woman questioned the true motives of the man behind the curtain, wondering if the child of Tao even existed, and sorrowfully pondered why he had not found or loved her despite her patient waiting. A wise old man began a profound lesson for his attentive students, expounding on the inexhaustible emptiness of the Tao, which, like the ancestor of all things, harmonized light and dust. Jiang Wang reflected on the profound concept, noting that it seemed to exist and precede even the emperor, regardless of its origin. A mischievous young boy playfully tickled the nose of a muscular man, eliciting an annoyed reaction. Vice President of the Daoist Academy, Ch1, explained that true cultivation began with channeling energy to obtain Tao essence once the Tao meridians appeared, emphasizing the spine as the Tongtian Palace, where these keys to immortality lay hidden. Ch1 then challenged his students, asking which disciple could name the divisions of cultivator ranks, as passing through the visualized Tongtian Palace marked a crucial transition for cultivators. A student with a top knot meticulously listed the 9 ranks of cultivators, from the 9th rank Wandering Veins realm all the way to the 1st rank Yendao realm. Ch1 affirmed the importance of the 9th rank as the beginning of transcendence, explaining its hallmark was establishing the Tao spiral within the Tongtian Palace using the foundational Guiyuan array. The master continued, detailing how accumulating enough Tao essence would allow them to arrange the 81 formation points of the Guiyuan array to manifest the Tao spiral, even as a muscular student angrily grabbed the young boy by his collar in the classroom. Jiang Wang listened intently as Ch1 explained the harsh reality that in early meridian opening, an average person could only channel energy twice daily, yielding just 2 Tao essences. 2 students sharply recoiled, startled by an unseen force. Ch1 then revealed the demanding truth: it would take at least 41 days of diligent daily practice just to lay the foundation of the Guiyuan array. The master then delved into more advanced concepts, explaining that 3 Tao spirals formed a minor Zhoutian, and a major Zhoutian would reveal the gate of heaven itself, leading to the Tongtian realm. Jiang Wang thoughtfully recited the intricate calculations: 81 Tao essences for 1 Tao spiral, 3 Tao spirals for a minor Zhoutian, and 3 minor Zhudians for a major Zhoutian. A young boy, overwhelmed, tried to calculate the vast timeline, realizing that with only 2 Tao essences per day, reaching the 7th rank would require an astronomical amount of time. The man with the top knot clarified that it would indeed take 365 days, but talent, fate, and the self-generating Tao spiral would quicken the pace, a revelation a young man understood, while onlookers in a faded memory marveled at legendary talents like Zuo Guanglie. Jiang Wang, gazing at the faded image of the formidable Zuo Guanglie, questioned whether he, too, could possibly surpass such legendary figures in this lifetime. Ch1 concluded the lesson, assigning homework to review the basic knowledge of Tao techniques. The man with the top knot then elaborated on the structured classification of Tao techniques, which were divided into A, B, and C tiers, each further segmented into upper, middle, and lower ranks. Jiang Wang corrected the student, stating that above the A tier existed even superior ranks and divine techniques, prompting the young man to retort that Jiang Wang deserved a beating for such a bold claim. The master then revealed the immense power of superior rank Tao techniques, capable of destroying a small country, and emphasized their national significance, hinting at even greater divine techniques beyond. Every student, including Jiang Wang and his companions, leaned forward with eager and expectant faces, hanging on the master's every word. Ch1 delivered a final, inspiring message, urging them to encourage each other, master divine arts, achieve ultimate enlightenment, and bring glory to their Zhuang nation before dismissing the class. Fang Tongfeng, his spirit Yuan named, eagerly called out to Jiang Wang, who, along with his companions, was walking away, urging him to stay as he had been waiting a long time, prompting Jiang Wang to ask what he wanted. Jiang Wang dismissed the plea with a wave, stating firmly that everything was in the past and there was no need to dwell on it. Fang Tongfeng desperately called out again, trying to delay Jiang Wang, who, with an impatient sigh, finally turned and asked what he truly desired. Fang Tongfeng then grandly explained his significant cultivation achievements, boasting of his father's expensive meridian opening pill and his already manifested Tao organs, suggesting that he and Jiang Wang were the only outstanding cultivators among hundreds and should grow closer, but Jiang Wang simply dismissed him with a blunt, "Not interested." From behind, Fang Tongfeng's fury boiled over, his face contorting with rage as a subtle, pulsing aura flared around him, his voice seething as he condemned Jiang Wang's disrespect. Under the serene moonlight, 2 of Jiang Wang's companions pushed their bodies through strenuous training, their labored breathing echoing the intensity of their exertion. As Jiang Wang's companions diligently practiced their breathing methods, he reflected on his own cultivation, knowing he could not fall behind, especially with the impending challenge in the Taishu illusionary realm set for the 15th of July. With a powerful surge, Jiang Wang prepared to meet his appointment, his hand glowing with a crescent moon symbol as his eyes radiated light, transporting him into a mystical, ethereal realm filled with green, swirling patterns, the Dongjin Ruins' blessed land. Within the vast, magical arena, Jiang Wang assumed a fighting stance as the challenge countdown echoed, his mind wondering what kind of formidable opponent awaited him. The countdown continued, but Jiang Wang's resolve hardened as he reflected on his 30 days of intense cultivation, having fully absorbed the Meridian Opening pill and successfully stored several Dao essences within his meridians. As the final seconds of the countdown dwindled, Jiang Wang considered his chances, hoping he could at least last a few rounds, only for the unexpected announcement that his opponent had forfeited, leaving him in surprise. A confident smirk spread across Jiang Wang's face as he realized the implication of his opponent's forfeiture: the entire blessed land would now be his to keep. On settlement day for Blessed Land 23 in Dongjin Ruins, Jiang Wang received a staggering 1850 cultivation points, bringing his total to 3,700, and declared it was time to dive into new studies. Jiang Wang confidently approached the grand, glowing golden device, recognizing it as the legendary Dao simulation platform. Standing before the glowing golden table, Jiang Wang recalled the inherent instructions for activating the simulation, understanding that he merely needed to place his hands upon it, silently recite a known cultivation technique, and prepare the points for consumption. With a decisive motion, Jiang Wang selected the Guiyuan array, committing 1850 points to the simulation. The simulation swiftly began, disassembling and restructuring cosmic energies around Jiang Wang as intricate constellation patterns swirled to life. As the simulation concluded, Jiang Wang found himself possessing the Zhoutian star array, and a mix of surprise and confirmation escaped his lips at the unexpected outcome. He contemplated saving his remaining 1850 points, but a fierce determination seized him. On the path of cultivation, delay meant weakness, and true wisdom lay in continuous self-strengthening. Jiang Wang then chose to dedicate his remaining 1850 points to simulate defensive swordsmanship, his hand hovering over the glowing book-like interface. As the new simulation began, disassembling and restructuring the sword manual, Jiang Wang wondered aloud what formidable techniques this simple street stall purchase might unveil. The simulation climaxed in an explosion of golden energy, and Jiang Wang, consumed by awe, exclaimed at the absolute exquisiteness of the revealed techniques, his points now fully spent. The story warmly invited readers to experience the true narrative on manhua.com and join their community for the latest updates. Frustrated after 20 consecutive losses, Ruching lamented his sudden poor performance and pressed his third brother for the name of his formidable new swordsmanship technique. Third brother revealed his new, partially mastered sword technique, acknowledging it had already transformed his understanding of the art and requesting Ruching, with his literary talent, to bestow a fitting name upon its imposing and fiercely unpredictable forms. With a hopeful glint in his eye, Ruching playfully suggested naming it, the Almighty Divine Sword. Third brother, exasperated, playfully struck Ruching, who then shifted to a deeper contemplation of the technique's 9 training and 5 killing methods, and the profound significance of 95 as the supreme number. Confidently, Ruching declared the technique, a true ruler among swords, should bear the auspicious name, Purple Qi from the East, a profound phrase steeped in Daoist and Confucian traditions signifying prosperity and the advent of greatness. A pleased third brother acknowledged the brilliance of the name, decisively declaring that from this moment forward, his new sword technique would forever be known by its profound title. The Purple Qi from the East sword technique, pulsed with a vibrant, otherworldly energy, a testament to its nascent power and dynamic form. Exasperated, third brother playfully hoisted Ruching upside down, demanding an answer as the younger man yelped in protest. As Ruching desperately pleaded for instruction, their light-hearted exchange was abruptly silenced by the stern, clearing throat of the Zhao family's housekeeper, Uncle Deng. In a formal address, Uncle Deng, the Zhao family housekeeper, respectfully announced the arrival of young Master Li Jianqiu from the prestigious Daoist Academy, seeking an audience with young Master Jiang Wang. Li Jianqiu humbly expressed shame for troubling a senior brother with a message, then wondered aloud why Master Dong had summoned him to this grand architectural setting. Li Jianqiu casually dismissed the excessive formality, reminding senior brother Zhang of his humble origins, while Jiang Wang, ever observant, speculated that the summons likely concerned the recent demon attack in the outer southeast, pondering if Master Dong had unearthed new evidence before noting the full assembly of students. A student with a top knot openly questioned senior brother Li, his tone laced with surprise and subtle judgment, at the revelation that he had specifically sought out none other than Jiang Wang. The student with the top knot sharply reprimanded Jiang Wang, accusing him of disrespectfully inconveniencing both senior brother Li and senior brother Zhang, yet Jiang Wang remained unfazed, offering only a placid greeting to senior brother Zhang. Zhang Linchuan, an inner court fifth-year student, calmly conveyed that Master Dong remained in morning meditation, respectfully guiding the waiting disciples to continue their quiet vigil, while also subtly encouraging support for the series on manhua.com. A serene stillness fell upon the assembled disciples as they patiently awaited the venerable Master Dong's emergence from the grand building. A minute-sharp projectile remained eerily embedded in the surface, a stark, silent echo of some past, violent encounter. As one, the gathered disciples, led by Jiang Wang, Li Jianxiu, and Zhang Linchuan, bowed in profound unison, their voices echoing in respectful salutation to the arriving Master Dong. Master Dong gravely recounted the recent demonic assault and the tragic killing of an outer sect disciple, his tone solemn as he noted the city lord's mansion's complete failure to yield any results from their thorough investigation. With resolute authority, Master Dong declared the Dao Academy would no longer passively await external justice, instead dispatching the students themselves to investigate the demonic matter, promising honors befitting an 8th-grade mission. Master Dong deliberately highlighted Jiang Wang and Fang Pengju as the only disciples with nascent Dao meridians, stressing their critical need for careful tempering, while the top-knotted student's mind raced, internally calculating the substantial Yuan Dao merit reward of at least 100 points for an 8th-rank mission. Master Dong then specifically tasked Linchuan and Jianxiu to each lead a junior disciple on separate investigative paths, pointedly announcing a significantly reduced mission reward of merely 19 points. Master Dong unveiled the strategic core of the mission, a competitive edge demanding swift action. Whichever team unearthed the truth first would claim a dominant 90% of the prize, as he had decreed. In a synchronized act of profound deference, all the disciples, from Li Jianxiu to Jiang Wang, bowed and respectfully affirmed their unwavering obedience to Master Dong's challenging directives. Zhang Linchuan began to impart crucial intelligence, confiding that his connections within the Criminal Investigation Division had unearthed 2 most telling clues from the insidious demonic attack incident. Zhang Linchuan meticulously outlined the critical intelligence, the demon's prolonged stay at Fulai in suggesting residual clues, and a family in Tangxi town brutally murdered amidst chilling traces of corpse qi, then strategically sought input from the junior brothers on optimal routes and team formations. Fang Pengju voiced his regret at the necessity of not accompanying senior brother Li, citing the enduring family ties between the Fang and Zhang houses, while Jiang Wang, displaying respect for strategy, humbly deferred all assignment decisions to senior brother Zhang's superior intelligence. As Fang Pengju tentatively began to speak, Zhang Linchuan cut in, criticizing his echoing of others' words and lack of personal opinion. Before Li Jianxiu decisively assigned the teams for the morrow, Li Jianxiu himself would investigate Fulai, while Zhang Linchuan would accompany junior brother Jiang Wang to Tangxi town. Fang Pengju reacted with immediate surprise, his voice rising in protest as he began to question the team assignments, specifically challenging the implications for the long-standing bond between the Fang and Zhang families. A cheerful message reminded readers to find the story on manhua.com and join their Discord for updates. Unseen forces of fire and ice converged around the determined figure, a potent symbol of his burgeoning power and inner struggle. The desolate landscape echoed with the mournful cries of crows, a prelude to deeper disquiet. An old woman knelt in quiet despair, her basket heavy with unspoken worries beside her horse. As they approached the Wu village, Zhang Linchuan declared his intent to investigate after hearing tales, while Li Jianxiu warned of the lack of survivors. Yet, determined to fulfill his duty, Li Jianxiu vowed he would still do his job for those who awaited rescue, while Zhang Linchuan promised to find and punish the culprit, hoping this act would be his own salvation, as a distraught old man revealed his grandson had vanished last night, his last remaining family. A heavy padlock and a potent talisman sealed the dwelling, hinting at ancient forces at play within. Jiang Wang commanded the grey-robed man to open the sealed door, which slid aside with a grating sound, revealing an ominous darkness within. While a message encouraged readers to support the team, the grey-robed man gravely cautioned Li Jianxiu and Jiang Wang to be wary, for a great evil lurked inside. Li Jianxiu mused that the unspoiled food beside the skeletal remains suggested demonic consecrating magic, a chilling thought that solidified his decision to let Jiang Wang proceed into the house, but only after strict instructions to report all findings immediately. With bated breath, both Jiang Wang and Li Jianxiu cautiously ventured deeper into the eerie house through separate doorways. Li Jianxiu realized with horror that the countless skeletal remains confirmed his suspicions. The mortals had been drained dry, explaining the Wu village disappearances, just as a blue spectral immortal suddenly lashed out with an explosion of power, prompting a terrified cry from Jiang Wang. A powerful concussive blast erupted from the spectral immortal, forcing Li Jianxiu to dodge with desperate speed. The spectral head, acknowledging Li Jianxiu's unexpected skill, tried to buy time by revealing the Book of Heaven held the secret to immortality, but Li Jianxiu saw through the ploy, realizing the demon sought only escape and must be connected to the greater demonic threat, vowing that the beast would not survive this confrontation. The technique, purple gold of the lasting shadow, promised forbidden first kills through sheer speed, while another message invited readers to join their Discord and find more chapters on manhua.com. Jiang Wang realized with grim satisfaction that his sword had found its mark, piercing through the illusion to wound his hidden foe. The demon's narration confirmed the Daoist's extraordinary skill, for Jiang Wang, though yet to establish his full foundation, had defied their white-bone sect's thousand thistle separation of yin and yang imitation technique with a mere ordinary sword, his swordsmanship already beyond measure. Undeterred, Jiang Wang's fury surged, challenging the unseen foe to face his blade once more. The ravaged structure bore silent witness to the brutal struggle, its wounds still seeping with lingering, destructive energy. Zhang Linchuan, fearing for Jiang Wang's safety, called out, only for Jiang Wang to report that the demon had successfully fled. Zhang Linchuan pressed for details, and Jiang Wang recounted how the demon had magically imprisoned him, then anxiously inquired if his senior brother had sighted the escaping entity. Jiang Wang stared, horrified, at the crackling, electrified remains, understanding the sheer destructive power that had been unleashed. Zhang Linchuan calmly revealed he had dispatched 2 reanimated corpses outside and asked if Jiang Wang had faced the demon cultivator, to which Jiang Wang confessed his frustration that the fiend had still managed to escape his grasp. With a strategic glint in his eye, Zhang Linchuan affirmed that a single drop of the demon's blood, combined with the Vice Fiend's mastery of the 6 trigrams technique, would guarantee their enemy's capture. Zhang Linchuan suggested their return, knowing their dangerous encounter would provide a suitable explanation to Master Dong. Yet, Zhang Linchuan's keen eye had noticed something deeper, probing Jiang Wang about his uncharacteristic fury during their recent perilous encounter. Jiang Wang, his expression somber, confessed that the demon's victim had ignited a primal rage within him, a painful reminder of his half-sister from whom he had been separated since their father's passing. With a soft hiss and a light shimmer, Jiang Wang handed a small pouch to Zhang Linchuan. Zhang Linchuan solemnly instructed Constable Tang to ensure the deceased family received a proper burial, and the constable, on behalf of Nyoer, expressed his profound gratitude. Their steady footsteps echoed through the bleak, mist-shrouded forest, drawing them deeper into its oppressive silence. As they rode along the official road, lined with glowing protective formations, Zhang Linchuan mused on the vast resources the court poured into safeguarding even remote paths like those near Tangxi town. Zhang Linchuan clarified that such immense investments only deterred minor threats, warning that true monsters and especially ferocious beasts required powerful cultivators, noting that only monsters with intact Dao meridians yielded pills for cultivation. He continued, explaining that while monsters posed a threat, their Dao meridians made them a valuable resource, then challenged Jiang Wang to define the true danger. What, then, are ferocious beasts? Zhang Linchuan patiently clarified, defining ferocious beasts as creatures contaminated by evil spirits or driven insane, their corrupted forms and damaged Dao meridians rendering them utterly useless for cultivation or resources. The real danger, Zhang Linchuan emphasized, lay in their immense combat power coupled with their utter worthlessness, making their eradication a pure loss, and places plagued by them known as beast disasters, to which Jiang Wang acknowledged the sobering lesson with gratitude. Then, Zhang Linchuan turned his piercing gaze upon Jiang Wang, questioning the peculiar pattern of monsters attacking him both at the Daoist temple and again in Tangxi town. Jiang Wang offered only a questioning hum, the implication of Zhang Linchuan's words beginning to settle uneasily in his mind. With an ominous crackle of energy, Zhang Linchuan pressed further, suggesting Jiang Wang harbored some unspeakable secret drawing these entities, a thought that immediately turned Jiang Wang's mind to Zuo Guanglie's void key. Suddenly, a booming explosion erupted, forcing both men to violently dodge as fierce energy strikes assailed them through the forest. Jiang Wang looked back, his silence punctuated by the ominous sight of a broken projectile, confirming their ambush was deliberate. Amidst crackling lightning, a menacing dark-robed figure floated into view, declaring he had awaited them and now demanded their lives. Jiang Wang cried out to Zhang Linchuan, who, recognizing the formidable strength of their new foe, immediately ordered them to split up and retreat. Suddenly, Jiang Wang realized the voice belonged to the demon that had trapped him earlier, and with a surge of renewed resolve, he charged forward. Jiang Wang initiated the purple chi from the East Sword Art, first kill form, prioritizing speed as he faced his foe, who scoffed, asking if he was too fast and dared him to stand still. The grinning, zombie-like entity offered a happy death and a prayer if he yielded. Enraged by the indiscriminate slaughter of innocents, Jiang Wang swore death upon his foe, channeling the purple chi from the East Sword Art into its second kill form, where accuracy was paramount. The zombie-like entity, agilely balancing on a tree stump, sneered that Jiang Wang's swordsmanship was passable, but he remained a mere brat, unmastered in Taoism and unable to wield its true techniques. A surging sound accompanied the zombie-like head's arm as it began to glow green and transform, the creature menacingly boasting it would now reveal the true gap in their strength. A monstrous, bloated green fist, the bloated zombie corpse attack, was unleashed with a powerful rush, an overwhelming display of raw, corruptive force aimed directly at Jiang Wang. With a whistling impact, Jiang Wang met the attack with his blade, realizing that his opponent's arms had not merely grown, but its skin had become as hard as stone, a chilling demonstration of true Dao technique's power to alter the essence of things. Amidst the chaotic cracking and crumbling of the impact, Jiang Wang pressed on, the unsettling thought lingering that his opponent surely held other Dao techniques yet to be unleashed. Gritting his teeth, Jiang Wang revealed his dire situation. All he had left was the purple chi from the East Sword Art and the mere 20 Dao essence orbs painstakingly accumulated in his Tianchong meridian over the past few days. With a chilling cackle, the zombie-like head gripped Jiang Wang firmly in its massive green hand, taunting the little Daoist that regret was futile and advising him to be wiser in his next life. The zombie-like entity effortlessly flung Jiang Wang through the air, sending him spiraling downwards towards the dark forest floor. As golden impacts whistled around him, Jiang Wang knew neither escape nor retreat was an option. He could only unleash his deepest trump cards and attempt to surprise his foe. With deadly precision, Jiang Wang's attack pierced through, surrounding his target in a swirling vortex of purple energy, shocking the zombie-like head who cursed this unexpected hidden trick up the brat's sleeve. The potent, piercing attack culminated in a massive impact, leaving a brilliant starburst of white and purple energy scorched into the dark forest ground. With a pained gasp, the zombie-like entity acknowledged Jiang Wang's swordsmanship was too fierce for direct confrontation and, deciding avoidance was best, began to transform, unleashing its rotting corpse poison mist. Green poisonous mist billowed rapidly from the zombie-like head's open mouth, spewing forth a noxious cloud that spread ominously. As the green poisonous mist rapidly filled the forest, Jiang Wang pondered using its cover for a surprise attack, but quickly dismissed the notion, knowing his shadowy foe would not passively await his demise within the fog. With an explosive surge, Jiang Wang revealed his sword aura protection, a powerful purple light column that effortlessly cut through the green mist, leaving the zombie-like head utterly surprised by its manifestation. Surrounded by a swirling purple aura, Jiang Wang intensely concentrated, declaring that 10 years were required to sharpen a sword, a frosted blade whose true potential he had yet to unleash. With eyes glowing red, Jiang Wang apologized for the impending chaos, then unleashed the purple chi from the East Sword Art's third kill form, a furious torrent of whistling impacts and concentrated power. As a massive purple energy attack crackled and burst through the darkness, the wide-eyed zombie-like head reeled in disbelief, questioning if an unestablished Daoist could truly exhibit such overwhelming power. As the defeated zombie-like head emitted low groans of pain and smoke, Jiang Wang stood calm and triumphant, his glowing purple blade held upright, asking if there was anyone else suffering from injustice. Jiang Wang, already injured and gasping for breath, found himself relentlessly pressed by the aggressive dark-robed figure, his strength waning in the desolate forest. He knew that unleashing the 5 killing forms with his current cultivation would forcibly exhaust his Dao essence, shattering his body, a desperate measure that reverberated with crackling energy around him. Senior brother Zhang, floating above, calmly observed the Nethawk's demise, stating their non-cooperation would have forced their identities into the open, a truth Jiang Wang, still reeling from his injuries, could only acknowledge. Senior brother Zhang, crackling with subtle energy, expressed his surprise that Jiang Wang, without even forming his foundation, had single-handedly slain an 8th-ranked demon, disrupting his original plan to interrogate a captive for information. A thunderous impact marked the final, silent descent of the defeated foe onto the bleak forest floor, its demise signaled by the weapon still impaled beside it. Jiang Wang explained he had to intervene when the monster attacked senior brother Zhang, regretting that his 7 killing forms scattered the foe's soul, but Zhang, reassured by Jiang Wang's talent, confirmed the corrupted blood rendered the corpse useless, having already soul-searched the other 2 heads. As they moved away from the fallen body, senior brother Zhang explained the enemy's souls were shattered by internal curses upon death or capture, rendering their memories lost and their corpses useless for intelligence, a grim reality Jiang Wang acknowledged. Jiang Wang urged senior brother Zhang to prioritize healing his injuries, but Zhang, unwavering, insisted on reporting their mission to Master Dong at the Daoist Academy first, emphasizing the urgent need to report the corroded formation patterns on the official road to authorities. From a grand balcony overlooking a city alive with lights and waterways, a man and a woman observed the serene yet bustling night, completely unaware of the battles elsewhere. As a new world of flowering intrigue bloomed, the man eagerly promised Miaoyu anything she desired, while a kneeling dark-robed figure reported the situation in Tangxi town, asking if new followers should be sent undercover to the Saintess. Miaoyu dismissed the need for new followers, her focus sharpening on the young man named Jiang Wang, demanding to know how he, with mere swordsmanship, had killed her people and who his master was. The dark-robed figure, bandaged and apologetic, admitted his incompetence, unable to trace the sword technique that had never before appeared in Maplewood City, prompting Miaoyu to calmly dismiss him. As the dark-robed figure respectfully withdrew, Miaoyu mused on Jiang Wang's untraceable sword technique, concluding his background was far from simple and wondering if he could be worthy of becoming her child of Dao. Miaoyu watched a koi fish splash gently in the pond below, its tranquil movements mirroring her deep contemplation. An unseen hand performed a soul search on the spectral, glowing blue zombie-like head, attempting to extract its hidden secrets. The young man reported to Master Dong, asking if any vital intelligence had been uncovered from the body he and Brotherly brought back after their undercover mission, as Master Dong examined it with glowing blue energy. Master Dong explained the demon's soul was shattered by an internal curse, yielding no useful memories. Lin Chun, the man with the red beard, concluded such thorough precautions pointed to a complicated and powerful backing for the demonic group. Master Dong impatiently cut short the discussion, demanding Lin Chuan, senior brother Zhang, report on the situation from his side. Ch1 reported that the 3 demon cultivators in Tangxi town also bore soul-shattering curses, explaining he killed 2 and Jiang Wang single-handedly dispatched the 3rd, a revelation that shocked Ch1. Master Dong expressed his impressive regard for Jiang Wang, but Jiang Wang modestly attributed his victory to chance and the demon's fear of senior brother Zhang, earning a subtly appreciative smirk from Ch1. Master Dong concluded the mission, dismissing them with an award of 5 Dao merits each, a decree met with surprise from Jiang Wang amidst the others' affirmations. As the group departed, the man with the top knot asked Jiang Wang about his plans, and Jiang Wang revealed his intention to visit the Dao Merit Hall to broaden his horizons, prompting a curious inquiry about his reasoning from the top-knotted man and a supportive comment from Ch1. Jiang Wang walked purposefully down a dimly lit corridor, anticipating his destination where a dark-robed figure waited. In the majestic hall, Jiang Wang commanded the system to reveal the Dao Merits list, an elite register that reflected the dynamic kingdom's recognition and the dean's thoughts, now glowing before him. Jiang Wang gazed in awe at the glowing list, astonished by senior brother Li's 17th rank and senior brother Zhang's 3rd place with 700 points, pondering how many years it would take him to accrue such immense Dao merit. His curiosity piqued, Jiang Wang noted Wei Yan in 2nd place, a figure not from their academy but with even more Dao merit than senior brother Zhang, speculating a possible connection to the Lord of Maplewood City before wondering about the elusive 1st place. Jiang Wang reacted with outright shock and disbelief as the list revealed the staggering 1,300 points of the 1st place holder, nearly doubling the 2nd place score. He then reflected on the legendary Zhu Weiwa, the universally acknowledged senior brother of the Daoist Academy, whose elusive presence was like a divine dragon and whose rumored strength rivaled the deans of other academies. The creators urged readers to visit their website, manhua.com, and join their Discord for the latest updates. In a mystical, high-tech chamber, a man with a red cloak requested the Dao Merit ranking list to reveal the standardized magical sword requiring the fewest Dao merits for redemption. A grand magical sword, forged from skyfall gold and capable of slicing mountains, was unveiled, but despite its power and ability to store thousands of sword moves, its 50,000 Dao merit cost far exceeded the 300 merits the red-cloaked man could currently afford. A man with a top knot, his expression intense, wondered aloud if a new junior brother had arrived. Wang Changxiang, a 3rd-year Daoist Academy student, introduced himself with a confident smile, eliciting a startled cry from the man in the red cloak. The red-cloaked man, introducing himself as Feng Yun, politely dismissed his senior's apology before acknowledging Wang Changxiang, the 7th head of the Wang family of Maplewood City, and then departed as another student urgently called out. The student urgently relayed that there was an emergency at Feng Yun's home. Reading Aunt Song's distressing letter, the man learned of the Wu family's fatal business struggles, the precarious situation of his little sister Ainen, and the growing fear of repercussions from past family conflicts, prompting a plea for him to take care of her. A wave of deep concern washed over him as he softly uttered Ainen's name. Ainen appeared, her voice a sweet, innocent call to her brother. While the others offered their affectionate support, Ainen's brother gently asked if she was willing to live with him for a while. With eyes welling up, Ainen asked the heartbreaking question, "Brother, does mommy not want me anymore?" In a frantic, distressed rush of words, he vehemently reassured her that her mother was simply busy and he was there to keep her company. A profound, meaningful determination settled upon his face, hardening his resolve. The man in grey robes, acknowledging the silent plea, simply affirmed he understood. Ainen was playfully lifted high, her startled surprise turning to delight. With enthusiastic shouts, the group collectively decided to take Ainen to visit Maplewood City, promising fun and a generous treat for all expenses from the man in grey robes, with the muscular man vowing to be her bodyguard. Amidst the bustling market, the friends enjoyed street food, their light-hearted exploration even leading to an encounter with a chained, growling creature. The group engaged in playful antics, sending a flying object soaring as Ainen jumped with delight. As the kite fluttered and danced against the serene, painterly canvas of the sunset sky, a hand reached towards its distant flight. Though he gently suggested they release the kite again, Ainen, clinging to him and deeply saddened, simply wanted to go home, prompting him to tenderly ask if she would be happy to stay and live with him every day. Ainen first smiled, affirming her happiness, but then her joy dissolved into an inarticulate flood of tears. The man in grey robes and the top-knotted man observed the scene with shared, pensive concern. With a somber sigh of resignation, the muscular man acknowledged that some truths, however painful, simply could not be hidden forever. As Ainen tearfully cried for her mother and questioned if she was unwanted, her brother, with pained determination, reassured her that Aunt Song would soon arrive to pick her up. Embracing the weeping Ainen, he vowed to protect her, promising to stay by her side until her aunt returned. The man in grey robes, Lingyi, added his protective promise, joining the silent, comforting embrace. The top-knotted man, Sudong, playfully joined the hug, but the collective emotion overwhelmed the muscular man, stirring poignant memories of his own late parents. As the comforting hug expanded to include all the friends, several became openly emotional, finding solace in their shared embrace, while the creators reminded readers to support them on manhua.com. With a playful flap of his hand, the red-cloaked man complained good-naturedly about being crowded by his friends. He then shared his intention to find an outside residence due to the dormitory's inconvenience, prompting his friends to offer financial assistance despite their own weapon repair costs, and playful advice about setting a good example for Anan as they walked off into the sunset. The man in grey robes began his instruction, asserting that those responsible for eternity should not meddle in mortal affairs, for the path of cultivation demanded observation of the world's impermanence. He elucidated the four dominant nations, Wu, Jing, Qi, Chu, and Qin, shaping the known world. The Jing nation held the central heartland, watching over the ominous gate of 10,000 demons, while the eastern Qi nation bore the sacred duty of suppressing the vast Song Ocean Sea clan. To the south, the Chu nation held vigil over the dreaded fallen immortal forest, and in the west, the Qin nation kept the terrifying Azura clan of Yu Yuan at bay. The northern regions were dominated by the allied forces of the Mu and Jing nations, standing as the first defense against the demon clan, while their own small Zhuang nation delicately balanced cooperation and competition to survive among its powerful neighbors. Mastering the art of balance could secure an invincible position, allowing one to manipulate greater powers for their own gain, but two friends whispered with concern, wondering if their third brother could truly manage Anan's care while navigating his Dao Academy duties. The young man with long dark hair fretted about his little sister-in-law, adjusting to his home, a concern the other dismissed as solvable with money, before a thunderous series of impacts made the muscular man demand what was happening. An urgent announcement cut through the academy, declaring emergency deployment for all inner court disciples to gather immediately, as the man in the red cloak apologized to Dean Song for the sudden interruption and military order. Dean Song courteously permitted General Wei to proceed, though nearby students whispered their disapproval, noting Wei Yan's high rank and perceived disrespect towards the aging dean, whose cultivation still lagged behind. Deputy General of the City Guard, Wei Yan, stood authoritatively and commanded Zhao Lang to make the announcement. Deputy Officer of the City Guard, Zhao Lang, revealed the grim news that Xiaolin Town had been completely cut off for 5 days, necessitating the immediate mobilization of 30 inner disciples from the Dao Academy to investigate. 2 students expressed their confusion, questioning why the academy was being recruited for a task that seemed the responsibility of the Criminal Investigation Department or the City Guard itself. Zhao Lang swiftly explained that the heart-devouring demon bear had drawn away most of the Criminal Enforcement Division, leaving the city guards with other crucial tasks, before enticing the students with a 30% increase in Dao merit rewards and the promise of his personal leadership. An onlooker shrewdly suspected forced recruitment in Master Dong's absence, while Wei Yan emphasized the rare opportunity and increased reward before bluntly stating that if 30 inner disciples did not volunteer, he would enforce the city lord's decree and proceed with forced recruitment. As the man with dark hair yearned only for sleep, his companion sought their elder brother's opinion, who saw it as a rare opportunity to earn the Dao merits needed to acquire a Meridian Opening pill. The muscular man eagerly volunteered his group, despite a friend's protest, though Wei Yan silently judged them as not strong enough, instructing an official to note their names while announcing 26 spots still remained. The man in grey robes asserted the fundamental duty of Dao Academy cultivators to their country, inspiring the third-year student Li Jianqiu to respectfully step forward and apply. Inspired, another student chimed in, declaring that they too would join the mission. With a cheerful smile, the third-year student Wang Changxiang also announced his intention to volunteer. Wei Yan declared 24 spots remained, yet inwardly, he acknowledged Li Jianqiu and Wang Changxiang as true talents, their presence assuring the mission's success. A wave of enthusiasm swept through the students as they rapidly volunteered, eager for the opportunity or simply to follow their seniors, quickly filling the remaining spots until all 30 required members were assembled, ready to depart. Wei Yan praised the Dao Academy students for retaining their fighting spirit despite their studies, then, with a resolute command, ordered them to set off. As the team traversed the open land, a heavy clang sounded, prompting a confused soldier to question the commotion while another reported that a man named God had been illegally logging and selling woods from Xiaolin Town. With a whoosh of wind and a crackling zap of blue energy, Wei Yan angrily demanded why inaction had allowed the mean person to act without restraint, leading to the ominous black clouds now hanging over Xiaolin Town, as they rode past skeletal remains glowing eerily on the desolate ground. The soldier knelt submissively, confessing his wrongdoing and pleading for punishment, while trying to explain his actions were meant to support the families of his fallen comrades. Wei Yan sternly decreed that all felled moon cypress trees would be confiscated, go imprisoned with a year's salary deducted, and the responsible head constable dismissed and investigated, before commanding the rest of the team to continue their journey. One student found Wei Yan's actions inhumane despite his sharp observation, but another agreed with the judgment, while the muscular man reminded them that military orders were absolute and not for them to judge. A crunch underfoot and sharp zaps of electricity accompanied soldiers rushing through the dark forest, leading towards a desolate landscape where glowing skeletons lay scattered, marking the ominous approach to Xiaolin Town. The lead rider, Wei Yan, demanded to know why their horses balked, unable to advance through the mysterious landscape. Ahead, an ancient, ornate gate loomed eerily through the blue-tinged fog, drawing the riders closer to the unknown. The man with the top knot observed grimly that their animals likely sensed a profound and terrifying presence within the dense fog. Wei Yan struggled to control his panicked mount, urging it forward against its primal fear. With disdain, Wei Yan chastised their cowardice, questioning their worth if fear claimed them before battle truly began. The muscular man with the red beard roared his approval, his blood boiling with martial fervor as he eagerly demanded to know when they would finally charge. Wei Yan sharply commanded his troops to dismount and prepare to advance in a precise sharp arrow formation. Wei Yan declared he would personally spearhead the charge, driving them straight through Xiaolin town. With a clenched fist and resolute expression, Wei Yan unleashed his troops, who surged forward into the mysterious, fog-shrouded gate. Wei Yan activated a third-rank Dao art, a powerful sharpening technique, as a luminous blue energy intensified around his weapon. A warrior marveled at the incredible power now imbued in his blade, strengthened by the potent Dao art. With a fervent cry, the white-haired elder unleashed the third-rank Dao art of attached flame, preparing to unleash searing energy. Throughout the formation, warriors' swords erupted into brilliant flames, charged with potent energy for the coming fight. A clenched fist pulsed with a golden, ethereal glow, manifesting the protective power of a hardened Dao art. Engulfed in fiery passion, the muscular man roared for any evil spirits to face his boundless rage, only for his second brother to urge calm amidst the surging power. Wei Yan commanded his forces to maintain tight formation and report any anomaly immediately, guiding them through the mysterious, vision-obscuring fog. The white-haired elder noted the disorienting density of the fog, confessing that visibility barely extended 3 steps ahead. Wei Yan sensed an unsettling presence, his voice sharp as he questioned if others perceived the ominous figures lurking within the dense mist. Soldiers reported multiple discoveries of Xiaolin town inhabitants within the fog, prompting the muscular man to voice his deep suspicion about the unnervingly smooth progress. With unwavering intensity, Wei Yan commanded his forces to hold their ground, awaiting his signal, before he himself lunged into the unknown. Suddenly, Wei Yan plummeted through a treacherous, icy blue chasm, falling swiftly into the frigid depths. As the white-haired elder began his grim report about the town's inhabitants, Wei Yan roared in furious realization, while the man with the top knot recognized the dire scale of their problem. A warrior recoiled in utter disbelief, as the muscular man, wide-eyed, whispered the terrifying question, "Ghosts?" Wei Yan's horrified declaration echoed through the desolation, the entire Xiaolin town, there are no living souls left, as pale, spectral figures drifted eerily from the mist. In the dark, a man with a top knot called out to an official, Zhao Lang, who responded with immediate submission. As a massive wall of fire encircled the spectral figures, the narration declared that the ghosts outside would be drawn in, while those within would melt into death, revealing the core of their being. Through the dynamic chaos, the man with the red cloak and the muscular man with the red beard unleashed powerful, fiery energy to attack the glowing blue specters. The man with the red cloak turned to Zhao Lang, questioning why he still worried for them, suggesting they had come too far to falter. The muscular man with the red beard affirmed that such hesitation was an insult to their progress, emphasizing their unwavering resolve. With a furious shout, the muscular man with the red beard struck a blue glowing figure, affirming his intent in the chaotic battle. As blue energies swirled, the man with the top knot actively absorbed the spectral essence, while the man with the red cloak observed the mystical process. The man with the top knot reflected internally, acknowledging that the pervasive fog made navigation impossible and rendered a blind search futile, even without the threat of ghosts. Enveloped in swirling blue energy, the man with the top knot sternly asked if any among them possessed the wind arts necessary to disperse the oppressive fog. A dark-haired man stepped forward, offering to try, and with focused intent, he began to form a mystical hand seal under the watchful eyes of his comrades. With a powerful rush, the dark-haired man unleashed a formidable wind-based spell, causing green and blue energy to burst forth and swirl around him. The powerful wind spell swept through the area, clearing the heavy fog and carrying away debris in its potent wake. Zhao Lang recognized the potent art as the Eastern Mingshu wind, a first-class Dao art perfect for bringing clarity to their obscured environment. Zhao Lang marveled at the immense power of the wind art, noting that even among 6th-grade cultivators, such mastery, especially before opening the gate of heaven and earth, was exceptionally rare. Internally, Zhao Lang vowed to grow stronger to become an unwavering support for General Wei, while the dark-haired man, exhausted from his exertion, apologized as he needed to rest. Countless soldiers ran across the desolate, grid-like city, converging on a central fiery circle. Blue-glowing skeletons ominously emerged from the ground, filling the dark, mist-laden street. The man with the red cloak questioned the unnatural influx of ghosts, while Zhao Lang and the muscular man with the red beard urged General Wei to consider a strategic retreat from the overwhelming numbers. The man with the top knot suggested retreating and letting the city guards handle the situation, but the man with the red cloak firmly rejected the idea, declaring he could not wait. The man with the red cloak grimly explained that the Xinjiang aquatic tribe's unusual movements kept the city guards occupied, leaving no time to delay. A dark-robed figure questioned the Xinjiang water tribe's movements given their peace treaty, prompting the man with the red cloak to explain that seemingly unrelated events, a heart-devouring demon, the aquatic tribe's unrest, and Xiaolin town's fog, were subtly orchestrated by an unseen hand. With enraging determination, the man with the red cloak declared they must uncover the truth today, allowing anyone who wished to retreat to do so, and trusting their fate to the heavens. With a determined shout, the man with the red cloak charged forward, declaring that those who chose to stay would follow him, for he would not stop, nor would anyone else. The muscular man with the red beard rallied his allies, defiantly declaring that no one in the Dao Academy were cowards as they fiercely battled the spectral immortals. They raced through the dark passageway, glances thrown back, pursued by unseen threats. A colossal, ominous darkness loomed over the tranquil village, signaling an approaching cataclysm. The source of the impending disaster was before them, a vast confinement barrier that the man with the red cloak recognized with a chilling familiarity, its style echoing a demon cultivator's past trap. The man with the red cloak unleashed a powerful, glowing arc with his sword, a precise movement shattering whatever stood in his path. The man with the red cloak voiced his deep concern, realizing that if even Wei Yan's peerless blade, valued at 5,000 Dao merits, could not breach the barrier, their own ordinary Dao sword stood no chance. Leaning against the dark surface, the man with the red cloak pleaded for any solution, urging anyone with an idea to try. The man with the top knot offered to tackle the ceiling barrier, suggesting its arcane nature lay beyond General Wei's means, leaving the general perplexed. With a smirk, the man with the top knot declared he would take responsibility for driving away spirits with boy's urine, then crudely suggested General Wei, being young and accomplished, must have long shed his innocence. The man with dark hair mused on the speaker's baffling blend of shamelessness and magnanimity, while the man with the red beard proudly endorsed him as a worthy drinking buddy, and the young girl with twin buns cried out in utter disdain. The man with the red cloak inquired about the task's completion, but the man with the top knot insisted he needed just 2 more drops, shaking it carefully to complete the ritual. Confusion etched his voice as the man with the top knot wondered why his method failed, then provocatively invited any other virgins to join him. The man with the red beard chuckled, suggesting the problem was not quantity but size, then crudely proposed that boy's blood might be more potent, drawing uncomfortable looks from his companions. The man with the red cloak angrily demanded an end to the farce, seeking actual ideas to break the formation, while the man with the top knot, crouched in thought, whispered a lament about his possibly diminished Yang Qi. The man with the red cloak revealed his discovery. The wandering souls of Xiaolin town had formed the mystical 9 palaces formation, then began to explain its cosmic origins, where celestial numbers dictated the rise of Yang and the retreat of Yin. The man with the top knot clarified that the 9 palaces formation could be broken by destroying its 8 outer cores, but grimly added that its creator had obscured them with fog and something more sinister. The man with the red cloak revealed the chilling truth. Ghosts secured the formation cores, creating unpredictable evil spirits through mutual consumption, then swiftly declared he would assault the Qian palace himself while the others split to break the remaining palaces before regrouping. Another student firmly instructed Wang Changxiang to remain, recover, observe the situation, command 4 others, and provide vital support to the other routes at a moment's notice. The man with the red cloak delegated the Kun palace to his subordinates, while the man with the red beard declared his intent to assault the Jin palace, leaving the remaining assignments to his comrades. The man with dark hair claimed responsibility for the Sun Palace with his group, the man with the red beard took the Zhen Palace, the young girl with twin buns claimed the Qian Palace, and the man with the top knot decisively took on the Li Palace. As they navigated the mysterious path, the man with the red beard questioned their circular journey, asking his elder brother if their method would truly lead them to the evil spirit, but the man with dark hair simply affirmed they must follow the ancient book's precise instructions. Jiang Wang intently recited the count of circles, asserting that the truth would reveal itself at 10, then sharply commanded them to halt. As Jiang Wang confirmed they had reached the 10th lap, the man with the red beard detected the metallic scent of blood within the thick fog ahead, eagerly anticipating a confrontation with the evil ghost. Amidst a powerful impact, the man with dark hair fiercely engaged a monstrous dark figure, his glowing swords cutting through the eerie air. The man with dark hair executed an agile leap, his sword poised, as his companions watched his precise movements. As monstrous skeletal forms began to emerge from the earth, the man with dark hair questioned Jiang Wang, also known as Buchen, about his mastery of the 8 sword Dao's forms, then directed them to lead while instructing the man with the red beard, second brother, to sweep nearby. A colossal, gnarled vine creature, its damaged form glowing with sinister yellow fragments, menacingly extended an arm within the blue-lit gloom. The man in the red cloak urged Ruching to cooperate, and without hesitation, Ruching swiftly agreed. Out of the swirling mists, a monstrous, zombie-like head, crowned with gold coins, materialized with an eerie, foreboding glow. The man in the red cloak, executing the first kill form, declared that speed was his trick as he launched a furious, purple-streaked assault. He then performed the second kill form, proclaiming precision as his key, and pierced the grotesque form with masterful accuracy. Rucheng, however, was gripped by distress, reaching out as sharp, dark energies violently surged around him. The man in the red cloak's swift attack struck the zombie-like head, sending it reeling backward, its form trailing blue energy. As the air echoed with emptiness, the monstrous head, eyes glowing blue, lunged aggressively forward with extended claws. Rucheng's hand stretched out desperately, his mind fixated on his lost sword, feeling its absence keenly. The man in the red cloak demonstrated his purple chi from the East sword technique in a dazzling display of cultivation, as Rucheng watched intently. The third kill form descended with lethal intent, its purpose to pierce, and the glowing purple blade plunged directly through the monster's open mouth. The zombie-like head contorted in a grotesque scream, its golden crown still, as agony ripped through its impossible form. The man in the red cloak gritted his teeth, exclaiming at the immense and unexpected difficulty of his task. A powerful impact resonated as the man in the red cloak sword connected forcefully with the zombie-like head, creating a shield-like aura of blue energy. Amidst the chaotic struggle, the man in the red cloak urgently called out Rucheng's name. He commanded Rucheng to take the sword, which flew through the air as Rucheng reached out, eyes burning with determined focus. With practiced grace, the man in the red cloak executed the second kill form again, its precision undeniable as he struck the reeling, light-emitting head on the ground. A brutal cry erupted from the impaled zombie-like head as the glowing purple sword found its mark deep within its form. Rucheng, with a resolute pull, drew his own blade, vowing that this precious sword would never be lost to him again. But a sharp pain tore through Rucheng as the resentful ghost struck, making him question the sheer, terrifying power he faced. The man in the red cloak cried out Rucheng's name in a panic as his comrade struggled on the ground, reeling from the blow. The zombie-like head charged with swirling dark energy, and the man in the red cloak met its fury with a fierce, rapid attack. A scream of anguish tore from the man in the red cloak's throat as he witnessed his brothers, third and fifth, fallen and defeated around him. The man in the red cloak lunged forward with grim determination, as Rucheng looked on in surprise, struck and wounded. The colossal zombie-like head loomed, its menacing hand reaching down towards the helpless Rucheng, dwarfed on the ground below. Rucheng grimaced, a silent cry of pain escaping his bloodied mouth as a severe blow landed. A defiant aura erupted around Rucheng as he internally swore an end to his fear, refusing to be a coward any longer. The man in the red cloak cried out, "Second brother," and Old Hu, joined by Rucheng's own desperate call, as if remembering a profound truth. Old Hu, the man with a top knot, unleashed a powerful technique, his body blazing with red energy as a ferocious spiritual tiger manifested behind him, declaring that he could now use and even become extinguisher, just like the legendary Hu. An ethereal blue light bathed the scene as a powerful surge of energy erupted from above, transforming the robed figure within the zombie-like head as it consumed or regenerated. Jiang Wang, sword in hand, praised second brother, believing their coordinated strike would finally obliterate the creature's sight. Old Hu, the man with a top knot, blazed with red and orange energy, his very being steaming as he prepared to unleash another devastating attack. With a punch of immense force, Old Hu struck, causing the very air to vaporize around his fist. Jiang Wang, his face grim with concern, questioned Old Hu's reckless use of vital energy, fearing it would damage his very foundation. Old Hu angrily pushed Jiang Wang aside, telling him to stop worrying and get out of his way, earning a frustrated cry of, "You stinky Old Hu," from his now airborne comrade. The monstrous zombie-like head remained partially obscured in the gloom, letting out an eerie whoosh as it pulsed with unseen power. With aggressive snaps of its multiple jaws, the zombie-like head lunged forward, striking with destructive, chilling force. A blue spectral immortal calmly extracted a glowing blue energy core, drawing it out from the entity's very spiritual essence. The monstrous zombie-like head, now revealed as a true soul eater, grotesquely consumed glowing blue spiritual skulls pulled towards its gaping maw by a spectral hand. Jiang Wang questioned the creature's monstrous appetite for other ghosts, and a young man explained that ferocious ghosts were created by consuming one another, perpetually devouring spirits to recover and grow stronger. The zombie-like head stared with its many eyes, then grotesquely gulped, audibly consuming the spirits and absorbing their power. Jiang Wang gritted his teeth in grim frustration, realizing their strategy to destroy the creature's vision had failed, leaving them no choice but to face it head-on. The monstrous zombie-like head hissed fiercely, unleashing a powerful burst of energy that emanated from a glowing blue core in its chest. Old Hu roared down at the monster, vowing to make the filthy resentful ghost scream with his fists as he plummeted to strike. With fierce determination, Old Hu declared he would hold off the monster, entrusting the fate of the battle to Jiang Wang. Old Hu and the zombie-like head collided in a powerful, explosive clash, triggering a deafening boom. Jiang Wang, focused and determined, unleashed a combined sword technique, the first kill form intertwined with the second kill form. Jiang Wang's glowing purple sword struck the monstrous entity, erupting in a chaotic burst of magical energy. The zombie-like head recoiled, letting out a pained cry as it was struck, momentarily revealing its vulnerability. Old Hu delivered a powerful punch, but was then violently thrown back, hitting the water with 2 sharp snaps. Jiang Wang cried out in alarm, his voice filled with worry for his second brother. Jiang Wang lunged forward decisively, striking the zombie-like head with a powerful glowing blue energy blade that hissed as it connected. As Jiang Wang turned, 3 dark, sharp spectral entities rapidly approached him from behind, threatening danger. Old Hu gave a resolute instruction to Jiang Wang to take care of himself on the battlefield and return, to which Jiang Wang dutifully agreed. Old Hu struggled fiercely, twisting and resisting as a massive gnarled vine creature constricted him with desperate force. Do it now. Old Hu commanded urgently, and Jiang Wang, eyes glowing purple, responded by initiating the formidable purple chi from the East Sword technique. Jiang Wang, surrounded by swirling purple energy, unleashed the third kill form, focusing his intent to pierce the enemy. Jiang Wang executed a swift, powerful strike with his glowing purple blade, the ground cracking under the sheer force of his technique. Old Hu roared, his grip tightening on the gnarled object as he exerted himself, ready to unleash his full might despite the damage. Golden energies erupted outward, signifying a potent clash of forces at their peak. Jiang Wang knew concentration was key, even as his Dao energy dwindled before this fiercer ghost, forcing him to commit everything he had while Old Hu lay gravely injured. Jiang Wang's sword energy surged with formidable power, striking the monster with a shriek of defiance. The grotesque spirit moved with unnatural speed, a trail of blue energy in its wake, escaping the explosion. Ru Cheng was urged to help, as a spectral figure revealed the ghost's fatal weakness in its chest eye, a crucial insight the blue immortal acknowledged. Old Hu coughed violently, his body burning with essence, causing Jiang Wang to warn that such sacrifice could permanently damage his cultivation foundation. Old Hu swore fiercely that even if he burned himself to ashes, he would fight the ghost to its bitter end, leaving Jiang Wang stunned by his brother's resolve. Jiang Wang searched frantically for the ghost, unaware that the menacing entity already lurked directly behind him. The cloaked warrior delivered a forceful kick to the monstrous ghost, creating an opening as Jiang Wang prepared his own devastating strike. The cloaked warrior, his eyes blazing, roared a furious warning, no one would dare harm his brother. Old Hu, his face contorted with fury, bellowed a desperate command for Jiang Wang to finish the fight. Jiang Wang affirmed the command, moving with lightning speed as his glowing purple blade aimed for the monster's vulnerable foot. The cloaked warrior unleashed a powerful magical assault, conjuring a swirling vortex of purple energy and orbs that tore into the ground. With grim determination, Jiang Wang's glowing purple sword strained against the monster, threatening to shatter under the immense pressure. Jiang Wang delivered a fierce blow to the gnarled vine, while Old Hu, ablaze with energy, landed a powerful punch on the zombie-like ghost's head. The cloaked warrior staggered, a chilling cackle escaping his throat as his body seemed to twist in monstrous agony. Jiang Wang charged, embodying the first kill style, a martial arts technique where speed was the ultimate weapon. The glowing purple blade sliced deep into the monster's massive foot, the impactful strike cracking the very ground beneath it. The grotesque spirit shrieked in agony, its head recoiling violently from the unexpected blow. The surprised ghost stumbled, falling from the force of the strike, while the cloaked warrior simultaneously plummeted, ensnared by spiritual chains. Jiang Wang gritted his teeth, defiantly warning anyone not to meddle, as the monster's colossal appendage loomed. Old Hu cried out in shock and agony as the spectral monster brutally impaled him through the chest. Old Hu, enduring immense pain from the spiritual tiger's bite, defiantly vowed to protect his brother until the very end. Old Hu continued his furious assault on the multi-eyed ghost, locked in a swirling, desperate struggle for survival. Consumed by incandescent rage, Old Hu screamed Jiang Wang's name as he lunged into a final, explosive attack against the ghost. Jiang Wang descended like a purple comet, his voice echoing his potent return to the fray, declaring his presence. A powerful purple energy erupted, impaling the roaring zombie-like head as it consumed the cloaked man, eliciting a violent reaction. Jiang Wang, witnessing the monster's unholy shriek of agony, questioned why the attack only intensified its struggle. The cloaked man, covered in talismans, cried out desperately for his big brother, admitting he could no longer hold on. Blue energy spikes pierced the monstrous head, and Old Hu, red and furious, burst from its maw, ready for a desperate strike. Jiang Wang, amidst the chaotic energy, pieced together the ancient lore, stench of money gathers in, heaven's aperture leaks fiends, the ghost's weak point was never its eye, he realized. He declared with sudden clarity that the true target was the square hole in the coin on its forehead. The ground shattered as Jiang Wang and Old Hu unleashed immense energy, propelling them forward in a powerful surge. Jiang Wang screamed in horror as the monstrous head, now covered in gold coins, was impacted by an onslaught of falling energy. A golden, glowing fist connected powerfully with a chain of golden coins, striking its mark. It worked. Old Hu roared triumphantly as his powerful punch finally connected with the mangled zombie-like head. From a misty rooftop, a man with a top knot observed the battle's eerie aftermath, where blue energy rippled across the courtyard. Old Hu stood calmly, the battle's fury momentarily subdued, offering a simple, yeah. Old Hu then commented that Uncle Deng had merely been meddling in their affairs. The cloaked man felt an unsettling quiet, a sense that something was still amiss, while Jiang Wang noticed a strange anomaly with the ghost's body. Expanding. Jiang Wang warned, explaining that with its weak point destroyed, the ghost's fiend energy surged out of control. A powerful blue energy explosion erupted, throwing Jiang Wang and cracking the very ground beneath them. As the dust settled, the man with the top knot asked if everyone was safe. Old Hu and Jiang Wang affirmed their well-being, though the cloaked man jokingly demanded to be carried. The man with the top knot drew their attention, pointing to a large, smoking crater in the earth that pulsed with residual energy. At its heart lay a displaced formation core, a glowing green orb with an ancient symbol, suggesting a profound magical upheaval. While the crater glowed with immense blue power, a pale hand with red nails carefully clutched an ornate golden compact that pulsed with the same eerie light. A woman in pink robes, casually holding a coin, dismissively remarked that the sword moves she had witnessed were merely, all right, but that's about it. With a confident stretch, she mused aloud, looks like it's about time, clearly preparing to make her move. A grade 4 Daoist technique, separating yin and yang, unfolded within the ominous depths of a chasm. In a desolate environment, the woman in pink robes formally and eerily invited the third elder. The woman in pink robes observed the ruined, somber landscape, a testament to destruction. Eerily, pale, bare feet stepped onto the dark, rippling water, hinting at an unsettling presence. A gaunt, spiky figure stood reanimated in the desolate expanse, observed by the calm woman in pink. At the bottom of the forgetting river, in the abyss of the yellow springs, dark-robed figures performed a solemn ritual as the Divine One returned to cast light upon mankind. An old man with white hair declared the gaunt figure to be the third elder of the Tao, as the Divine One returned from the abyss to cast light upon mankind. The impaled, screaming pale man, in a desperate, gruesome ritual, cried out for a tribute. A hand violently plunged a dagger into a neck, a sudden and brutal act. Detached zombie-like heads and impaled bodies littered the blood-soaked ritual site, surrounded by an eerie blue energy. Severed zombie-like heads fell from the chaotic, dark sky, leaving gruesome trails of blood. The woman in pink robes, calm amid the mist, thanked the elder as a powerful blue entity manifested beside her. The impaled man, clutching an ornate dagger, desperately questioned the word efforts, confirming his sole purpose was to return to the embrace of the Divine One. With a gruesome scream, the impaled man declared his sacrifice and honor, pushing a skull-adorned object into his head as the woman calmly observed the ritual's completion. An ominous, ancient, spiked stone slab lay at the bottom of a dark abyss. From the misty void, a colossal, chained, decaying hand eerily began to rise. A gigantic, glowing blue, decaying hand towered over a small, silhouetted figure with outstretched arms, emerging from the mystical ground. A colossal fist struck down with immense force, creating a powerful impact. Amidst swirling energy, the woman in pink robes confronted a glowing blue, skull-like spectral entity. The woman in pink robes thanked the Divine One, questioning who she truly was, as an ominous red glowing void appeared above. With a forceful rush of wind, a green ornate object fell into a rapidly swirling dark vortex. The man in the red cloak inquired about the missing palace position, as the man with the top knot received 2 glowing orbs. The man with the top knot calmly stated that the Sun Palace's formation core was the final missing piece for completion. An injured man expressed concern that a new student was handling the Sun Palace, having only one among them with open meridians, prompting the man in the red cloak to declare he would personally go to take it. Li Jianxiu, another official, urged General Wei to conserve his strength after breaking through 3 palaces, offering to take the Sun Palace himself, an offer Wei sternly accepted. One man suspected the hullabaloo was merely a show of power after someone purchased a Soul Yuan pill for a high price and was then suddenly surrounded, before the man with a red beard announced their return to the group. The man in the red cloak declared the Sun Palace formation core had arrived, prompting the man with the top knot to demand it immediately. The man with the top knot performed a focused ritual, carefully placing glowing orbs, channeling ancient energies. The man with the top knot performed a mystical ritual, conjuring a swirling field of glowing orbs as various characters observed. Floating in the dark sky, many glowing orbs began to merge into one. A yellow liquid dispersed starkly across the tiled floor. The man in the red cloak questioned what was hidden inside the place, as a kneeling figure dispersed, and then commanded his group to prepare for battle. Intense red eyes, a looming ornate palace glowing with blue energy, and a menacing skull symbol revealed an impending confrontation with a crack and a rush of wind. A powerful, unseen force seemed to challenge the very air as a massive, dark vortex of energy ominously appeared over the city. The man with the top knot declared a red alert, and the young boy nervously responded, as the chilling presence of spectral figures intensified around them. A hand ignited a signal stick, creating a swirling burst of orange energy, and a deep rumble echoed as the signal was sent. As a red alert signal soared into the stormy sky, its grave implications were understood. A yellow alert signaled desperation, a red alert portended immediate destruction, and a black alert demanded the entire nation fight to the death. A colossal red beam of light descended from a swirling vortex in the night sky, ominously piercing the city below. A chilling whoosh accompanied the sky's transformation to a blood-red hue, leaving onlookers to question the terrifying shift in reality. Standing over a fallen foe, the man with the red cloak pondered the red alert, ultimately deciding against returning due to the presence of their allies. Explosions rocked the foundations, and unseen forces hurtled by with whistling speed, signaling intense combat and widespread destruction. Bathed in the eerie red glow from outside, the old man with white hair sighed, lamenting the relentless march of time. With a sword clutched in hand, the man with dark hair observed a chilling procession. Countless spirits were drawn inexorably toward a single, unseen destination. An eerie blue tide of spectral figures swirled, drawn by an unknown force, yet held at bay by a fiery circle that protected a small, defiant group. From above, the sheer scale of the encroaching blue horde was terrifying, yet the orange fire continued to burn, a beacon against their ethereal advance. Like luminous rivers on a dark canvas, countless blue particles of energy flowed and converged, drawn to or repelled by the defiant fiery circle. In a breathtaking, ominous panorama, the glowing blue trails of spectral figures funneled into a colossal dark vortex that dominated the mountainous terrain. With a grim face, the man with the top knot articulated the terrifying impossibility. The legendary gates of the underworld had manifested in the realm of the living, defying all predictions. A young man sought answers from Senior Brotherly about the mysterious gates of the underworld, only for the man with the red beard to admit his own ignorance. The very heavens and earth seemed to split with deafening booms and searing crackles, as raw, explosive energy erupted. A fierce, mythic battle raged on, as one formidable warrior, wreathed in fire, clashed with another engulfed in blue energy, their struggle echoed by countless clashing soldiers below. Amidst the chaos of battle, a powerful attack created a massive impact, as the man with the red cloak continued his relentless assault among the fighting soldiers. The man with the top knot sensed a profound arrival, while another man with dark hair expressed awe at the truly overwhelming nine heavens astral wind, a power that defied the coexistence of netherworld and sky. The serene, sunny sky abruptly gave way to a massive, ominous vortex of light gray energy, casting a dark pall over the city below. The man with the top knot, enraged, defiantly cursed the powerful, shadowy entity that stood amidst swirling energies. The man with the red beard, startled, questioned the identity of the unseen entity, while his companions looked on with palpable concern. The enemy had used the lives of Xiaolin Town as a sacrifice to summon lingering souls and conjure a phantom of the gates of the underworld, all to escape, infuriating the man with the top knot, while the man with the red beard expressed frustration over the unrewarding confrontation. The man with the red beard contemplatively analyzed their enemy's clean retreat, speculating that their refusal to unleash the gate's full potential implied a greater, unseen plan, while the man with the red cloak respectfully greeted the city lord. A kneeling soldier reported to the stern city lord that after breaking the seal, the legendary gate of ghosts had suddenly appeared before them. The enraged city lord swiftly struck the soldier, who recoiled as blood spat from his mouth. The city lord kicked the soldier again, his voice sharp with contempt, useless in success, but adept in failure, while a group of concerned men looked on. The furious city lord condemned their failure, reminding them of Dong A's favor for the Dao Institute transfer, while the man with dark hair tried to calm the enraged man with a red beard who declared their efforts outrageous. With a solemn bow, the man with dark hair knelt, declaring, "No excuse, I failed my task and am willing to accept any punishment." The man with dark hair then interjected with grave concern, reminding the city lord they should not be away for too long due to the Qingjiang aquatic clan. The city lord decreed that Wei Yan would be demoted one rank, fined a year's salary, and his entire camp would share responsibility for the failure. Despite the harsh punishment, Wei Yan thanked the city lord, his face etched with grim resolve. As a distant impact reverberated, the city lord, carried swiftly by the man with a red beard, declared they could wait no longer, needing to lure the white bone sect out, a strategy the man with a red beard affirmed. The path of their journey then shifted to the serene yet imposing depths of the Qingjiang waters. Within an intricate, ethereal underwater city, a mermaid-like young woman glided gracefully through the clear blue depths. In the opulent Qingjiang water palace, a horned man with blue skin praised the excellent emerald moss delivered by Zhuang Ting, offering it to an unseen envoy. The dark-robed figure dismissed the gift as trivial, questioning the horned man's judgment and criticizing the Zhuang clan's reliance on the aquatic clan for so many years. Song Qinyue, the young lord of Qingjiang Water Palace, scorned the White Bone envoy's shallow provocation as naive, demanding to know what more the White Bone sect wanted after their agreement had been fulfilled. The dark-robed figure furiously accused young Lord Song Qinyue of breaking their agreement and betraying his father's noble legacy, then sharply called for attendance, his hand gripping a cup tightly. Defiantly, Song Qinyue ordered Yu Yong's unit to retreat and not disturb the beings ashore, eliciting a shocked protest from the dark-robed figure. Song Qinyue firmly rejected the demands, citing his father's centuries-old alliance and the dishonor of betraying that legacy, accusing the figure of sheer greed while the Qinghe commandery army remained on alert. As a small pufferfish-like creature comically spat bubbles, Song Qinyue questioned the true cost required for his cooperation, to which the dark-robed figure defiantly declared they had sacrificed a complete dragon pearl. With a cynical smirk, Song Qinyue acknowledged the dragon pearl as indeed a precious gift. Song Qinyue dismissively stated the dragon pearl was only worth so much effort from him, prompting the dark-robed figure to announce, "Fine, we'll take our leave then." The dark-robed figure descended into the dangerous deep waters within a protective blue bubble, immediately surrounded by aggressive sharks. Seated on his throne, Song Qinyue scoffed with contempt at the sneaky coward who dared bargain and speak of honor with him. When his father asked for his opinion, Song Qinyue erupted with outrage at the Zhuang court's growing arrogance, especially their marriage proposal for his sister Qingji to be crown princess, vowing she would not repeat the mistake his aunt made marrying Zhuang Qingqian. The scrolls revealed a tragic history. The Zhuang kingdom's founding through Zhuang Qingqian's succession struggle led to an alliance with Song Hengjiang's Qinjiang water palace, sealed by the marriage of Song Hengjiang's sister, who, despite becoming a beloved queen, was ultimately betrayed and died tragically in the cold palace depths. As a powerful impact shattered something unseen, the old man corrected Song Qinyue, revealing his aunt and Zhuang Qingqian had truly loved each other, then asked about his plans for Qingji. Concerned by the shameless Gao Mei and the unsafe Qinghe city, Song Qinyue explained his strategic plan to send Qingji in disguise to Maple Forest City for her education, reasoning it would become the safest place after the White Bone sect's powerful actions shook the Zhuang territories. Song Qinyue outlined his plans to investigate the White Bone sect for a greater secret, hinting that one dragon pearl would not satisfy him, while his father approved and revealed he had purified the pearl for Song Qinyue's bold use, confessing his own decaying state and his sole wish to protect his children longer. The red-bearded man calmly stated they were diligently saving their hard-earned Dao merits, not for immediate gratification, but for the profound exchange of an open meridian pill. The man with the top knot, with a touch of judgment, divulged the true cost of cultivation, from the Dao sect's subsidized freshman rate to the exorbitant price thereafter, highlighting Wang Changxiang's recent, rather extravagant, expenditure. The young man with dark hair, perplexed, wondered why senior brother Wang, already possessing such high cultivation, would still spend so many precious Dao merits on an open meridian pill. As the man with the top knot leaned in, a conspiratorial rubbing sound accompanied his hushed revelation that Wang Changxiang, the celebrated genius, actually harbored an older brother, a secret whispered with palpable tension. A heavy creak echoed as a hand cautiously pushed open a wooden door, revealing the dim interior beyond. Amidst the serene courtyard, a man walked a stone path, bathed in the calm brightness of the clear sky, his journey a quiet progression through tranquility. A ginger cat rested peacefully on a bamboo bench, oblivious to the delicate flutter of a nearby butterfly, a fleeting moment of natural calm. The man with the top knot gently approached, offering a soft call of brother, as the ginger cat acknowledged his presence. Two hands presented an inviting meal, a gesture of warm sustenance and care. Carrying plates of food, the man announced that dinner was ready, the words carrying the simple comfort of home. As he ate, the man was affectionately addressed as Little Jew, a familiar term that spoke of closeness. A ginger cat stretched languidly on the table, its movement causing a small item to tumble from a nearby surface with an incidental clatter. Both the ginger cat and the man with dark hair were engrossed in their meals, sharing a quiet, domestic scene of contented eating. The man with the top knot, with a renewed sense of purpose, simply called out, "Brother." Wang Changji, the eldest son of the Wang family, expressed genuine surprise at his brother Changxiang's sudden arrival, instantly fretting over his inability to offer a prepared meal. Changji responded with a soft, "Oh," as Changxiang quickly reassured him that he wasn't there for food, but merely to share a conversation. As his brother finished his meal, Changxiang began to recount his recent, unsettling investigation into the disappearances in Xiaolin town, revealing that upon arrival, he had found the entire place changed. Changxiang worriedly described the elusive phantom of the ghost gate vanishing before the city lord, fearing the villain's next move, but Changji calmly assured him, listing the layers of authority from the judicial division to the National Dao Academy, and urged his brother not to worry. Changji, his gaze distant, acknowledged his brother's kind intentions to keep him informed of the outside world, yet lamented his own perceived uselessness and inability to cultivate, admitting he could not comprehend the intricate Dao techniques and formations. Changxiang, visibly concerned, began to object, his voice tinged with a desperate plea to counter his brother's self-deprecating words. "Xiao Ju, merely eating meat is insufficient, you also need more vegetables," Changji gently urged, but the ginger cat vehemently protested with a sharp meow, swatting his hand away. Changxiang cried out to the cat, but Changji calmly interjected, asserting that scolding was futile as a cat's nature was unchangeable, mirroring his own immutable inability to open his meridians. Changji somberly contrasted himself as the family's disgrace against his brother's pride, having long accepted his fate, only to then abruptly pivot, holding something out and asking Changxiang to identify it. His hand presented a small, intricately textured brown object, its mysterious nature promising a potential shift in his long-accepted destiny. Changji, shocked, questioned if his brother Changxiang had once again expended his hard-earned Dao merits for another open meridian pill, but Changxiang confidently reassured him he would never give up. With a heavy sigh, Changji finally accepted his brother's generosity, realizing he could no longer refuse him. Changxiang playfully offered the mysterious item to the curious cat, hoping it might impart wisdom and kindness, much to Changji's slight confusion. A wave of horror washed over Changji as he realized the immense value of the item, a staggering 1,500 Dao merits, and instinctively tried to snatch it back. Changxiang urged his brother to quickly return, fearing their master's nagging if he discovered such a costly expenditure, leaving Changji still reeling in distress. A confident young man with long dark hair gracefully demonstrated his mid-level Dinggrade Dao technique, the Flame Blade, presenting it for his master's careful review. The man with dark hair, the master, critically assessed the Flame Blade as an advanced form, praising its foundational completeness yet noting a slight deficiency in its control. The young man humbly confessed his shame at taking 53 days to lay his foundation, but the master gently reassured him, revealing even he had taken 50 days himself. The young man then suggested that senior brother Jiang Wang, having opened his meridians earlier, should also attempt the Dao technique, a proposal the master readily accepted. Jiang Wang was lost in a dream of powerful Dao techniques and legendary weapons, pondering their superiority over mortal iron and the elusive allure of true magic swords, until his master's voice broke through his reverie. Still deep in his wistful thoughts about the prohibitive cost of a standard magic sword, Jiang Wang remained oblivious until his master, now visibly enraged, roared his name once more. The master, furious, sharply rebuked Jiang Wang for daydreaming during his technique class, immediately demanding a demonstration of the flame blade technique, to which the young man with long dark hair quickly affirmed his compliance. Jiang Wang humbly apologized, confessing his foundation remained unlaid, which only further ignited Master Zhao's fury, who declared his lack of appreciation for the path of transcendence and punished him with 100 copies of the weighty purple void scripture. As the master dismissed the class and walked away, Jiang Wang respectfully acknowledged his punishment, while the man with a red beard grinned, observing his predicament with amusement. The man with a red beard playfully teased Jiang Wang about the monumental task of copying the 30,000-character Dao classic 100 times, but the young man with long dark hair promptly offered his assistance, stating he often wrote to pass the time. The young man with long dark hair then offered a sincere apology to Jiang Wang, feeling responsible for the punishment after his earlier suggestion. He expressed deep regret, admitting he hadn't realized Jiang Wang had yet to lay his foundation, and lamented the unforeseen consequences of his words. Jiang Wang, outwardly cheerful, downplayed the scripture-copying task and bid his supportive friends farewell, promising to seek their help if needed, but internally, the enormity of the punishment weighed heavily on him like a clown's burden. The bustling market street came alive with the vibrant sights and tempting aromas of food stalls, particularly the renowned Kai Ji lamb meat, beckoning hungry patrons. With a proud smile, Jiang Wang presented a lavish lamb meal to the young girl with twin buns, fulfilling his promise to reward her diligent studies. The young girl with twin buns, vibrant with hunger, eagerly urged everyone to dig in, ready to devour her meal with gusto. Jiang Wang gently encouraged her to savor her meal, promising that diligent study and good behavior would ensure many more visits to their favorite lamb restaurant. The young girl, mid-bite, innocently turned her curious gaze to Jiang Wang, asking if his own teachers at the Daoist Academy had ever found reason to scold him. Jiang Wang visibly flustered, his gaze darting away, unable to meet her innocent stare after her pointed question. With a carefully cultivated air of nonchalance, Jiang Wang casually denied ever being scolded, while the lively restaurant bustled around them. The meal concluded, leaving behind only a scattering of empty plates and chopsticks as quiet testament to their enjoyment. The young girl then observed that Jiang Wang had only partaken of the soup, prompting him to gently claim he had already eaten and was no longer hungry. Jiang Wang's hand slipped into his robe, searching for his purse. Just as Jiang Wang hesitantly called for the bill, the young girl energetically shouted for another order, which the eager waiter readily confirmed. Jiang Wang, in despair, confessed his money was entirely gone, but the young girl sweetly assured him she was full and offered him the remaining food. With a cheerful smile, the young girl produced a luminous pearl bracelet she had earned for helping a new classmate, wondering if its value would suffice for their meal. Jiang Wang, deeply concerned by the pearl's unexpected value, insisted she return it, but the young girl playfully dismissed his worries, stating her classmate's family possessed an abundance of such treasures. With a resolute gaze and clenched fists, Jiang Wang stood firm, ready to face whatever trials lay ahead on his difficult path. The serene night unfolded over traditional rooftops, bathed in the gentle glow of a full moon. Jiang Wang stirred in a warm, dimly lit room, while his companion dreamed sweet, meaty dreams. Tonight, on the 15th day of the 9th lunar month, the fated Blessed Land Challenge in the Great Void Illusion would begin. A powerful, golden light radiated from a clenched fist, ready to strike. Jiang Wang stood with quiet confidence within the intricate, glowing patterns of a cosmic magical formation. With a glowing sword held firmly, Jiang Wang wondered if the master of the green jade altar had finally accepted the challenge. As the golden formation began to spin, Jiang Wang began the rapid count, 29, 28, 28, 27. The massive golden formation whirred rapidly, a powerful vortex of arcane energy. He ascended the glowing, rugged surface of a floating platform, pushing forward with determination. A massive, angular rock descended through the cosmic void, carrying Jiang Wang with a swift whoosh. He recalled the past, remembering his two previous failures on the 15th of July and August. A violent burst of yellow energy erupted, shattering solid rock into countless fragments. Jiang Wang watched, wide-eyed, as the floating rock beneath him began to crumble and fall apart. Zuo Guanglie, floating arrogantly with his sword, proclaimed he had prepared for this battle for 6 months since his last crushing defeat, beginning his countdown, 10, 9, 8. Jiang Wang, sword in hand, mused that Zuo Guanglie's 6 months of preparation meant he had already forfeited 3 months before Jiang Wang even arrived, realizing the depth of his opponent's determination to finally claim victory after so many prior losses. Zuo Guanglie declared his mastery of the remnant moves of the ancient gentleman's 9 swords, urging Jiang Wang to try them, continuing his countdown, 4, 3, as Jiang Wang wondered if such a powerful technique meant his opponent belonged to the Confucian sect. With Zuo Guanglie's countdown reaching 2, 1, Jiang Wang knew the movement of heaven was grand and heroic, steeling himself to give his all in the great void illusion, despite the toll it took on his Dao Yuan. Jiang Wang screamed, unleashing all his Dao Yuan in the dramatic, purple chi comes from the East Sword technique, as a spectral form mirrored his powerful attack. His fifth form attack, guided by pure intention, struck with devastating force, a powerful wave of purple energy tearing through the golden object. The massive golden object fractured and shattered into countless glittering pieces. Amidst the chaotic energy, Zuo Guanglie stood proudly, proclaiming that a gentleman strives ceaselessly for self-improvement. Enveloped in bursting yellow energy, Jiang Wang realized with wide-eyed shock that he was not a match at all. Zuo Guanglie, in victory, still wondered if the gentleman's 9 swords were truly this powerful, a flicker of doubt in his thoughtful gaze. As the new master of the Dongzhenru blessed land was proclaimed, Zuo Guanglie raised his sword in triumphant celebration. Jiang Wang screamed, his eyes wide and hands glowing with intense exertion and pain. Back in his peaceful room, Jiang Wang quietly acknowledged his defeat at the green jade altar. He knew he would lose, but the completeness of his defeat shocked him, reinforcing his resolve to prioritize the arduous task of laying his true foundation. Jiang Wang ascended the grand golden stairs towards the divine Tongtian Palace, a realm entered through deep meditation. Jiang Wang reflected that unlike the Great Void Illusion, the Tongtian Palace was a spiritual world accessible through meditation, a repository for crucial Dao Yuan, foundation-laying formation diagrams, and the true spirit of the Dao Meridian. A small, wide-eyed creature chirped inquisitively, gazing at the mystical patterns of the celestial formations. Jiang Wang contemplated the sheer complexity of the Zhou Tian star formation diagram with its 365 points, dwarfing the Guiyuan formation's 81, which was why he hesitated to begin his foundation laying. He lamented the immense time and difficulty required, calculating that even a perfect replication would take half a year to reach 9th rank, then demanding 3 Dao sperms for 8th, and 9 Dao spirals for 7th, a slow path that felt far too long, prompting a curious chirp from his small companion. After his battle, a profound realization struck him. While the Dao ladder was easy to climb but led nowhere, the heavenly gates were arduous but led to true heights, stealing his glowing red eyes with the fierce resolve that the path of cultivation was a constant struggle. The clinking of cups signaled a bond of camaraderie, a moment of shared celebration before the trials ahead. As the group indulged, the true path of cultivation, young Master Shao declared, was not isolation but a complete life experience, embracing both rigorous practice and earthly enjoyment. However, a question hung in the air: where was their big brother, whose absence disrupted the celebration of their recent victory over the fierce ghost? Jiang Wang explained that big brother was fulfilling a more mundane duty, picking up an N from school, to which his friend simply assented. Jiang Wang then shifted the mood, asserting the critical importance of maintaining the Yuan-Yang body before reaching 6th rank, and respectfully dismissed the ladies for a serious discussion. Quietly, the women departed, their footsteps fading down the traditional wooden hallway. Meanwhile, as one friend lamented the tragic possibility of an 80-year-old virgin cultivator, he was forcibly served a drink, the sudden chaos punctuated by an unexpected sneeze. Jiang Wang offered to share his 40 Dao merits so one of them could earn an open meridian pill first, but his friend immediately refused. His friend explained the arduous daily commitment required to clear meridians after opening them, a task he found too tiring. Then, Di Hu, the man with the red beard, declared his intention to give his merits to their boss and depart, his decision firm. Jiang Wang, surprised, asked where his second brother was going, to which Di Hu replied he was joining the army to pursue military cultivation. With raw determination, Diyihu gulped down the entire jug of liquid in one forceful, resolute swallow. Jiang Wang, pouring a drink for himself, urged Tiger to carefully reconsider, reminding him of their shared struggle to enter the inner academy. Diyihu revealed that Wei Yan had suggested he transfer to a military unit, a path he had now fully embraced, feeling it suited him best. Jiang Wang acknowledged Tiger's strong potential for the military path but observed its rarity in Zhuang state, where Dao techniques largely dominated. Diyihu explained the lack of an established military cultivation system in Zhuang state, yet saw this very absence as an opportunity to grow wildly and master the oldest military tradition without external aid. As Diyihu walked away, Jiang Wang remained, a thoughtful silence settling over him in the hallway. Within the serene expanse of the Great Void Illusions Dao performance platform, Jiang Wang entered a meditative state, ready for spiritual exploration. Around Jiang Wang, countless golden pages descended from a majestic, glowing tree-like structure, showering him with ethereal knowledge. As the simulation progressed, mythical beasts, a blue dragon, a white tiger, a red phoenix, and a green turtle, appeared in succession, each vision consuming more of Jiang Wang's remaining merits. With the simulation complete, Jiang Wang held the glowing golden pages of the For Spirits Body Refining Technique, a transcendental military cultivation method whose power far surpassed academy teachings. Jiang Wang, glowing with residual energy, resolved to copy the technique that night and present it to Tiger for his practice the very next day. With a soft grunt of effort, Jiang Wang opened the traditional sliding door, a scroll clutched firmly in his hand. Suddenly, the woman in pink robes reacted with wide-eyed surprise, an unexpected sight catching her attention. Jiang Wang's own expression mirrored her shock, confronting an equally unforeseen encounter. Against a dramatic, sun-drenched backdrop and ancient text, Jiang Wang stood, his fist clenched in a powerful display of resolute determination. A profound quiet settled over the hallway as the man and woman stood solemnly by the door. The woman in pink robes gasped, recognizing someone with wide, surprised eyes. She quickly offered a soft apology as Jiang Wang turned and walked away. Jiang Wang lamented the folly of drinking, realizing he had recklessly entered the chaotic Zanfen Xiangqiang Tower, a place of fish and dragons, and become carried away by the moment. The woman, Miaoyu, watched him intently, a serious expression dawning on her face. Diyihu, carrying more drinks, cheerfully announced his return to the lively table, while young Master Zhao eagerly demanded more drinks and Jiang Wang also called for more, as another friend lay asleep. Miaoyu, now Madame Li, greeted young Master Zhao with a compliment, which prompted him to ask her what was wrong. She pressed him, questioning why the other girls had been sent away, but young Master Zhao, flustered, claimed he was feeling dizzy. Young Master Zhao sighed in disappointment, complaining that despite his generous spending, Madame Li still wouldn't let Miaoyu come out to see him. A realization dawned on Madame Li as she began to formulate a thought. Jiang Wang thoughtfully sipped from his cup, his expression pensive. Diyihu, confused, questioned his own sobriety as the others around him seemed flustered. Miaoyu confronted young Master Zhao, revealing her true feelings. It wasn't that she was stopped from seeing him, but that she simply did not want to. Young Master Zhao reacted with shock and anger, proclaiming that his money had been well spent and that no woman had ever refused to see him before. Miaoyu offered a backhanded compliment, acknowledging young Master Zhao's charm and generosity but hinting at an unfortunate truth. Jiang Wang, pouring himself a drink, bluntly stated that young Master Zhao simply wasn't liked enough, prompting a chuckle from Diyihu. Panicked, a man fled as young Master Zhao launched into a dramatic, hyperbolic declaration of love, claiming his affection was overflowing for a woman who was not even from this world. Young Master Zhao, holding out a book, dramatically called it, My Heart, to which Miaoyu replied with a sarcastically sweet compliment about his delicate nature. Miaoyu then directly confronted him, asserting that she could clearly see his advances were born only of boredom. Jiang Wang's eyes narrowed, observing the dramatic interaction with intense focus. Young Master Zhao, annoyed, declared his dislike for Miaoyu, stating he hated women who were too clever. Jiang Wang then announced his departure, stating he needed to go home and cook for Anan. Young Master Zhao pleaded with Jiang Wang, begging him to take packed food instead of cooking himself, but Jiang Wang seemed annoyed. Just then, Jiang Wang recalled a moment when his angry outburst caused the others to retreat, and the sharp clang of a weapon heralded a dramatic display of power, manifesting as a glowing sword and an ominous aura. Jiang Wang raged, surrounded by a fiery aura, demanding to know if the others were leaving. Miaoyu observed, her hand glowing, declaring that if the bad child couldn't be controlled, he would soon lose both body and soul, destined to become Miaoyu's toy for the rest of his life. Outside Fenglin City, riders made their way along a path beneath a colossal, majestic red-leaf tree. Diyihu, with determined resolve, proclaimed that they would meet again at the peak of the martial world someday, a powerful impact underscoring his declaration. Jiang Wang offered a book to Diyihu, a somber yet significant gesture among their gathering. The man with the red beard excitedly called out to his third brother, eager to share the contents of the book he held. Though his third brother dismissed body refining as foolish, the man with the red beard firmly believed in the technique's worth, even offering it to their big brother. Their big brother, the man with the top knot, calmly explained his current focus on stabilizing his meridian opening, unwilling to be swayed by other techniques. The man with the red beard worried what his third brother would do without the technique, but the man with dark hair confidently revealed he had other copies and proposed a future challenge of cultivation progress. With glowing red eyes, the man with the red beard declared that while he might lack sword talent, his new military cultivation method would ensure he caught up. A shared smile passed between the brothers, as the man with the red beard enthusiastically promised they would reunite in Ch1. Four fists met in a glowing testament to their unwavering bond and shared future. A young girl, determined not to be left out, demanded her inclusion, causing a flicker of concern in the man with the red beard's eye. The girl, held aloft by the man with the red beard, happily requested another round, and he playfully agreed as the others extended their fists once more. With a broad grin and glowing red eyes, the man with the red beard began his triumphant declaration. As autumn leaves swirled around them, the entire group cheered, raising their fists in a final, joyous promise to meet again in Ch1. The man with the red beard enthusiastically urged his horse forward, ready to begin his journey. Riding swiftly along an autumn road, the man with the red beard cast a final, wistful wave of farewell. The Four Spirits body refining technique harnessed elemental energies to strengthen body and spirit, bringing its practitioner closer to forming his gold dan and completing his foundation laying. The man with dark hair questioned his third brother's choice to refine his body naked, eliciting a loud scream of surprise from the startled man. Caught off guard, the man with the red cloak explained his need for disrobing during body refining and demanded to know when the other man had snuck in, only for the man with dark hair to reveal he had been there for half an hour, not daring to disturb him. The man with the red cloak criticized his third brother for wasting his talent on idle pleasures, while the man with dark hair countered that true waste was not enjoying life to the fullest. To prove his seriousness, the man with dark hair suggested a sword practice, then cunningly requested to be allowed a win using the purple chi comes from the East sword technique. The man with the red cloak dismissed the idea of an easy victory, knowing it would only breed laziness, and promised to address the challenge once his own duties were complete. As his hands meticulously wrote, the man with the red cloak reflected on his brother's imminent progress in cultivation, knowing he had to work harder to keep pace. With unwavering determination, the man with the red cloak knew he could not falter, as hundreds of Dao Yuan formations still awaited his completion on the production star map. In an energetic clash, the man with the red cloak wielded his sword against the man with dark hair's agile knife in a training duel. Within the quiet of the study, the man with the top knot and the man with the red cloak diligently pursued their studies, while the man with dark hair succumbed to slumber. Absorbed in his book, the man with the red cloak remained unaware of the young girl's curious gaze fixed upon him. As vibrant autumn leaves fell, a crowd of students excitedly hailed their big brother, who in turn acknowledged his third and fifth brothers. The man with the top knot revealed the Dao Academy's important announcement, the Three Cities Dao Debate, a joint Dao performance competition serving as a crucial proving ground for regional elites, with selections to be held in Fenglin City. The Three Cities Dao Debate, a more focused contest among Wangjiang, Fenglin, and Sanshan cities, offered a simpler challenge compared to larger regional events like Daoist County's renowned North Wind Snow performance. The first ever 10 Dao City competition promised extraordinary rewards, a grand collaboration between Master Dong and the City Lord that would elevate this year's Three Cities Dao Debate beyond the ordinary, leaving Jiang Wang in contemplation. The academies would select 2 students from each year group to participate, with first years earning 10 Dao merits per win, third years 20, and fifth years 50, as the City Lord had sternly declared that victory was paramount, with unseen punishments awaiting those who failed. For Jiang Wang, the 10 Dao merits and the chance to spar with outstanding Dao friends from other cities presented an unmissable opportunity he met with steely determination. It was understood that first years were core students selected from the previous batch of disciples who had already trained for about a year, prompting another student to ask Brother Huang if he had participated before. Brother Huang proudly declared that upon entering the inner academy, he had been a fire element genius, among the top 3 with Li Jianwu and Wang Changxiang, boldly asking if they had expected such a storied past. With mischievous smiles, the other students questioned his claim of genius, wondering how a fire element genius could have ended up as he was now, a sentiment echoed by the man with dark hair who felt he certainly didn't look the part. Brother Huang sighed, admitting his cultivation suffered due to his addiction to drinking and women, allowing others to surpass him, which prompted the man with dark hair to sternly advise his third brother to learn from this regretful example. Suddenly, Brother Huang snapped, demanding to know if the person who just collided with him could not watch where they were going. A mysterious figure shushed them urgently, demanding silence. Recognizing senior brother Zhang, a fifth-year favored by the dean, Brother Huang questioned why he lingered in the back, only for Zhang to admit he purposefully moved there to avoid the dean's attention and the possibility of being chosen. From the platform, the man in grey robes declared that the academy had decided Jiang Wang would lead the Three Cities Dao debate, a surprising announcement that echoed through the gathered students. Jiang Wang, the newly appointed leader, groaned under the immense pressure of the role he had tried so hard to avoid. The dean, noticing Jiang Wang's visible discomfort, sternly challenged him to openly state any unhappiness with the academy's decision. Despite the immense pressure, Jiang Wang asserted his confidence and unwavering commitment, vowing to give his all in his new leadership role. Brother Huang chuckled, praising senior brother Zhang as the dean's recognized number one in the academy, but Zhang humbly deflected, claiming there would be no chance for him to work hard if Zhu Weiwa and Wei Yan were also present. Jiang Wang's third brother, confused, questioned why brother Zhu couldn't make it, especially since Wei Yan was in the army. Jiang Wang revealed with a trace of sadness that brother Zhu was on a perilous mission, hunting one of the infamous 9 great demonic lords, the heart-devouring demon. The very name, the 9 great demonic lords, echoed with an eerie power, instantly sending a shiver of extreme shock through the listening students. Their infamous names were spoken: the carefree demon, Maxius demon, fortune-telling demon, flesh-carving demon, bedhouse demon, forgetful demon, executioner demon, soul-eating demon, bloodthirsty demon, and finally, the heart-devouring demon, Ch1. The 9 great demonic lords were indeed infamous, ravaging nations with countless atrocities, yet even the weakest among them, Ch1, was a terrifying 6th-rank powerhouse, a Tinlong cultivator who had opened the heavenly gate, making Zhu Weiwa's pursuit as a mere City Dao Academy student seem audacious to the point of folly. The dean further announced that for this year's first-year Dao debate, the academy would reserve 1 spot for the newest disciples, a testament to the continuous emergence of talent across generations. A wave of urgent excitement washed over the students as Fang Xiaoyang, recognized as the leader of Ganyang's second Dao rotation, speculated aloud if news of his prowess had reached the dean, with other students enthusiastically agreeing that he alone deserved the coveted spot. The dean's voice cut through the air, declaring, "It's decided to be you," as a finger pointed directly to the surprised Jiang Wang. With powerful finality, the dean then pronounced the chosen name, Jiang Wang. The revelation struck Fang Xiaoyang with such intense shock that his world seemed to crackle with disbelief. Suddenly, a student's voice rang out, demanding everyone wait a moment. Stepping forward onto the elevated platform, the student defiantly declared his strong objection to the dean's decision. The dean's face hardened as he questioned the student's audacious challenge to the very decision of the academy itself. The protesting student stammered nervously, unable to form words, while Fang Xiaoyang, feigning appeasement, chuckled and advised Dean Dong not to anger himself further, remarking that he never expected a disciple to openly oppose him. Fang Xiaoyang, his annoyance barely concealed, then issued a direct challenge: anyone who objected should step onto the stage and fight for the spot, with the winner claiming it. The elder's stern voice cut through the air, summoning Jiang Wang forward. Standing on the elevated platform, the red-cloaked man sought permission to inflict harm upon his opponent, citing the master's decree. The arrogant student sneered, challenging the very notion that an unestablished disciple could possibly wound him. With a stern decree, the elder set the strict boundaries of combat: no crippling, no killing, then gave the swift command to begin. As energy flared around his hands, the student confidently promised a merciful fight, all while unleashing his formidable twin flames blade technique. A swift strike connected with devastating force, sending the arrogant student reeling backward through the air. Observing from the side, Jiang Wang's fellow disciples marveled at the undeniable improvement in his formidable skills and the evident efficacy of his body training. The defeated student lay motionless, his awareness completely shattered by the powerful blow. A wave of exuberant cheers erupted from the crowd, celebrating Jiang Wang's decisive victory. But unexpectedly, the defeated student stirred, regaining consciousness with a gasp of shock and a trickle of blood. With a vengeful snarl and flames already rekindling, the recovered student defiantly challenged Jiang Wang to another round. Jiang Wang's allies erupted in an agitated chorus, accusing the opponent of shameless cheating and urging their third brother to decisively end the fight once more. The energized crowd turned their shouts of disapproval, demanding that Fang Heling descend from the stage. Panicked and desperate, Fang Heling stammered, accusing Jiang Wang of ruthlessly employing his Dao Yuan to power a sword technique, claiming it severely hindered his foundation. With a look of utter disgust, the elder sharply dismissed Fang Heling, branding him a disgraceful fool. As Fang Heling departed, he hurled a bitter curse at Jiang Wang, who remained lost in thought, the ominous words about his cultivation's foundation lingering in the air. Deep within Jiang Wang, his internal structure pulsed with vibrant green and yellow energy, revealing a profound and ancient connection to his spiritual foundation. The elder's angry voice boomed, exposing Jiang Wang's deviation from the standard Gui Yuan array, and Jiang Wang knew his secret had been uncovered. The elder's frustration burst forth as he sternly reprimanded Jiang Wang for making such a crucial decision about his foundation without consulting his master, to which Jiang Wang humbly admitted his error. The elder expressed profound disappointment, highlighting how Jiang Wang's immense talent, if properly guided, could have already propelled him to the 8th grade Zhou Tian realm. Full of regret, Jiang Wang offered a humble apology to the director, declaring his willingness to accept any punishment, even if it meant starting his cultivation anew. The elder abruptly cut him off, declaring that no more words were needed, as precious time had already been irrevocably wasted. Holding forth a shimmering jade pendant, the elder revealed it contained a secret technique to control Dao Yuan, promising to accelerate Jiang Wang's foundation laying. Jiang Wang, overwhelmed, protested, deeming the jade pendant far too precious to accept from his esteemed master Dong. The elder explained the pendant was a long-ago gift from a departed friend, now without use to him, and insisted Jiang Wang take it. Placing a hand on Jiang Wang's shoulder, the elder gently insisted, imparting that he and his peers embodied the very future of the Zhuang kingdom. As immense yellow energy surged through Jiang Wang, the jade pendant flared, manifesting as the formidable Control Yuan banner. Kneeling in profound gratitude, Jiang Wang thanked his honored master, who then gave a final command for him to step back. Jiang Wang received an unexpected invitation from the notorious Fang family, a stark contrast to his recent joyful moments within him. Master Dong confirmed the invitation was from Fang Zihu, Fang Heling's father, for a gathering at Wanhua Tower, expressing his clear intent to attend. Jiang Wang, despite the impending formal event, asked if Anan wished to go out for a feast, a proposal she eagerly accepted. His loyal friend, the man with the top knot, offered to accompany Jiang Wang to this grand banquet, sensing potential trouble. Jiang Wang, confident in the Dao Academy's reputation, dismissed his friend's offer, believing the Fang family wouldn't dare attack their disciples. Jiang Wang and Anan departed cheerfully, unaware of the lingering apprehension felt by the man who watched them leave. Under the cloak of night, Jiang Wang and Anan arrived at the grand, lantern-lit building, its impressive facade hinting at the prestige within. A smiling waiter greeted them, directing them to Master Fang's private room, where an air of subtle tension began to settle. Jiang Wang's eyes narrowed, recognizing an unexpected and unsettling presence within the private room. Inside, the old man warmly welcomed them, while a formidable red-bearded man sat silently at the dining table, already engrossed in his meal. Fang Zihu, head of the Fang family, greeted Jiang Wang as an honorable nephew, with a practiced, welcoming smile. Fang Zihu attempted to welcome the adorable Anan, but she cowered fearfully behind Jiang Wang, sensing an unspoken unease. Jiang Wang cut to the chase, asking the true purpose of the invitation, but Fang Zihu smoothly deflected, insisting they eat first to satisfy their hunger. Anan, despite her hunger, found herself captivated by the red-bearded man, mentally noting his fierce demeanor surpassed even that of Brother Tiger. The formidable red-bearded man met her gaze with an intense, unyielding stare. A man presented a golden abacus, meticulously crafted by a renowned artisan, proclaiming it a symbol of Anan's cleverness and a humble token for the honorable nephew. Jiang Wang, however, refused the pleasantries and the gift, urging Fang Zihu to reveal the true reason for his invitation. Fang Zihu offered an apology concerning Pengju, but Jiang Wang tersely dismissed it, stating the past was no longer worth dwelling upon. Fang Zihu, revealing his true motive, lamented how He Ling, the last promising Fang family successor, had lost his confidence and drowned himself in alcohol ever since his last fight with Jiang Wang. Jiang Wang, utterly unmoved by the dramatic plea, responded with a curt, uninterested, "So." Fang Zihu then unveiled his audacious request, that Jiang Wang apologize to He Ling, falsely confess to dishonorable conduct during their duel, and restore He Ling's shattered confidence. Jiang Wang firmly rejected the manipulative demand, declaring he would never betray his conscience or admit to something he did not do. Undeterred, Fang Zihu presented a glowing, pearl-like object from an ornate box, enticing Jiang Wang with its immense value if he would only lower his head a little. Jiang Wang recognized the object as a powerful Dao Yuan stone, and Fang Zihu emphasized its incredible potential to swiftly complete his cultivation's foundation. Jiang Wang acknowledged the supposed insignificance of lowering his head, leading Fang Zihu to smugly conclude that the young man was succumbing to temptation. Suddenly, Jiang Wang defiantly pushed the box back, declaring Fang Heiling utterly unworthy, a shocking rejection that caught Fang Zihu completely by surprise. Angered by the manipulative attempt, Jiang Wang abruptly stood, pulling the crying Anan away from the table, signaling their departure. Fang Zihu, now furious, warned Jiang Wang not to cross the powerful Fang family, to which Jiang Wang sarcastically retorted that he was merely an ordinary inner academy disciple. Fang Zihu sneered, dismissing Jiang Wang's academy status as a shield against the Fang family's influence. The towering red-bearded man, revealed to be Fang Zekong, commander of the city guard, then asserted his immense influence, claiming authority second only to the city lord himself. Jiang Wang grimly recalled Fang Zekong's earlier appearance in Xiaolin town alongside Wei Qiuji, cementing the commander's significant power. Jiang Wang's concern deepened as he realized the Fang family possessed such unexpected and formidable connections, ranking even higher than Wei Yan. Jiang Wang exploded in defiance, striking the table with a furious force that sent food and plates scattering and shattering, startling everyone. The red-bearded man's face contorted with enraged fury, provoked by Jiang Wang's audacious outburst. As a mocking laugh echoed through the room, the red-bearded man charged forward in a rage, utterly surprising Jiang Wang. The enraged red-bearded man unleashed his frustration, revealing he had been misled with tales of the Fang family's legacy being at stake, merely to secure his presence. He vehemently declared his independence from the main Fang family, attributing his success to the city lord, and sternly warned them never to bother him again, except for the solemn duty of tomb-sweeping days. The imposing red-bearded man then surprisingly softened his gaze, turning his attention to an interaction that immediately concerned Jiang Wang. His clumsy attempt to apologize and appear cute only intensified An's terror, sending her crying out for Jiang Wang to save her. The red-bearded man stared, his wide eyes reflecting genuine surprise at the child's extreme reaction. With renewed resolve, Jiang Wang stood firm, his clenched fist signaling his readiness to face whatever challenges lay ahead on his heroic path. The elder sat in contemplative solitude, the tranquil night outside offering little solace to his distant thoughts. A commanding voice pierced the dim stillness of the traditional dwelling, demanding an unseen presence to emerge. In the formal hall, a man with a top knot asserted that Jiang Wang would be replaced by more able strength, while the seated man with dark hair expressed deep reservations about the talent gap even with forced cultivation. The man with dark hair, on his knees, vented his profound frustration, lamenting how he had sacrificed resources and crucial connections for someone who had squandered it all and become a laughingstock. His hand glowing with raw power, the man with dark hair screamed his despair, admitting his average talent and pleading for guidance, questioning what more he could possibly give after exerting his all. The man with the top knot, enraged, seized the dark-haired man's face, his fury demanding he prove himself once more amidst the blinding light of their confrontation. The father, his resolve firm, promised his son unwavering support, even risking his own life, as golden energy surged around them, but only if his son swore to be strong and determined. A golden, glowing fist descended with raw power, a striking contrast to the serene landscape unfolding beneath a vibrant blue sky. As a fortified structure crumbled, a dark-robed figure, chained and forlorn, wept silently, their distress echoing the destruction around them. Sun Xiaoman, the confident representative of Sanshan City, announced their near arrival, effortlessly balancing a floating rock as if it were nothing. The winding path unveiled a peaceful village nestled among rolling hills, a tranquil haven beckoning in the distant view. The elder with the yellow crown meticulously laid out a strategic trap for the white-bone sect, then gravely posed a moral dilemma to an unseen figure about protecting one's child versus upholding duty. The elder with the yellow crown engaged in a tense debate with the white-haired elder regarding their white-bone sect trap, weighing the heavy responsibility of avenging Xiaolin Town against the immense risks to Fenglin City's citizens. The white-haired elder voiced his grave concern, fearing that innocent lives would inevitably pay the price should their perilous trap against the white-bone sect fail. The elder with the yellow crown declared his final, unwavering decision that Fenglin City belonged to them, but the white-haired elder vehemently refuted, asserting its true allegiance to the nation of Zhuang. The white-haired elder issued a dire warning, enumerating the catastrophic consequences of sacrificing a town's tens of thousands and the military and supernatural repercussions from the Qinghe Water Department and Execution Division should a heart-devouring demon appear. His eye wide with intense emotion, the white-haired elder passionately argued for an offensive strategy, expressing his frustration over the Zhuang court's neglect and refusing to see more towns fall. In the dark, mystical setting, a dark-robed figure agreed to the plan, hinting at retribution, while the white-haired elder revealed he had lured the bone sect with temptations from there, as the elder with the yellow crown questioned Zhu Wei's absence from the competition. The elder with the yellow crown, his gaze thoughtful, mused that Zhu Wei's true battlefield lay in the National Dao Academy, thus making it his fervent desire for Zhang Linchuan to secure the direct pass instead. The white-haired elder noted the secret plan was fully in motion, as a crowd gathered to witness a chained entity, their murmurs questioning the spectacle and its purpose. Onlookers recoiled in terror and awe, describing the massive, chained figure as a terrifying monster, its sheer intimidation palpable. As a student pondered if Sanshan City sent a ruthless fiend as a chained competitor, Jiang Wang thoughtfully considered the high stakes of a direct pass to the National Dao Academy, while another student quickly warned them to watch their words. A powerful footfall struck the ground with resonant force, sending dust and energy rippling through the air near the Grand City Gate. A man with a top knot cordially welcomed the Sanshan City contingent to Fenglin City Dao Academy, inviting them to rest before a tour of the competition grounds. A colossal chained figure, its presence both ominous and captivating, was led through a crowded plaza under the watchful eyes of many onlookers. In a conspiratorial tone, the dark-haired man smugly informed Zheng Renbi that key competitors from Sanshan City and Fenglin City were either weakened by a heart-devouring demon or absent, ensuring the direct pass to the National Dao Academy for Wangjiang City. Lin Jingren, the representative of Wangjiang City, calmly advised caution, emphasizing the discipline of staying respectful and never underestimating opponents until the very last moment. The man in red robes welcomed the newcomers to a small courtyard, though a chained, dark-robed figure awaited them with an air of foreboding. A young man's frantic shouts broke Jiang Wang's contemplation, delivering the alarming news that his sister was in trouble. A wave of panic washed over Jiang Wang as he stared at the papers, realizing something had gone terribly wrong with the teacher. The old man with the yellow crown furiously berated them, listing their infractions of cheating, skipping class, and disobeying the rules, before demanding they witness his sister's masterpiece. The old man raged on, detailing how Jiang Anan's help in a quiz led to a punishment of copying a 1,000-character essay, only for her to enlist 3 classmates, evidenced by the 7 or 8 different handwriting styles on the paper. The young girl, Jiang Anan, stood silently, her pout a testament to her somber mood. The old man delivered a stern ultimatum, threatening Jiang Anan's immediate expulsion from his private school if her misbehavior continued, prompting Jiang Wang to offer profuse apologies and promise stricter discipline. Just as they thought they were leaving, an unseen voice sharply commanded them to stop, causing both Jiang Wang and Anan to turn in surprise. A young girl with pink hair, Qingji, demanded to know if she was being prevented from playing with Anan. Jiang Wang calmly explained that Anan was forbidden to cheat with her, but this revelation ignited a furious rage in Qingji, who perceived it as a betrayal of their friendship, threatening to fight over a returned pearl bracelet. Growing exasperated, Jiang Wang warned the squabbling children that he would report their continued antics to the teacher. Qingji, however, responded with a fierce roar and a defiant scream, her anger crackling around her like energy, daring Jiang Wang to make good on his threat. Anan, seeing her brother in danger, tearfully warned Qingji that if she struck Jiang Wang, their friendship would truly be over. Qingji, startled by the weight of Anan's warning, quickly retracted her threat and affirmed their friendship, prompting a relieved Anan to bid her goodbye as she departed with Jiang Wang. Radiating cheerfulness, Qingji enthusiastically waved goodbye to Anan. Anan, with a fierce determination, inwardly vowed to deal with Qingji after her brother's match tomorrow, while a yellow-robed observer wryly mused about the constant parental interventions, fearing he wouldn't live to see them graduate. As night fell, chains lay waiting in the shadows, suggesting a clandestine ritual or imprisonment, while a flask and pouch hinted at grim preparations. In the dim, foreboding space, the towering dark-robed figure delivered a chilling reminder, asserting their prior warnings. The young woman, holding a flask with a determined gaze, laid out her condition: their freedom hinged on Sanshan City's victory in the competition. She offered the dark-robed figure a tantalizing promise of freedom in exchange for their assistance in securing victory. The young woman smirked, reminding the confined dark-robed figure that they were her sole pupil until the competition, a taunt that sent the figure into an explosive rage, their eyes glowing red in protest. A powerful, golden fist, wreathed in hearts, descended with shattering force. With a violent surge of red energy, the young woman forcefully asserted her dominance, declaring she was in charge as she struck down an old man, leaving him injured and bleeding. The young man, identified as Sun Xiaoyan, whined tearfully about wanting to go home to his mother, but the young woman, Sun Xiaoman, sternly rebuked his immaturity, reminding him they were there to win the competition and ease their mother's worries. Sun Xiaoyan persisted in his childish complaints, declaring his desire for his mother and labeling his sister a strong girl, which visibly ignited a furious anger in Sun Xiaoman, her eyes beginning to glow. Sun Xiaoyan, in a moment of bewildered surprise, seemed entirely unaware of the impending consequence. With a brutal display of force, Sun Xiaoman attacked, her eyes glowing red as she repeatedly struck Sun Xiaoyan, who wailed in pain and desperately pleaded for forgiveness. Two concerned men anxiously wondered if the young master, despite his special constitution, would still be able to compete the following day after such a beating. In a tender, subdued moment, Sun Xiaoman gently tended to Sun Xiaoyan, promising medicine and admonishing him to be good, to which he meekly expressed his thanks. Under a sun-drenched sky, the grand tournament was about to begin. The path to championship was clearly defined, a series of battles and points across 2 grueling rounds. With a booming voice, the announcer heralded the first-year contestants, building intense anticipation. A cheer erupted as Jiang Wang, a hero from Fenglin City, made his grand, confident entrance. The announcer's voice boomed again, abruptly interjecting a loud sponsor's message. Banners waved as onlookers shouted Jiang Wang's name, their fervent support demanding his victory. Amidst the fervent cheers for Jiang Wang, a young girl wondered at the tournament's thrill, captivated by the excitement. From his perch, a cynical young man silently judged the spectacle, seeing only a boastful stunt behind the grand facade. A tense hush fell as Zuo Guanglie, Jiang Wang's challenger from Sangshan City, was introduced and extended a polite but firm greeting. The official rules of victory were declared: defeat could be by submission, unconsciousness, or expulsion from the ring. With contestants in place, the announcer's command to begin unleashed the impending battle, as Zuo Guanglie took a resolute stance. The first killing style flashed, a glowing blur as Jiang Wang attacked, forcing his opponent into a desperate defense. A single point of steel threatened his very being, yet Zuo Guanglie remained calm before the imminent danger. A devastating impact violently fragmented the earth. With a swiftness that defied the chaos, Jiang Wang evaded the emerging spikes, leaving the crowd in stunned silence. Zuo Guanglie stood amidst the impressive, treacherous expanse of his fully formed earth spike technique. Jiang Wang analyzed his opponent's steadfast will and the rising earth spikes, deciding that trading injury for victory was not a viable path. A powerful stomp from Zuo Guanglie pulverized an earth spike beneath his bare foot. It was Zuo Guanglie's turn, he proclaimed, as he plummeted with dominant force, sending Jiang Wang reeling downwards. Jiang Wang conceded his opponent's power, realizing his only chance was to meet force with agile speed in a head-on confrontation. The overturning stone fist struck with alarming speed, catching Jiang Wang off guard. A devastating barrage of punches shattered the very ground, sending Jiang Wang spiraling away from the raw power. Jiang Wang shrewdly analyzed his opponent's tactical use of earth spikes to compensate for his inherent slowness, recognizing the ploy to force close combat. His opponent menaced, declaring his intent to destroy Jiang Wang's sword and remove all his advantages. As Zuo Guanglie's punch shattered the air, desperate shouts of concern rose from the onlookers, leaving Jiang Wang seemingly defeated amidst the smoky desolation. Determined not to lose, Jiang Wang activated the For Spirits body refining technique, summoning a luminous green serpent as the ground itself transformed. An ecstatic commentator roared, declaring that even without his sword, Jiang Wang had deftly met the Sanshan city cultivators' full strike, proving himself a genius in body training and promising even more surprises. As the battle raged, the two combatants plummeted rapidly, one thrown violently backward against the backdrop of a grand red flag. From above, an unseen observer realized the deception. Jiang Wang had skillfully caught his opponent's stone fist, a fake move that had tricked them all. His opponent's bare feet struck the ground with incredible speed, kicking up dust and debris as they moved. Jiang Wang seized the momentum, a powerful counterattack driven by his fierce determination as he vowed to use force against force. His opponent, still recovering, explained the critical flaw of the overturning stone fist. While powerful, it could easily expose one to a counter if balance was lost. With an intense focus, Jiang Wang held aloft a shattered object, glowing with potent, fragmented energy. Suddenly, a violent explosion threw Jiang Wang backward, a chaotic maelstrom of flying debris surrounding him. Jiang Wang unleashed a rapid volley of attacks, but his opponent countered with equal fury, a golden, shattering fist punching down with destructive force. The arena became an explosive canvas as Jiang Wang and his opponent exchanged powerful, energy-infused blows in their fierce confrontation. With a thunderous impact, Jiang Wang delivered a devastating blow from above, driving his opponent forcefully into the very ground. Despite his severe wounds and bleeding, Jiang Wang's opponent grudgingly expressed his surprise and respect for the body training expertise emanating from Fenglin City. Onlookers gasped in awe, with one student remarking that detonating the overturning stone fist was a fierce technique that harmed the user almost as much as the enemy, dubbing them mountain barbarians. A concerned voice questioned Jiang Wang, whose hand was visibly injured, asking if he truly wished to continue the brutal fight. Jiang Wang, undeterred by his injuries, defiantly declared that the people of Sanshan City would never easily admit defeat as long as they stood, vowing to defeat his opponent completely. A powerful, heart-like energy flared unseen, erupting into a massive, fiery explosion. A woman observed, shocked, as a combatant's vital energy accelerated even faster than before, questioning if Fenglin City truly concealed such a powerful body training technique. Jiang Wang unleashed a brutal and rapid flurry of punches, inflicting severe damage upon his opponent with each strike. As attacks converged around Jiang Wang, a powerful, glowing red phoenix-like energy, known as Ch1, manifested from below. Jiang Wang surged forward, eyes glowing red, radiating immense energy as he uttered a desperate, singular plea to give me. With a powerful crash, his opponent fell from above, impacting a fiery explosion where Jiang Wang stood ready amidst the blast. A thunderous impact sounded as the opponent was violently slammed into a structure, which cracked and crumbled under the force. The opponent suffered severe, painful injuries, bleeding profusely from his mouth before slumping, utterly wounded and covered in blood. Jiang Wang channeled immense spiritual power, manifesting a powerful, roaring spectral white tiger of glowing blue energy. The students erupted in enthusiastic cheers, fists raised high in support, while officials watched the proceedings. But then, an unseen speaker's voice boomed, demanding a halt to the battle just as the opponent's foot crushed a broken structure. The heavily injured man defiantly declared his will to fight on, refusing to yield despite his grave wounds. For his hometown's honor, he resolved to fight on, clinging to the belief that as long as breath remained, he could not be defeated. A young girl, seemingly disguised, mimicked a critical tone as she derided those who treated life so carelessly, labeling them mountain barbarians. A man with a red cloak and a bloody forehead cut abruptly short the conversation with a single, weighty word. The injured warrior's hand stretched out one last time before he collapsed in defeat, the red-cloaked man standing somberly over him. Amidst the distant sounds of combat, the red-cloaked victor bowed, acknowledging his defeated opponent not as a barbarian, but as a respectable warrior, and sought his honorable name. With great effort, the battered warrior, Yang Xingyong, revealed his name and declared his origin from Sanshan City. An excited announcer declared Jiang Wang's victory as a testament to his character and martial virtue, then dramatically revealed the full list for the second round. Jiang Wang, the formidable fighter from Fonglin City, was presented as a key contender for the upcoming round. From Sanshan City, Zhao Jiehe, a man of intense focus, was introduced next. Lin Zhengli from Wangjiang City was introduced, his smug demeanor betraying his contempt for the previous fighters, whom he dismissed as weaklings. The energetic announcer called the three contestants to the judges' table, emphasizing the critical role of luck in drawing a later lot for a much-needed rest round. A hand carefully reached into the container, the fate of the next match hanging in the balance. Jiang Wang, surprised by his own fortune, announced that he had drawn the coveted later lot, securing a crucial rest round. His opponent, the man with the top knot, grumbled with annoyance, lamenting Jiang Wang's damn luck that granted him another match of reprieve. Jiang Wang coldly wished his opponent continued luck, hoping to face him with all limbs intact, while the man with the top knot arrogantly promised him suffering 10 times worse than his previous foe. A man in grey robes intervened, admonishing the cultivator from Wangjiang City to show proper respect to his opponent. The man with the patterned headband rudely dismissed the admonishing Shan Shuezi, triggering an immediate and angry reaction from his fuming opponent. With ethereal glowing energy, the damaged tree-like structure on the arena floor was rapidly restored, watched by officials and the assembled crowd. The enthusiastic announcer, with a megaphone in hand, energetically declared that the second round order was set, urging that the exciting matches should not be stopped. While a stylized announcer icon commented on Jiang Wang's good luck, his smug opponent secretly relished the building tension, anticipating his ultimate victory overall. Zhao Jiehe, eyes burning with determination, vowed to win for his hometown, while the announcer boomed the names of the next combatants, Zhao Jiehe from Sanshan City and Lin Zhengli from Wangjiang City. Despite his injuries, Yang Xingyong waved happily, calling out a name, his face radiating unexpected cheer in the bustling crowd. "Third brother, why aren't you with the medical team?" a young man asked, but Yang Xingyong waved away the concern, insisting his body wasn't badly hurt, even as a young girl joyfully called out. The excited young girl loudly called out, "Anan," her voice filled with unbridled joy. A young man playfully confessed he knew the girl would arrive after seeing her brother, as the injured man looked on, recognizing the excited, glowing Qingji. The two young girls, one of them radiating with excitement, joyfully greeted each other in a burst of pure happiness. The injured man, speaking with respect, recounted his significant meeting with old Master Song at the private school. The friendly old man introduced himself as Grandpa Goe, Qingji's caretaker, inviting them to simply call him Grandpa Goe. An awkward conversation about Grandpa Goe's head shape was abruptly cut short by the announcer's booming cry to begin. His big brother instructed him to carefully analyze the opponents, a command the injured man acknowledged attentively, while the two young girls cheered on excitedly. Two masters prepared their forms, each gesture a silent declaration of intent in the disciplined art of combat. As Zhao Jiehe settled into his stance, Lin Zhengli coolly declared he would dispatch his opponent immediately, showing no need for haste. A bare foot struck the ground heavily, activating a glowing, magical symbol that hummed with arcane power. Zhao Jiehe unleashed the stone thorn tie, dark energy surging forth, even as a monstrous reflection hinted at the shadowed power he wielded. While ominous crackling filled the air, Lin Zhengli casually dismissed the incoming wave surge as mere petty tricks, his form serene atop a cresting wave, leaving onlookers alarmed. With a sharp cry, Zhao Jiehe desperately called out, "Fire," aiming a final, focused hand gesture. Lin Zhengli, amidst the crackling sounds of shattering projectiles, effortlessly blocked the predictable assault with a powerful water barrier, sending his opponent flying. The blue-robed cultivator looked down at his fallen foe, condescendingly asking if he understood human language, urging him to yield. A visceral thud marked the moment the raging waves crashed over Zhao Jiehe, engulfing him in a torrent of pain. But with a sudden crackle, Zhao Jiehe's body seemed to shatter, revealing the desperate stone substitute technique. Lin Zhengli, however, remained smug, confident he had already surrounded his opponent, criticizing his cleverness as stone spikes fell around them. The blue-robed master then revealed his calculated deception, admitting he had deliberately cooperated with Zhao Jiehe's stone thorn technique before activating the devastating wave's triple surge to ensnare him. With cold confidence, Lin Zhengli declared that all of his opponent's moves had been within his prediction, and now, suspended in the air, it was his turn to be caught in the trap. Zhao Jiehe struggled, overwhelmed as a massive, cresting blue wave engulfed him, all under the intense gaze of Lin Zhengli. A piercing scream tore from Zhao Jiehe as sharp, freezing ice formations assaulted him from all sides. Violently, Zhao Jiehe was launched upward within a churning column of ice and water, entirely at the command of the calm man in blue robes below. An observer thoughtfully noted that while Zhao Jiehe's techniques pushed grade D Dao arts to their limit, Lin Zhengli's Waves Triple Surge and Raging Waves Trap had qualitatively elevated them to a grade C level. From the sidelines, a student cautioned his younger brother about Lin Zhengli's psychological tactics, urging him not to fall for provocation, while Zhao Jiehe remained trapped in the ice attack. Despite unleashing a stone armor technique and gritting his teeth in defiance, Zhao Jiehe's endurance only prompted the smirking Lin Zhengli to maliciously introduce his new water vine whip. The man with the patterned headband was brutally lashed, flailing and shielding his face against the whipping water. With a cruel, playful grin, Lin Zhengli extended his hand, ensnaring his struggling opponent while mockingly claiming he was just kidding. Yet, a green vine suddenly whipped and coiled with unexpected speed and force. Zhao Jiehe realized with a jolt of pain and surprise that he was trapped by the entangling vine wood technique, cleverly hidden within Lin Zhengli's previous attacks. With a definitive stomp, Lin Zhengli sent his entangled opponent crashing violently to the ground. Lin Zhengli, holding two glowing water whips, taunted his opponent, acknowledging his cleverness but demanding he hold on longer until his satisfaction was met. Face down and still entangled, Zhao Jiehe defiantly spat back that Sanshan city warriors looked down on those with dog eyes and would never surrender. With a wide, malicious grin, Lin Zhengli declared his whip was perfectly suited for stubborn types like Zhao Jiehe, preparing to strike once more. Other students reacted with shock and concern, marveling at the intensity of the fight and sensing that something was amiss as a large explosion engulfed Zhao Jiehe. Lin Zhengli, visibly irritated, scoffed, calling his opponent a mountain brat. With a powerful burst, Zhao Jiehe, encased in stone armor, cried out for his opponent to come on, intensifying a self-damaging technique previously used. From above, the senior observer questioned the little wild girl, urging her not to risk life in a match with no bearing on her future, as the woman in pink robes herself wrestled with the agonizing choice between the fighter's life and his honor. Lin Zhengli derided his injured opponent, sending a wave of water as he shouted that courage was useless without the protection of stone armor, only ensuring a worse defeat. A torrent of water violently struck Zhao Jiehe, causing blood to splatter across his face. Yet, through the splashing water, Zhao Jiehe's fist clenched with resolute, unyielding power. Zhao Jiehe charged, unleashing his stone-covered fist as Lin Zhengli prepared to meet the assault. Lin Zhengli smirked, sarcastically acknowledging his lunatic opponent's persistence, deciding he wouldn't allow himself to be a mere stepping stone for a last desperate blow. From above, Lin Zhengli unleashed the devastating, surging wave strike, a powerful water attack. Floating confidently, Lin Zhengli urged his bloodied opponent to surrender, boasting that his battle predictions were always 3 steps ahead. Zhao Jiehe defiantly countered, proclaiming he was only 1 step ahead as he slammed his foot down. Lin Zhengli, now surrounded by mystical blue energy, taunted Zhao Jiehe about Mountain City stubbornness, then threatened to end his life with the second-rank mystique skill, 100-stream arrow rain. Suddenly, Lin Zhengli cried out in shock as sharp blue fragments materialized and whirled around him. Both the woman in pink robes and the senior observer watched with wide-eyed surprise. Lin Zhengli had suddenly plunged into the low-rank D-grade technique, Pitfall, a meticulously planned move by Zhao Jiehe from the very beginning. Zhao Jiehe's initial hand seal was, in fact, meant to lay the Pitfall, cleverly using his instant cast, stone spike technique as a simultaneous distraction to deceive his opponent. Trapped within the swirling dust of the Pitfall, Lin Zhengli cursed, exasperated that he had endured his opponent's nagging and whining for so long. Zhao Jiehe's bloody hand closed around Lin Zhengli's throat, choking him violently. With eyes glowing red, Zhao Jiehe delivered a menacing warning to his choked adversary, demanding he watch your mouth when encountering anyone from Mountain City again. A violent punch struck Lin Zhengli's face, his head snapping back as blood spurted. Zhao Jiehe continued his relentless assault, pummeling the defenseless Lin Zhengli, whose face was already covered in blood. As a young girl covered her eyes from the brutal display, the senior observer praised the brilliant ambush, and another student noted Mountain City's deceptively meticulous battle strategy. Zhao Jiehe roared with primal rage, his red eyes glowing as he continued the relentless assault. With a serious expression, the senior observer declared, "I surrender," signaling the formal end of the fight. An official then raised a flag, officially concluding the match. Lin Zhengli's face was a brutal mask of injuries, blood streaming as he silently pleaded to be released. Staggering, yet defiant, Zhao Jiehe declared his victory, proclaiming his identity as a Mountain City cultivator from Zhuanggoking County to his defeated foe. A zombie-like figure, consumed by a chaotic fury, shrieked Zhao Jiehe's name. The other students erupted in wild cheers, repeatedly shouting Zhao Jiehe's name. A man in a red cloak joked about compensation for the injured, suggesting the victor should offer a little fragrance, only to be admonished by another for speaking nonsense in front of the kids. The senior observer, with a round face, raised his hand to inquire if the Mountain City fighter could continue the match. Despite his grievous injuries, Zhao Jiehe defiantly declared he could still continue. From her elevated position, the woman in pink robes decisively declared Mountain City's forfeit, commanding Zhao Jiehe to come down, despite his protesting that he still had a life to fight with. The woman in pink robes explained her serious decision, stating that while he had a chance before, his life was now too valuable, and Mountain City needed him for future endeavors far beyond a mere first-year championship. In a grand, austere room, several revered figures gathered around a dark wooden table, their formal discussion carrying the unseen weight of the martial world's future. Above the clamor, a man with a patterned headband declared the final match results had been decided, after consultation with the referees and all sect captains. His voice boomed with commanding intensity, cutting through the air to capture every ear. Amidst the gentle descent of crimson maple leaves, Jiang Wang stood in quiet contemplation, gathering his inner resolve. A roaring tide of applause and cheers erupted from the crowd, celebrating Jiang Wang's well-earned triumph. As his companions congratulated him on his victory, the man with the round face humbly protested, but his third brother affirmed his deserving success. Amidst lively announcements, the man with the red cloak invited young Zhao, while another on the platform declared a celebration for all who wished to attend, prompting an eager volunteer from the crowd. As he ascended the platform, Huang Azhen smirked, eagerly anticipating the three-fragrance pavilion celebration and the fair and tall sisters he expected to encounter. Huang Azhen's voice boomed through the megaphone, introducing himself as the new host for the upcoming third-year matches with energetic enthusiasm. Huang Azhen snapped back at the grumbling onlookers who disparaged his hosting, even as the first round of the third-year matches was officially announced. Li Jianqiu stood amidst the crackling fire energy, his triumph confirmed as the first winner of the round. Wang Changxiang secured his victory, his form surrounded by swirling green wind energy. The dark-robed observer noted the swift victories in the first two arenas, then turned his attention to the third, speculating if the motionless Mountain City fighter was preparing a hidden, powerful technique. Annoyed by his opponent's caution, the man in blue robes declared he would strike first, unleashing his formidable water spear technique. Streams of water rained down from above, relentlessly barraging the dark-robed figure. With a fierce expression, the man in blue robes unleashed another powerful Taoist technique, the wind blade, surrounded by glowing yellow energy. The dark-robed figure endured a chaotic barrage, simultaneously assailed by multiple wind blades and water streams. Sweat dripped from his brow as the man in blue robes mused that his opponent's cloak must be a powerful treasure, capable of tanking two Taoist techniques, but surely nearing its limits. With a defiant roar, he launched another attack, summoning jagged earth spikes to erupt from the arena floor. The earth spikes exploded around the dark-robed figure, shattering on impact. With unexpected force, the dark-robed figure stomped, sending cracked spiderwebbing across the arena floor. As his protective cloak unraveled, the round-faced man plummeted, his true, much larger form revealed as a thought of comical urgency echoed through his mind. He landed with a comically heavy impact, creating a visible shockwave on the arena floor. His opponent lay defeated, but the round-faced man, now revealed, clutched his stomach, his only urgent thought a desperate cry for a toilet. A young man covered his face in exasperation as the round-faced victor made his hasty, undignified exit. Observers marveled at the young man's unharmed skin, astonished that he could tank powerful Taoist techniques without even a sign of stone skin, pondering the mystery of his defense. An old man with a gray beard and a yellow crown gravely explained the technique as the kunpai drum, a permanently solidified Taoist art. In a moment of quiet introspection, eyes closed against the world, a faint, almost ethereal glow shimmered around them. Lin Zhengli, still frustrated on the stretcher, questioned why he had been made to surrender, his anger simmering beneath the surface. Lin Zhengli stubbornly insisted his loss was mere carelessness, not true defeat, as Zhao Jiehe calmly prompted him to continue. Zhao Jiehe delivered a stern reminder that even a partial victory would not diminish his opponent's status as the reigning first-year champion. He continued with grave advice, emphasizing that without complete certainty, one should never offer an enemy any advantage. Zhao Jiehe explained that without a decisive victory against them, the champion's path remained incomplete, even as the announcer detailed the advancing fighters and the upcoming draw for a bye round. As the draw prepared to be announced, each fighter quietly considered their path forward, some destined to compete first, others to wait. The man in red robes offered a courteous bow, formally requesting his opponent's care in the impending battle. The man with the top knot stomped with self-satisfied joy, declaring how good it felt. A man with a square on his head smirked slyly, anticipating a worthwhile clash between the two large opponents. With no time to waste, the second round's first match began with a powerful gust of mist, instantly catching the large man and sending him spiraling downward. The determined man vowed to fight seriously, dreaming of returning to his mother, but the swirling mist quickly disoriented him, causing him to lose sight of his opponent. He charged forward through the swirling energy, calling out to his unseen foe. His confusion deepened as he continued his desperate search, demanding to know his opponent's whereabouts. A mighty whirlwind descended with a forceful rush, twisting into a powerful, dragon-like tornado known as the breath-twisting tornado, threatening to overwhelm him. The powerful swirling energy violently pushed him back. He transformed, his body growing muscular, then powerfully stomped, declaring his might as the ground cracked beneath his foot. His foot landed with immense force, further shattering the platform. In his transformed state, he braced against the unseen force, his grunts of effort replaced by a resolute declaration that he could withstand it. The narrator revealed Wang Changxiang's strategy to employ the Wang family's A-grade breath-twisting tornado, a feat rare even among third-year students, yet Sun Xiaoyan proved no pushover, enduring the assault and advancing steadily. He let out a strained huff, his face contorted with the intense effort of battling the powerful winds. Realizing the toll the ongoing assault was taking, Sun Xiaoyan resolved to block the wind and conserve his dwindling energy. Sun Xiaoyan manifested a stone wall to counter the wind, prompting observers to debate its intelligence as a strategy, while some dismissed it as foolish against a talent like Wang Changxiang. The stone wall he created was forcefully shattered, debris flying from the continuing assault. His opponent stood triumphantly atop a massive, swirling green energy vortex, looking down from his awe-inspiring perch at the shocked Sun Xiaoyan. The dragon soar's technique descended with a thunderous impact, the massive green energy dragon striking down Sun Xiaoyan, who cried out as he fell, defeated. He fell through the air, defeated amidst flying debris, a spectacle for the observing crowd. The defeated man was blown clear from the arena, saved by the protective formation shield, prompting onlookers to praise the undeniable skill of the Wang family. An official calmly held up a red flag, signaling the formal outcome of the intense match. Sun Xiaoyan sat on the ground, defeated, expressing a quiet surprise as his opponent calmly observed him. An official enthusiastically declared Wang Changxiang the victor, praising his impressive dragon rising technique as another form of the breath-twisting tornado. A young man attempted to comfort his upset sister, while the narrator explained that the four-spirit body refinement defense was clearly weaker than kunhai drum, implying even a fierce purple chi sword might not break through. Wang Changxiang, the victor, contemplated his opponent's surprising resilience, recognizing his own limitations and the need for a better weapon to truly overcome such a foe. Senior brother Wang's breath-twisting tornado was truly unstoppable, leaving him no counter, a stark reminder that his own strength lagged far behind the third years and the rare A-grade techniques. An old man with a gray beard explained the technique's immense power stemmed from the attribute boost of his opponent's Dao Vein spirit. Jiang Wang pondered if Dao Vein spirits truly affected techniques, wondering then about the specific attribute of his own little earthworm spirit. The narrator explained that Dao Vein spirits held significant power, changing forms and possessing varied attributes, speculating the opponent's spirit was a wind sparrow, capable of making his energy unusually violent. A golden pill, potent with restorative chi, was carefully dropped from an ornate silver bottle into an open palm. A spectator remarked on Brother Changxiang's pill-fueled determination to restore Dao energy, which Jianqiu humbly dismissed as trivial, yet Jiang Wang pondered how the experienced senior brotherly would counter the renowned breath-twisting tornado. Jianqiu, however, expressed his mild concern that the audience was already complaining about such a seemingly shameless technique. The man with the top knot, smiling, good-naturedly agreed, asking Jianqiu to also show mercy in his own match. The announcer, a figure in a bird-like mask, boomed with excitement, heralding the second round as a clash between two of the three prodigies once famed in their ranks. With a decisive call, Jianqiu conjured a mist veil, and a massive burst of smoke erupted, shrouding the arena. As powerful gusts howled, the horned man, robes billowing, actively summoned a potent wind summon, tearing through the air. The man with the top knot, ducking defensively, recoiled in surprise, wondering why his opponent was now using a wind Dao technique he had never shown interest in before. The horned man charged, flaming swords ablaze, declaring he had learned the technique especially for his opponent, who cried out that denying him time to build power was too sneaky. Yet the man with the top knot smirked, revealing a glowing green light from a hidden reserve, causing the horned man to gasp in surprise, wondering how he could have activated it in such a short time. The blowing breath-twisting whirlwind unleashed its fury, engulfing the horned man and sending him flailing headfirst into the chaotic, debris-laden storm. With a powerful crash, Li Jianqiu was violently blown off the stage, and the match was decided as Wang Changxiang of Maple City was declared the triumphant winner. Jianqiu's eyes narrowed in intense realization, comprehending that his opponent had mastered the breath-twisting tornado with astounding speed and that the mist veil had been merely a petty trick to blind him. Wang Changxiang, smiling, humbly admitted that against Jianqiu, a moment's slowness could have cost him the match, as the announcer then declared his 2 straight wins and proclaimed him the undisputed third-year leader. The announcer, eyes wide and finger pointed skyward, enthusiastically amplified the excitement, building anticipation for what was next. Jianqiu respectfully conceded, offering congratulations to Brother Changxiang, who, in turn, humbly dismissed the praise and wished Jianqiu good fortune in his next match. The announcer called for the final match of the third-year contestants, prompting Jiang Wang to speculate that senior brotherly hadn't fought with full effort, a thought Yucheng echoed, believing there could be only one underlying reason. With fierce determination, the muscular man with the top knot vowed to win this match, driven by the intense fear that his sister would never forgive him if he lost again. The announcer's cry of, "Begin," launched the muscular man into a fierce charge, as his horned opponent simultaneously leaped forward, wreathed in fiery energy. A thunderous impact echoed as the muscular man delivered a powerful, roaring punch downwards with immense force. His horned opponent retaliated, wielding flaming blades that hissed with fierce, crackling energy. The horned man, focused, manifested a massive fiery spirit projection that engulfed the muscular man, trapping him within its searing embrace as he fell, incapacitated. Sweating intensely amidst the searing flames, the muscular man desperately cried out the technique's name, Ch1. Hide. Drum. As the muscular man endured the relentless fiery attack, his horned opponent observed with a grim, unwavering determination. The horned man leaped through the air, raining down a barrage of numerous fiery blades as the muscular man valiantly defended himself with a circular energy shield. A young girl with twin buns gasped, utterly surprised, questioning whether he had truly dispersed his own move mid-attack. With a sharp, crackling sound, a series of large, ring-like constructs, wreathed in fierce fiery energy, shattered. With a thunderous impact, Li Jianxiu was once again violently knocked from the stage, and Sun Shaoyan of Sanshan City was proclaimed the victor. Jianxiu, looking down with a dejected expression, quietly admitted his defeat, while surrounding onlookers murmured with confusion. The muscular man, scratching his head with a bewildered expression, wondered aloud in confusion if he had even truly made contact with his opponent. The agitated announcer confirmed Sun Shaoyan's second place and Li Jianxiu's third, declaring the third-year competition officially over, though an observer grumbled that this second round had been way too lame. Jianxiu observed the distant celebrating victor, reflecting with a sad resignation that this outcome felt truly exactly the same, as he swallowed his feelings. Senior brother Li, called out by Jianxiu, congratulated Jiang Wang for taking the lead, claiming he hadn't had a chance to fully display his preparations, but Jiang Wang, serious, questioned why he hadn't tried harder against Sanshan City. Senior brother Li explained his decision, claiming he might not break the defensive technique and that his ranking no longer mattered, as he had other things to do and would take his leave, shrugging off Yucheng's plea to stay for the impending fifth-year matches. Jiang Wang, deep in contemplative thought, noticed the ancient sword at senior brother Li's waist, which had never once left its scabbard, and wondered what could possibly be more important than the Grand Dao debate to merit such hidden resolve. The announcer, with a booming laugh, proclaimed the three-city Dao debate was reaching its peak after the initial rounds, enthusiastically heralding the imminent start of the most anticipated and fiercest, fifth-year matches. Support for the creators was requested, with an invitation to visit code-fi.com/hijala. The man in dark robes declared the stage was set, awaiting the arrival of honored guests. The man with long dark hair fretted about the sudden return of two powerful observers, feeling the immense pressure of their gaze. An excited announcer boomed about the immense honor and power of the fifth-year students, revealing that their leader would earn direct entry to the National Academy in the capital, bypassing all lesser trials. He then challenged the assembly, demanding to know who would claim such a precious spot before triumphantly welcoming the fifth-year contestants into the vast arena. From Wangjiang City, the calm and focused Lin Jingren was announced to the crowd. With a resounding crack, a whip struck the platform, heralding the unexpected entrance of Sun Shaoman. Spectators erupted in disbelief and amusement, wondering how such a young girl could be a fifth-year contestant, while the flustered announcer corrected himself, exclaiming she was only 7. The man with the patterned headband stumbled over his words, his thoughts swirling with the realization that at his age of 17, others were already competing at the highest level, fueling his resolve to cultivate with renewed fervor. A fervent crowd erupted in cheers, their encouraging shouts echoing across the vast arena as Sun Shaoman prepared for her challenge. Under a moonlit sky, a figure with blue skin and horns delivered a chilling account of senior brother Chu Bing's gruesome death at the hands of Ch1, his heart torn from his chest. Sun Shaoman calmly declared the universal truth that life and death were destined, her quiet acceptance settling heavily in the somber room as others observed her with muted understanding. Lin Jingren arrogantly challenged Sun Shaoman, invoking a past defeat and questioning if she could reclaim her predecessor's honor. Sun Shaoman defiantly accepted the challenge, leaping into the fray with the resolute declaration that only by trying would they know the outcome. Lin Jingren's whip lashed and whistled through the air, as a glowing, venomous serpent simultaneously hissed and coiled from the very ground, striking forth with potent magic. Sun Shaoman executed an agile dodge, her quick movements allowing her to narrowly avoid the incoming attack as the ground splintered from the impact. An old master revealed the whip's true name, Jade Python, explaining its fearsome origin as a treasured heirloom crafted from a high-grade demon python of the esteemed Lin family. Lin Jingren then unleashed a powerful water magic technique, calling forth the raging waves to engulf his opponent. Though it was the familiar raging waves, Lin Jingren's mastery elevated its power far beyond all others, cementing his reputation as Wangjiang City's top-ranked, as he relentlessly barraged Sun Shaoman with ranged attacks, denying her any chance to close the distance. A devastating surprise assault erupted from below, with the surging, raging waves at the front and the Jade Python at the back, trapping Sun Shaoman with no conceivable escape. With resolute steps, Sun Xiaoman astonishingly walked upon the surging waves, a feat made even more incredible by the fact that the raging waves were imbued with harmful soul power that would typically injure any on contact. The crowd roared with encouragement for her impossible move, while some astute observers questioned if she possessed a permanently solidified earth-hide drum technique. The man with the patterned headband astutely noticed the unique texture of her skin, deducing that she was employing her pure physical body to absorb the damage, a testament to her unmatched body cultivation among all present. Lin Jingren, though his opponent, offered a grudging admiration, acknowledging her strength with the Wuxia proverb that a tiger father has no weak children. Lin Jingren then conjured the potent vine snake entwining wall, a massive, constricting barrier designed to trap his foe. Trapped within the constricting vine wall, Sun Xiaoman, annoyed by his evasive tactics, defiantly challenged Lin Jingren to face her head-on. Lin Jingren taunted her with a dismissive, "I don't dare," even as his serpent lunged forward from the vine wall, reinforcing his indirect strategy. Lin Jingren, with ruthless precision, launched another pincer attack from both sides, leaving Sun Xiaoman suspended helplessly in mid-air with no footing, facing an truly inescapable predicament. With a surge of inner strength, Sun Xiaoman activated her power, summoning glowing golden fists and mystical symbols to prepare for a desperate counterattack. Her glowing golden fist collided fiercely with the serpent, inflicting a powerful blow that caused vital fluids to erupt. Sun Xiaoman stood triumphant upon the writhing form of the defeated serpent amidst the shattered vines, but her moment of victory was cut short by a colossal rock formation descending menacingly from above. A colossal golden beam ripped through the arena, erupting in a blinding explosion of light and debris, setting a destructive tone for what was to come. A massive green serpent's tail lashed out with incredible speed, prompting a startled cry as it swept through the air. A man in a yellow robe exclaimed in disbelief, questioning how the treasured mountain-shaking hammer of Sanchan City could possibly have fallen into the hands of such a young girl. As his wave surge technique engulfed the opponent, Lin Jingren calmly taunted, questioning if they were a divine deity or merely a brute knowing only a single, simple movement. With a cruel smirk, Lin Jingren twisted his head to deliver a final, cutting blow, remarking that their opponent was just like their deceased father. A substance was poured from a vial, followed by an explosive impact that sent debris flying around a figure, culminating in a violent splash of water around a sword-like object. Lin Jingren, still composed despite the impact and water splashing around him, calmly noted how close that attack had come. Sun Xiaoman, her glare piercing, furiously vowed to fight Lin Jingren to the death if he dared utter another word. A man with a patterned headband observed with irritation that the two brothers were despicable for constantly trying to manipulate their opponents' minds. The old man with a yellow crown sagely declared that while the Zhuang kingdom valued the Tao, it respected all sects, for in the arena, victory always hinged on pure skill alone. Standing in the water, Lin Jingren bowed slightly, acknowledging Ding Dong's wisdom and retracting his previous statement. Intense blue lightning tore across the dark, stormy sky, signaling an immense, uncontrolled power. A blue-skinned man gasped in surprise, noting the swift outcome in the first arena as the referee announced Zhang Linchuan's effortless victory. Sun Xiaoman fiercely swung her massive hammer with a powerful stomp, launching multiple smaller hammers that created craters upon impact with her distant opponent. With a powerful strong-arm technique, Sun Xiaoman pushed back the weapon, immediately launching another assault, her movements as agile as a dancing flame even while swinging a giant hammer almost her own height. Lin Jingren expertly evaded Sun Xiaoman's fierce assault with his triple wave surge technique, though the narration wondered if he had hidden moves, knowing a single landed strike could mean disaster. The man with the patterned headband praised Lin Jingren's mastery, noting that his Daoist arts, much like the surging, raging waves and calm, wave surge, were devoid of any wasted movements. Sun Xiaoman unleashed a powerful roar, channeling immense energy into a furious upward attack. Lin Jingren calmly assessed the distant crash of Sun Xiaoman's hammer, remarking that while her attack was fierce, it ultimately lacked restraint. Sun Xiaoman smirked triumphantly as her hammer ignited with explosive flame, declaring that Lin Jingren had fallen for her trap. A large, round object endured a powerful impact, causing water to violently splash as fire-like energy swirled dramatically around it. Lin Jingren calmly stood atop her massive hammer, revealing his full understanding of her provocation and heavy hammer reflective blow technique, before dismissing her elaborate strategy as merely a small trick. Sun Xiaoman struggled, wide-eyed and sweating, utterly shocked as her hammer's momentum was not only reversed but its weight became impossibly immense. With a smug smile, Lin Jingren looked down and began to explain the true, immense nature of the weight now burdening Sun Xiaoman. An open hand subtly gathered or emitted a faint, shimmering energy, hinting at an impending magical manifestation. A colossal beam of golden light descended from a swirling dark cloud formation, majestically illuminating the landscape below with its immense power. Bathed in the overwhelming golden light, Lin Jingren looked up and uttered a single word, heaven, as Sun Xiaoman stared in utter shock at the immense power unfurling. The blue-skinned man expressed wide-eyed astonishment at the advancement from grade 7 to grade 6, especially happening at this pivotal moment. As the colossal golden beam descended from the sky, a collective gasp of awe swept through the numerous observers on the wall and the smaller figures below. The man with the patterned headband realized with astonishment that Lin Jingren had been feigning weakness, now understanding that his casual use of instant techniques was a facade as he pushed open the heaven-earth gate, ascending from grade 7 to grade 6. Sun Xiaoman brought her large hammer down with a powerful impact, striking the ground and sending debris flying around Lin Jingren. Despite her immense struggle to hold the hammer, Sun Xiaoman looked up with desperate determination, clinging to the belief that a chance for victory still remained. A hand rose in a clear defensive gesture as bright golden energy swirled powerfully around an object, signaling an impending clash. Sun Xiaoman gritted her teeth, yelling in pained shock as a powerful, reverse shock radiated with golden energy from the vibrating hammer. A hand moved with effortless grace, conjuring a swirling vortex of blue water with a light sweep. Sun Xiaoman cried out in agony, engulfed and overwhelmed by the powerful, water dragon wave, a great lower Daoist art. The metallic sphere struck the desolate ground, erupting in a chaotic explosion of blue energy and debris. Two men cried out in desperate distress, their pleas tearing through the tension of the moment. Jiang Wang grappled with the sheer, overwhelming chasm of power between a grade 7 and a grade 6 cultivator. Amidst the shattered debris, Sun Xiaoman lay vulnerable and injured, the battle's toll evident around her. Despite her injuries, Sun Xiaoman declared with desperate defiance that the fight was far from over. Sun Xiaoman defiantly reiterated the fight's deadly stakes, even as the man with the top knot pleaded with her to abandon the struggle and return to Sanshan City. Lin Jingren calmly acknowledged Sun Xiaoman's insistence, a subtle glow already emanating from his hand. Lin Jingren's grip tightened with a decisive snap around the serpent-like whip. Perched upon the massive, red-eyed serpent, Lin Jingren coolly declared his intent to finish the duel, as the creature hissed ominously. The young man with the top knot screamed in horrified despair, his pleas lost to the mounting tension. The colossal serpent constricted further, its coils tightening around Sun Xiaoman, crushing her with excruciating force. Within her body, bones cracked and splintered under the immense, destructive pressure. Lin Jingren, confident in his victory, acknowledged her iron-hard resilience even as Sun Xiaoman groaned in agony, knowing the end had finally come. Suddenly, two delicate flower petals drifted gracefully downwards, a stark contrast to the battle's fury. The colossal serpent recoiled in startled shock as white blossoms inexplicably erupted from its body, covering its massive head. Lin Jingren released an unseen force, sending the blossom-covered serpent coiling erratically through the bright sky. With a calm, confident smile, Lin Jingren then called out, "Catch!" The old man with the grey beard acknowledged the outcome, his solemn declaration signifying the resolution of the duel. With a deep, respectful bow, Lin Jingren thanked Din Dong for his efforts. The man with the patterned headband reflected on Lin Jingren's extreme caution, realizing that even with a clear advantage, he had manipulated his opponent and avoided unnecessary risks, noting that Din's timely intervention had saved Miss Sun's life. As Sun Xiaoman lay injured, the old man with the grey beard mused conspiratorially, questioning why Lin Jingren hadn't been allowed to kill her, given her extraordinary potential as master of the mountain-shaking hammer. The other character voiced a concern about the potential madness of the woman from Sanshan City, who had already lost her husband and would now lose her daughter. The old man with the grey beard dismissed the concerns with ruthless pragmatism, asserting that such a grudge would fall upon Wangjiang City, not his Fenglin City, and that the girl's survival would only impede the future of his own disciples. The old man declared that all the cities were united nobles of the Zhuang kingdom, but another official, Zhao Lang, expressed a concerned hope that he truly meant it. As the three cities debate unfolded, a man in red robes questioned why he was guarding the North Arsenal, only for a man in dark robes to lament that the dean's rearranged plans kept him from the martial competition. Meanwhile, the courtyard beyond revealed a scene of recent conflict, with armored guards patrolling past two figures already defeated on the cold stone. A commanding voice cut through the tension inside the building, announcing the arrival of Deputy General Ch1 and ordering a swift shift change for the guards. The man in red robes, exercising caution, demanded to see official orders from the city lord and the dean, but Ch1 responded with an arrogant question, challenging their suspicion. Insisting on protocol, the guard reaffirmed the direct orders, prompting Ch1 to smirk and declare that he would give them their order now. With a terrifying transformation, the demonic Deputy General Ch1 unleashed an attack of dark tendrils and a skull-headed serpent, commanding his ally to strike. Dark tendrils brutally pierced the man in red robes, whose eye bled in agony, while a blue feather, a clear sign of a counterattack, remained embedded in the menacing serpent's head. With a decisive thud, a person's foot landed firmly on the stone, signaling an immediate entry into the fray. In the aftermath, two guards lay defeated in the courtyard, their comrades observing the scene with grim realization as two serpentine creatures floated ominously above, the true culprits behind the attack. The young man, now identified as Shohanji, a fifth-year innate disciple, casually lamented that guarding the arsenal had turned out to be far from the easy job he had hoped for. The demonic entity commanded his subordinate to fetch the underworld candle, while he himself lunged to engage Ch1. Ch1, radiating golden energy, angrily urged a startled guard to report the unfolding incident. He unleashed a barrage of golden light arrows, piercing the dark tendrils of the entity's corpse manipulation technique. The demonic entity grimaced in pain as an arrow struck, realizing the Daoist's cultivation was at least 7th rank and that he would need to resort to a secret art. The air crackled as the dark, hair-like tendrils of the enemy's power were violently severed and dispersed, a testament to Ch1's formidable counterattack. With a surprised grunt, the demonic entity's head was cleanly severed by a glowing blade, floating in mid-air for a moment before blood began to gush. Ch1 reflected on the dean's hidden foresight, realizing the situation was far more complex than he had initially understood. Wei Yan, a formidable armored figure with a glowing sword, dramatically announced that he had slain Ch1, exposing his betrayal. Wei Yan urgently commanded Ch1, who stood surprised, to follow him, warning that another enemy had infiltrated the arsenal. With a horrifying scream, a giant serpent lunged, its jaws wide open in a furious attack. Wei Yan swiftly cut through the attacking serpents, his glowing sword carving a decisive path. The demonic entity, now floating ominously with glowing red eyes, gloated that he had already secured the underworld candle. Wei Yan's eyes burned with determination as he vowed that none of the enemies would leave alive. He plunged downward with powerful force, his attack shattering a wooden casket-like object. The severed zombie-like head, grinning maniacally, triumphantly declared its mission complete, eager to meet a revered god in the underworld. Wei Yan's desperate shout of "Stop it!" echoed through the space, reacting to the chilling revelation. Ch1, exasperated, pointed toward a defeated serpent and questioned why he hadn't been informed sooner about the enemy's true motives. As he continued to fight, striking down another enemy, Wei Yan confidently declared that the city gates were sealed, trapping all within. Wei Yan then confronted Ch1, demanding to know why the half-blood snake hadn't been stopped, suspecting it had taken the crucial underworld candle. Ch1, his face contorted in rage, accused the city guards of fatal secrecy, lamenting that their lack of communication had led to his fellow disciples' death. Wei Yan sternly explained that their secrecy was a necessary tactic against potential infiltration by the Bone Sect, asserting that such sacrifices were unavoidable for Fengshan City. Despite his own words, Wei Yan dismissed further argument, stating that with the city gates closed and a heavenly net deployed, Ch1 was to remain and watch while he joined the main army. The city's chaos was confirmed by an announcement that Zone 1 had been discovered and cleared, leaving a character in a yellow robe to wonder what catastrophic events had transpired despite the numerous guards. Even as a bound, impaled ninja-like figure plunged from the sky, a chilling announcement declared Zone 8 cleared of 2 more heretics. Amidst the tense atmosphere, a military officer relayed Lord Wei Yan's urgent command to Deputy Zhao Lang, ordering him to immediately take control of Lord Qinguan's troops in the north, to which Zhao Lang grimly assented. Zhao Lang's mind reeled with a stark realization, even the deputy generals had been compromised, leaving him to question how deeply the Bone Sect had infiltrated the city guards. From high above, the city unfurled as a canvas of widespread chaos, explosions rippling through its streets and figures moving with desperate speed. The old man with white hair urged them back to the manor as distant explosions punctuated the air, but the young girl innocently mistook them for firecrackers, while the young man with long dark hair still wished to continue their play. The young man with long dark hair offered a comforting promise, vowing to protect his sister amidst the growing unease. A disciplined column of armored soldiers, led by a gesturing commander, marched with steely resolve out from the grand city gates. Onlookers in the city square debated the nature of the distant sounds, some wondering if they were explosions or celebrations, while others questioned whether to heed the moving guards or stay for the match. The old man with the yellow crown urged calm, insisting the match continued, while the yellow-robed character voiced his shock and disbelief that remnants of the Bone Sect, supposedly utterly destroyed 200 years ago by the great ancestor, could still exist. With a knowing smirk, the old man with the yellow crown subtly challenged the other's sincerity, questioning if his surprise was genuine or merely an act. The yellow-robed character, now clearly unnerved, demanded clarification from the cryptic old man. The old man with the yellow crown then let loose a chilling, hearty laugh, revealing his sinister joy at the prospect of slaughtering the Bone Sect and asserting his absolute dominance over Maple Forest City. A tall, ornate sign marked a significant, yet currently undefined, location in the bustling city. A desperate dark-robed figure pleaded with the calm Lady Saint to act, warning that their followers would perish, but she coolly rebuked him for their greed over the nether candle and explained her inability to fight Wei Kuji while the Phantom Gate shadow was in the Cloud Kingdom. The dark-robed figure desperately tried to leverage the authority of the Second Elder and the Bone Envoy, hoping their agreement would sway the Lady Saint. With a dismissive smirk, the Lady Saint coolly suggested he seek assistance from those he had just cited. Still begging, the dark-robed figure revealed the Second Elder was unavailable, pleading for the Lady Saint to act, but she calmly refused, citing the mortal danger from Wei Kuji and Dong A, advising instead for them to hide. Lu Ju, the second elder's personal disciple, raged that Wei Qiuji's artifacts rendered escape useless for lower-ranked Bone sect followers, vehemently questioning if the Lady Saint would abandon the very strength they had risked for the nether candle within the now-closed city. The Lady Saint, her expression chillingly cold, declared her backup plans for the nether candle were already in motion, then ruthlessly stated, "Let them die," as she crushed the compact in her hand. On a bustling street, a man carrying buckets politely attempted to navigate through a formation of marching soldiers, unseen by a figure observing from a rooftop. Yet, the man with the patterned headband puzzled over his detection artifact, which reacted erratically as its needle wavered, signaling an unusual phenomenon. In an unsettling close-up, a man with pale skin revealed terrifyingly sharp, inhuman teeth as he clamped down on a book. Amidst fierce combat, the man with long dark hair declared the futility of reason with their mad dog-like attackers, resolving to cut their way through the throng and find rest. The man with the patterned headband urgently commanded that more Dao energy be injected to enhance the glowing artifact's detection capabilities, emphasizing the critical need to continue their search. Another man in military attire issued crisp orders, dispatching 4 soldiers with him while the rest were to remain and clear the grim, blood-stained site. A desperate hand clutched a rough wooden beam, signaling a precarious ascent or a last-ditch effort to hold on. As a military commander led his soldiers in hot pursuit, the man with the bucket scrambled up a building, glancing back at his relentless pursuers. The man with the patterned headband, still burdened by his buckets, sped through the shadowed confines of a narrow alleyway, seeking to evade capture. With a smug, blood-splattered grin, the man with the patterned headband boasted of his sachet treasure from the saint, confident that even Wei Yan couldn't sense his aura and that he would swagger out once the city gates reopened. But his smug confidence shattered as a sudden impact struck, widening his eyes with sheer terror. A grotesque, zombie-like head, consuming something bloody, expressed utter shock at the sudden turn of events, blurting out, "What the hell?" With Sun Xiaoman's defeat, Sanshan City was completely out of the 5th-year championship battle, and the arena erupted as the second-round drawing began. While some questioned if risking their lives for a single spot in the National Dao Academy was worth it, Jiang Wang understood that the true prize was the resource distribution that followed. The Academy's fate hinged on this. More cultivators promoted meant a 10% resource increase, fueling a virtuous cycle of talent and resources, but defeat would shrink resources and lead to a vicious decline. Lin Zhengren calmly declared his luck was good, even as the announcer boisterously celebrated senior brother Zhang, exclaiming about his dog's hit luck. Meanwhile, the assembled crowd roared, their collective voices rising in a fierce chant, "Crush Lin Zhengren." Unperturbed by the commotion, a man with dark hair and a top knot remained composed, his gaze steady. He proposed a tense strategy. He would heavily injure Zhang Linchuan, allowing the other man to step in, defeat him, and secure second place. Lin Jingren, surprised by the blatant strategizing, interjected, reminding them he was present, yet the man merely offered an alternative, injure him instead, for the same outcome with less pain. "No, I won't," the other man firmly declared, prompting a sharp, questioning retort from the strategist, "You won't?" "Won't what?" The young man with dark hair and a top knot stood resolute, proclaiming his unwavering commitment to fight with everything he had, for that was the true meaning of Dao debate. With an intense gaze, the man with dark hair and a top knot challenged him, urging, "Fine, then give it a try." Another student angrily confronted Fu Baosong, questioning if he had lost his mind and forgotten his own limits. The announcer then rallied the crowd, explaining the strategy. If Fu Baosong could injure the 6th-ranked cultivator Lin Jingren, it would significantly boost senior brother Zhang Linchuan's championship chances, then called for all of Maple Forest City to cheer for Fu Baosong. The passionate crowd responded with cheers, hailing Fu Baosong as an upright, unyielding model cultivator who should never surrender, while the observing man with dark hair and a top knot remained contemplative. The man with dark hair and a top knot revealed his initial reluctance to let the young man join the team, to which the young man firmly replied that it was precisely why he could not disappoint the dean's expectations. The command, "Begin," echoed as a colossal serpent erupted from the ground, striking at a small, glowing figure amidst an explosive flash. With focused determination, the young man with dark hair and a top knot crouched, conjuring his vine wall bind, as massive, magical vines surged around him. Another student, observing through sunglasses, analyzed that while Fu Baosong's Dao technique wasn't as forceful as Lin Jingren's, it was solid, reminding Jiang Wang of Fu Baosong's previous victory against the Academy's 4th-ranked senior brother Yao. A spherical cage of massive vines impacted the ground, enveloping its target, as the serpent watched intently. The man with dark hair and a top knot focused his intent, initiating a powerful technique, cocoon binding, strangle. The serpent aggressively coiled around and powerfully constricted the green vine sphere. Within the dense, green vines, a hand-like structure forcefully pushed through, struggling to break free. The serpent then unleashed its decayed wood art, causing the vines to hiss and instantly wither, breaking apart in glowing fragments. The vines dramatically shriveled and decayed under the serpent's eerie attack, leaving them utterly vulnerable. A young man with long dark hair gasped in realization, understanding that a grade B armor-piercing technique was the true nemesis of wood element Dao arts. With an agile leap, the young man dramatically sprang out from the decaying vine structure. The young man with dark hair and a top knot declared he knew his opponent would use that wood art, but it changed nothing, as the man with dark hair and a top knot then cast, Water Beast, Lance, proclaiming the true meaning of 5 elemental restraint. The wood was dead, and now it was his turn to take root. Lin Jingren's inner turmoil raged, questioning why he, Lin Jingren, was not compatible enough, yet, this poor brat, was, but then dismissed the thought, deciding it no longer mattered because he had already surpassed them all. Jiang Wang braced himself against the overwhelming force of the water vortex, an intense and dynamic struggle. Jiang Wang, determined, countered by declaring his powerful, threefold waves, technique, riding atop a surging current with intense focus. Lin Jingren, extending his hand with a menacing aura, unleashed his raging tide and warned Jiang Wang not to even think of winning. The massive water attack violently hurled Jiang Wang backward and upward into the chaotic, open sky. Trapped, Jiang Wang realized with a surge of desperate panic that there was nowhere left to dodge. A powerful water attack engulfed and crushed the injured Jiang Wang, a chaotic, impactful deluge. Jiang Wang crashed onto the cracked ground, the impact stark and definitive. Gritty with somber defeat, Jiang Wang struggled to rise from the cracked earth as Lin Jingren loomed over him. Lin Jingren, his arrogance palpable, stood over Jiang Wang with a crushing foot, mocking his opponent's ambition. Even lying defeated on the gritty ground, Jiang Wang defiantly declared he would absolutely refuse to lose without fighting. Lin Jingren's gaze was cold as he scorned Jiang Wang's unchanging stubbornness, refusing him even the dignity of second place. With a violent, decisive command, Lin Jingren sent Jiang Wang crashing and bleeding across the arena floor. The referee, his voice urgent and authoritative, announced the decisive outcome and called for the next contestants to prepare. An energetic chorus of onlookers condemned Lin Jingren's inhuman harshness, branding his victory a dishonorable disgrace to Wangjiang City. A concerned observer questioned Lin Jingren about public impression, but Lin Jingren calmly dismissed it, believing only true strength commanded respect. Zhang Linchuan, fastidious and disgusted by the scattered water, wood shavings, and dust, demanded the arena be cleaned before continuing. The elder, his eyes glowing red with furious intensity, threatened Zhang Linchuan with 3 days in a cesspit if he uttered another useless word. Calm and composed, Lin Jingren addressed the referee, instructing him to begin the next match. The referee dramatically announced Fu Baosong's grave injuries rendered him unable to continue, thus confirming the climactic fifth-year final and the defeat of 3 cities. As the final loomed, all eyes turned to the determined Jiang Wang among the expectant observers and the defeated Fu Baosong. Key figures, both elder masters and powerful young cultivators like Jiang Wang, observed the unfolding final with serious, anticipatory expressions. The crowd, an energetic surge of anticipation, eagerly shouted for the final match to begin. Lin Jingren was struck by powerful blue lightning attacks that crackled with destructive force and caused explosions on the rocky arena floor. Observers analytically broke down the battle. Zhang Linchuan's fierce lightning technique sealed Lin Jingren's water attacks, offering an elemental advantage that might bridge the cultivation gap, yet Jiang Wang noted Lin Jingren's proficiency in wood element arts. Lin Jingren, surveying the damaged arena with confidence, subtly challenged his opponent's tactics, questioning if this was merely a sneak attack. As a gnarled vine creature, Lin Jingren's technique erupted from the ground in a dynamic assault. Zhang Linchuan questioned if this was the thunder of destruction technique. Amidst the energetic combat, a mid-grade Bidao technique, the thunder orb, manifested as a glowing orb of pure lightning, striking Lin Jingren. The gnarled vine creature was overwhelmed and destroyed by multiple lightning strikes and crackling explosions, an overwhelming and destructive force. Unfazed by the display, Lin Jingren smirked, his confidence dark and unwavering, challenging his opponent to reveal any other tricks. With determined resolve, Zhang Linchuan declared that one more powerful move, now charging, would decide the entire outcome of the battle. Lin Jingren, meeting his opponent's gaze, accepted the challenge, vowing to completely crush his arrogance as a massive lightning attack descended. The sky dramatically filled with dark, ominous clouds, causing the referee to look up in surprise. Zhang Linchuan unleashed a powerful grade A lower Dao technique, Summon Thunder, calling massive, overwhelming lightning bolts from the sky. Lin Jingren readied himself, enveloped in intense blue lightning, anticipating the surge of battle. Go! Lin Jingren commanded, a powerful water dragon wave erupting from his outstretched hand, surging forward. Zhang Linchuan expertly maneuvered through the swirling blue water vortex, the chaotic energy gathering around him. A massive wave of water and sharp ice shards, illuminated by flashes of lightning, combined in a destructive elemental assault. The other students watched in awe, one exclaiming that the single strike had scattered the clouds, and Zhang Linchuan would have been crushed had he not dodged. Lin Jingren smirked, looking down from above, while Zhang Linchuan looked up in surprise at his opponent's casual dismissal. Lin Jingren, with condescending insight, revealed Zhang Linquan's reliance on borrowed nature's qi to unleash his mid-grade A thunder arts, questioning his cultivation realm. Lin Jingren boasted that by opening the gate of heaven and earth, he could perceive the flow of qi and thus naturally discern the flaws in any technique, his words echoing amidst a massive water vortex. Zhang Linquan grimaced, acknowledging with frustration that his technique had been completely seen through. Lin Jingren pressed his advantage, asserting that with the clouds cleared, Zhang Linquan could no longer call down thunder, challenging his defiance. Zhang Linquan retorted with defiant determination, accepting the insight but questioning his opponent's assumption that thunder could not strike without clouds. Then, with a fierce declaration, Zhang Linquan unleashed the summon thunder technique, bolts of energy striking intensely from above. The thunder attack culminated in a blinding, powerful explosion of blue lightning. Onlookers reacted with shock, the old man with the yellow crown identifying the devastating attack as the distinct Lei Ji mark. The old master chuckled with pleased amusement, appreciating that Zhang Linquan, a master deeply cultivated to resist the laws of heaven, dared to think and act by gathering thunder power below, awaiting its moment. The Lei Ji technique, triggered by Zhang Linquan, manifested as a glowing spiritual structure, marking any unit as a target for thunder and unleashing its destructive power. Jiang Wang, lost in thought, was utterly impressed by the cleverness of the technique, his mind racing with admiration. Lin Jingren and Zhang Linquan both reeled, struck by powerful lightning, their faces contorted in agony as electricity coursed through them. A massive blue energy explosion erupted, a chaotic starburst of raw power. The earth itself was torn apart by the powerful lightning strike, jagged energy spikes erupting from the ground. Debris flew as the powerful lightning strike continued to ravage the ground, leaving widespread devastation. Zhang Linquan emerged from the splintered wreckage, slightly singed but composed, declaring himself luckily well-versed in thunder techniques and accustomed to being struck. Lin Jingren lay unconscious, severely affected by the lightning strike, smoke wafting from his mouth as residual electricity crackled around him. Zhang Linquan, smug and with a glowing hand, explained that his opponent's entry into the south rank, not yet a god, had given him an opening, and that after dealing with this filthy mess, he would need to clean himself. His fingers, glowing with fierce blue energy, moved rapidly, poised for a decisive strike. Lin Jingren looked down in horror, a spectral vision of his Dao cultivation appearing empty and shattered before him. Zhang Linquan wondered if he had miscalculated, knowing, summon thunder, didn't consume that much, as the mysterious Yin Yuan herb was revealed, glowing amidst the wreckage. Lin Jingren revealed the Yin Yuan herb's true nature, explaining that it indiscriminately increased Dao art consumption for everyone nearby, thus causing his opponent's grade A arts to backfire even more. Zhang Linquan, his eyes glowing with demonic fury, lunged forward, defiantly challenging his opponent's assessment. Lin Jingren, defeated, raised a hand in concession, bringing the intense aerial battle to its resolute end. Lin Jingren, disheveled and full of bitter resignation, acknowledged his inglorious defeat by Zhang Linquan, announcing his departure from the National Dao Academy. The referee's booming voice declared Lin Jingren the undisputed victor of the three cities debate, igniting a roar of approval from the vast audience. While one eagerly called out to Lin Jingren, the city's prestige remained intact, despite losing the fifth-year title, by securing 2 honorary golden talents. Amidst profound sorrow, a young girl reached out to comfort a large, bound figure as a pale face wept in the dark background, burdened by an unseen grief. Jiang Wang, his body aching from exertion, admitted his profound exhaustion as he descended the ancient stone steps. Jiang Wang pondered how Lin Jingren's Dao energy had recovered so much faster, even with the spirit grass affecting both, concluding it must be due to his superior Dao techniques. The wise elder explained that from the 6th grade, a cultivator's Dao energy was no longer confined to their inner palace, but could be drawn from the world itself, transcending former limits. The elder continued, detailing how a temporary immense power from a Dao core could come at the cost of crippling a cultivator's future, a profound insight that only deepened Jiang Wang's respect for Elder Gui's extraordinary knowledge. As the sun set and moonlight illuminated the grand arena, the three cities debate formally concluded, with contestants summoned for the award ceremony before City Lord Wei Qiyu and Headmaster Dong A. The ground violently erupted, shattering with explosive force. A dark-robed figure stoically reported the grim tally to the City Lord, 43 members of the Bone sect eliminated, including a master at the 7th grade. The elder, his gaze unwavering, deemed the crippling blow dealt to the Bone sect a fair trade for even a single life. A man in grey robes proposed chanting the Sutra of Deliverance for the dead of Xiaolin town, believing their vengeance had finally been fulfilled. The elder, solemn and grave, warned against complacency, asserting that new, insidious threats were already seeping in, prompting a concerned inquiry from another man. The elder, his face etched with exasperation, cut directly to the core of the new danger, naming the terrifying, heart-eating demon, while silently judging the insolence of the one who had been cast out of Shuangshu. With narrowed eyes, the elder revealed the chilling report: the malevolent heart-eating demon might be lurking within the very walls of Maple Forest City. A dark-robed figure walked an eerie, shadowed street at night, a cryptic warning of fire echoing from his lips. Wangxiang's city unfurled beneath a bright sky, a majestic panorama of ornate buildings and crimson autumn leaves, whispering of untold stories. The man with the patterned headband pointed out the impressive Wangjiang city group, but Jiang Wang curtly dismissed him, uninterested in their grand public display. The dark-robed figure announced their journey's end, offering polite gratitude for the past few days of hospitality. As the dark-robed figure bid a final farewell, the muscular man in blue robes respectfully acknowledged his wholehearted defeat to Daoist Jiang. Jiang Wang praised Daoist Yang, expressing deep inspiration for the unwavering spirit of Three Mountain City. Daoist Yang began to explain the harsh reality of life in Three Mountain City, a burden that compelled their fighting spirit, prompting Jiang Wang to quickly apologize for his intrusive question. The young girl, unburdened by secrets, explained the true peril of Three Mountain City, not the wild beasts or scarce resources, but the relentless, fierce ones that brought real trouble. Beast disasters had escalated in recent decades, monstrous hordes destroying villages and devouring people, forcing young cultivators to hold a desperate, unyielding line against their relentless onslaught. Daoist Yang, a tear glistening in his eye, confessed that the heart-eating demons' massacre had severely depleted their manpower, making every victory a desperate fight for survival, saving at least 10 more lives. Jiang Wang, with a serious expression, requested a moment for him and his two sworn brothers to confer privately. The three young men turned away, creating a space for their private consultation under the bright autumn sky. Jiang Wang offered his own Dao merits for the vein opening pill, but his big brother refused, believing that preserving their Dao energy for Three Mountain City was a far greater priority. The big brother then turned to the third brother, who defensively declared he wasn't yet ready to open his veins. The third brother, touched by their kindness, pledged to send vital supplies to Three Mountain City through Uncle Deng. Daoist Yang, feeling a pang of guilt for his first-year title, offered to transfer 50 Dao merits upon his return, an unexpected generosity that big brother humbly found difficult to accept. A golden fist radiated with heartfelt resolve, symbolizing a powerful, unspoken sentiment. With a joyful leap, the young girl exclaimed that he was truly her friend, her eyes glowing with pure delight. The young girl, with a bright smile and a thumbs up, enthusiastically promised the full aid of Three Mountain City should they ever need it. As the Three Mountain City group departed in their wagon, Big Brother waved a final, warm goodbye, promising they would meet again. A large bell resonated through the grand complex, marking the start of a new day as various figures moved through the autumnal courtyards. A man with a patterned headband called out to his departing companions, Brother Wang. Brother Rucheng. Brother Lingyi, can you give your brother a hand? The injured muscular man, tied to a stone wall, struggled and shouted for release, eager to join the celebration for Jiang Wang's victory. As two men discussed the injured man's foolish act of smashing Xiao Timian's door last night, Jiang Wang proudly raised his hand in triumph. The injured man, incandescent with rage, loudly decried being kicked out of the welcome team, convinced he was unfairly targeted for his dashing charm and preferred fire arts. The injured man desperately pleaded to be released, fearing Xiao Timian's return, while his friends, prioritizing a more important evening, casually discussed gifts and food for their plans. A servant reassured an unseen master that the pastries would be delivered to his residence promptly that evening. Two men waved their farewells, as Jiang Wang reflected that the day after the Three Cities debate also marked an An's birthday, promising a night of celebration and much-needed relaxation. All preparations were complete, they only awaited an An's class to finish before heading out to pick her up. A stylized lotus flower suddenly flared with a radiant, otherworldly glow. Blue energy pulsed and crackled around a spine-like structure, hinting at raw, potent power. Jiang Wang cried out in sudden agony, clutching his back as his Tongtian palace position flared, questioning if he had overpracticed the Four Spirits body refinement, just as he was abruptly bumped. His eye widened, a sudden, disquieting realization dawning upon him. The dark-robed figure offered a quick apology for the collision, which Jiang Wang dismissed, though a subtle sense of urgency pushed the figure to quicken their pace. A sudden, terrifying gasp escaped the air as a hand-like shape pulsed with ominous energy. From behind him, a pale-skinned man with sharp teeth and long dark hair materialized, his voice dripping with menace as he inquired, "Why the rush?" The menacing figure instructed Jiang Wang to stay at that guy's junior disciple's house, his command backed by a terrifying grip that seized Jiang Wang's Dao Meridian, revealing at least a 6th-grade cultivation strength. Jiang Wang's mind raced, sweat beading on his brow as he considered the inconvenience of his academy dorms, acknowledging the figure's immense power and resolving to stall for time rather than resist directly. The pale-skinned man observed Jiang Wang, noting his inner academy status, open meridians, and unstable foundation, then praised his honesty and intelligence, tasking him with devising a plan. Jiang Wang, head bowed and sweating, struggled internally, realizing a plan was necessary but urgently requesting time to formulate one. His eyes snapped wide, a horrifying realization crystallizing in his mind from the clues of that guy's junior, 6th-grade cultivation, and a hidden identity, the heart-swallowing demon. The pale-skinned man denied being the heart-swallowing demon even as he secretly instructed unseen subordinates to gather Jiang Wang's academy and family information, prepare divine pills and consciousness spheres, and retrieve a hidden treasure from the academy's treasury, clearly seeing Jiang Wang as a smart new recruit. The pale-skinned man placed a hand on Jiang Wang's shoulder, a false intimacy in his gesture, as he proposed they stay in a quiet, long-empty courtyard belonging to an old friend. Jiang Wang quickly pointed out the courtyard's direction but warned of the family's formidable strength and the potential trouble if they were discovered. The pale-skinned man grinned, a sinister edge to his curiosity, and challenged, "Oh, how strong." Jiang Wang revealed the family's identity as the powerful Fang family, one of the three great surnames with extraordinary power, prompting the pale-skinned man to simply command, "Lead the way." Jiang Wang cautiously suggested sneaking in during the guard shift change to avoid detection, but the pale-skinned man arrogantly dismissed the need for such subtlety. A soldier, performing his routine duties, greeted Chief Clerk Fang upon his return. The soldier explained he had just retrieved medicine for the master, as the dark-robed figure seamlessly vanished using the advanced cloak shadow technique. The soldier walked away, unaware of the glowing traces left behind by the dark-robed figure who had just mysteriously disappeared. The soldier walked on, a weary sigh escaping him as he wondered if the master could truly handle the tonic medicine he consumed daily, while the dark-robed figure's shadow swiftly disappeared into the night. Jiang Wang, wide-eyed with awe, exclaimed at the powerful Dao technique that allowed such hidden movement, and the pale-skinned man, smiling menacingly, offered to teach it in exchange for his obedience. Inside, a soldier and a woman whispered conspiratorially, questioning if the master had noticed their presence, as a dark, dragon-like shadow moved across the floor. The dark, dragon-like shadow swiftly moved across the tiled floor and ascended a pillar, a silent, uncanny presence. A hand pushed open a narrow crevice between dark structures, revealing a glimpse of the bright, cloudy sky beyond as it creaked. From an elevated position, Jiang Wang pointed out the exact location of the courtyard below. The pale-skinned man, a sinister grin spreading across his face, extended his hand, dark tendrils swirling ominously around it as he delivered a chilling, "Thanks for your trouble." Jiang Wang began to explain two crucial details about the hidden place, starting with the dining hall, which immediately prompted the pale-skinned man to demand, "What's the second point?" Jiang Wang pointed into the distance, revealing the second crucial detail. The Fang family guards patrolled the area every morning because a secret chamber there held an astonishing treasure. A mysterious, dark-robed figure, shrouded in shadow, spoke of an ancient artifact, a legacy left behind by the very founding emperor of Ch1. The formidable, purple chi comes eastward sword art, first form, burst forth, its secret potency residing entirely within its incredible speed. From the shadows, a dire declaration rang out, that the soul-devouring demon would finally be made to answer for its sins with its very life. Enraged, Ch1 roared his fury, vowing to rip out the heart of the brat who dared to trick him. An indignant voice bellowed from the Fang ancestral hall, demanding to know who dared to commit such an impudent trespass. The venerable Fang Wang, the Fang family shrine guardian, stood firm and authoritatively demanded the intruder's name. Ch1 aggressively defied the old man, reiterating his sinister moniker, the heart-devouring demon. The elder Fang Wang unleashed the Fang family's closely guarded secret Dao technique, the swift and potent feather hand arrow. Ch1 reeled back, struck by the relentless barrage of glowing projectiles, uttering a shocked cry of disbelief. In retaliation, Ch1 unleashed his own terrifying and potent counter-technique, the dreaded heart-plucking hand. With a violent impact, Ch1's technique struck its mark, sending the elder Fang Wang reeling as blood erupted from his chest. As a guttural sound escaped him, Ch1 cast a disgusted glance at the now lifeless elder, finding his essence dry and shriveled, truly disgusting to eat. With his last breath, the elder Fang Wang struggled to voice his final concern for his family, his words trailing off. Even in death, Fang Wang's spirit refused to yield, manifesting defiantly to declare that his Fang family would never be bullied. From the defiant spirit, a majestic, crane spirit formation soared heavenward, a mystical beacon against the dark. As Jiang Wang leapt across the rooftops with swift grace, he fervently hoped the Fang family could stall Ch1 until the deacon and city lord finally arrived. Jiang Wang paused on a rooftop, observing the escalating chaos and surprised by the remarkably swift response of the Daoist Academy. Explosions of raw energy erupted below, each impact a furious blast across the night. An enraged Ch1, having been injured and drained of his chi by the elder, bellowed his intent to wipe out the entire clan, while Jiang Wang demanded to know what had transpired. Panic seized a muscular man as he identified the terrifying, heart-devouring demon, Ch1, while a young man clung to him, desperately asking what they should do. A sudden, overwhelming shock visibly struck Ch1, catching him completely off guard. Ch1 descended with a powerful impact, landing with a surge of red energy radiating from the point of contact. As Jiang Wang frantically urged everyone to search, a man with a red beard frantically countered, ordering others to notify the authorities and gather their belongings, demanding to know who they were even looking for. A young man looked up with confused wonder at a brilliant light in the sky, questioning if it was simply a shooting star, while the man with the red beard watched with deep concern. A blinding golden energy blast struck with incredible force, erupting into a powerful, destructive explosion. As a mystical command whispered, sharp projectiles rapidly retracted towards the figure in yellow robes. The figure in yellow robes raised an arm, uttering the singular, potent command, contract, binding unseen forces with ancient power. As a massive, glowing black and orange object violently ruptured the ground, a young man's desperate cries for his father echoed amidst the devastation. The Zhuang nation's paramount warrior, City Lord Huo Wang, soared through the air, directly confronting Ch1 and declaring an end to their relentless cat-and-mouse game. Amidst the frantic search, a yellow-robed figure pointed urgently, claiming to have seen him run by, while an enraged Ch1 bellowed a single, furious name, Zhu Weiwa. The man with red cloak and dark hair confidently disparaged his opponent's Blood River Sect technique, claiming it left one flapping like a chicken in the tense, combative air. He declared his river-churning stance as he unleashed a powerful golden attack, met by the injured muscular man in blue robes swirling red energy in an intense and destructive clash. The injured muscular man in blue robes unleashed an explosive red energy attack, furiously asking if his persistent opponent intended to cling to him forever like a maggot. A piercing surge of red energy tore through the air with chaotic, destructive force. With a defiant smirk, the man with red cloak and dark hair conceded his opponent's point, promising to cling and gnaw him clean as the injured muscular man in blue robes launched another fiery assault. The injured muscular man in blue robes internally raged, realizing his opponent's strength was alarmingly increasing with each fight, as if he were merely a whetstone for cultivation, deepening his frustration and desperation. From his mouth, the injured muscular man in blue robes forcefully expelled a spiraling blast of dark, concentrated energy in a hostile and intense attack. The man with red cloak and dark hair challenged his foe to display a new technique, effortlessly absorbing the incoming energy with his polearm as if unimpressed by such boring moves. Infuriated by the taunts, the injured muscular man in blue robes cursed at his opponent from the broken ground with aggressive defiance. The injured muscular man in blue robes assaulted his opponent's arm with dark energy, demanding how he dared act arrogant without his powerful, soul-exhausting spear. The man with red cloak and dark hair landed a powerful kick, taunting that his opponent would have been dead many times over if not for the meager skills gleaned from the Blood River sect. As the man with red cloak and dark hair attacked his leg with dark energy, the injured muscular man in blue robes furiously declared he had severed all ties with that cursed Blood River sect, demanding its name not be spoken. A cunning smirk played on the man with red cloak and dark hair's lips, a silent testament to his hidden confidence and calculated strategy. The man with red cloak and dark hair bellowed, "Ground burst stance," as an explosion erupted behind him, unleashing immense power. As the man with red cloak and dark hair unleashed a fiery attack from above, a character in yellow robes confirmed the destruction of an ancestral hall, while a man in red robes urgently cried for his father to run. A massive explosion of red and black energy detonated with earth-shattering force. A building corner violently shattered, scattering debris everywhere. The injured muscular man in blue robes swiftly moved, annoyed and suspicious that his opponent's destructive display was merely a tactic to draw attention and interference. The man with red cloak and dark hair confidently assured his opponent that no one, not even the city lord or Ding Dong, would intervene, then menacingly vowed to rip out his heart within 10 moves before the Criminal Enforcement Division could arrive. Realizing the imminent arrival of authorities, the injured muscular man in blue robes, with glowing red eyes, desperately initiated a powerful, soul-burning technique, sacrificing 30 years of his own lifespan. The injured muscular man in blue robes screamed with primal rage as he unleashed his soul-burning attack, charging forward amidst a vortex of swirling dark energy. The man with red cloak and dark hair, spear glowing with fiery intent, confidently challenged his opponent to reveal another hidden card. Their hands and weapons clashed with explosive force, igniting a blinding burst of fiery energy. A deafening explosion marked the powerful mid-air clash as the man with red cloak and dark hair's spear met his opponent's charge. The man with red cloak and dark hair relentlessly pressed his assault amidst a chaotic barrage of explosions and flying debris. A weapon struck the man with red cloak and dark hair's arm with forceful precision, radiating waves of painful red energy upon impact. The injured muscular man in blue robes swiftly fled, casting a desperate glance back at the relentlessly attacking man with red cloak and dark hair. The injured muscular man in blue robes, eyes burning red, raised his spear with a menacing grin, ready for a desperate counterattack. With glowing red eyes, the injured muscular man in blue robes furiously declared his opponent would no longer be arrogant now that the powerful, soul-exhausting spear was gone, shouting his name with a vengeful fury. Both combatants screamed in agony as the spear fell, burning with an unseen power that scorched the man with red cloak and dark hair while the injured muscular man in blue robes collapsed in pain beside his broken weapon. The man with red cloak and dark hair, leaping with an outstretched arm, urgently commanded his glowing spear to return to his grasp. His hand expertly grasped the spear, securing his weapon with a decisive flick. The man with red cloak and dark hair scornfully declared his opponent unworthy to even touch the soul-exhausting spear, while the injured muscular man in blue robes, sweating and frustrated, realized his 30-year life force sacrifice offered no advantage and considered a desperate retreat. Enraged, the injured muscular man in blue robes bellowed his intent to retreat, vowing to return with an army of human devils to slaughter Maple Forest City and wipe out 18 generations of his opponent's ancestors before lashing out in a final, desperate attack. The man with red cloak and dark hair's calm smirk ignited an explosive rage in the injured muscular man in blue robes, who shrieked accusations of condescension. The man with red cloak and dark hair's single, calm purple eye observed the unfolding chaos with unsettling tranquility. A sudden, bloodshot panic flared in the injured muscular man in blue robes' eye as he desperately realized backup had arrived. With the speed of wind itself, the man with red cloak and dark hair unleashed the decisive, purple chi comes eastward sword art, fifth form, sending the injured muscular man in blue robes flying backward.